Welcome, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 138. This is the gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm one of your co-hosts, Andrew. I make the show Midori. I am joined tonight by the classy douchebag, Mike McLaughlin. We have the beast from the East, Dean Marchese.
Hello.
We have special guest, Daniel P-Hash.
Ha! P-Hush. What are you doing?
Who are you?
How
do you know who you are?
Over a decade!
Mr. Hash.
So loud. P-Hash. And Greg will be joining us. He said a little later he's on his way over.
What about me?
What about me?
What about you? What about you?
What about me and this baby? You look at my face.
The sexy giraffe, my wife, Kristen Midori, and baby Evie. So sexy. So sexy.
I never said I was sexy.
That's true. That is true. I said that. I came up with that.
I said that.
But I feel like that's a compliment to you.
Oh, I gave you that shirt for your birthday.
You did. It's not my birthday anymore, but still.
It's a nice shirt nonetheless.
It is.
Yep. I was
true.
very pregnant and I remember to buy him a birthday gift.
Full cast, baby. That's right, Guitar
Almost.
Freak. And we also have Muto Crystallis in the room. It's I think it might be his first time ever watching one of our live shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty sure.
I didn't realize
Let us
that.
know, Muto,
I
if
didn't
you've ever
know
seen
that.
a live show before. I don't think that you have, actually.
I feel like
And he's
feel
a
like that's
producer,
not-
isn't he?
He is a producer.
Along with somebody else, right? Or no?
Not yet. He's
Okay.
our only producer so far. If you guys want to become a producer, you just need to become a patron of $25 or more at patreon.com/TheLevelUpNetwork. Otherwise, if you just like the show at any point tonight, hit that heart button at twitch.tv/TheLevelUpShow. We will shout you out. You'll get notifications whenever we go live. We got YouTube at youtube.com/TheLevelUpNetwork for archives of everything we do, as well as exclusive shows only on YouTube, such as Power Up, It Only Does PlayStation, and The Lights Up Show. And then otherwise, if you want to tip $5, get yourself a spin of the prize wheel. You're welcome to do that. Go to levelupnetwork.com/tipjar.
Dude, that's so fun. I love when everybody does it.
It is a lot of fun.
I actually enjoy these prize wheel spin more than I enjoy the tip.
We modified the prize wheel a little bit this week, added some things.
Oh man, some really good stuff.
Yeah, you want to get in the middle of us or you want to get beside me?
Yeah.
I watched the clip you tweeted out when I ate that jelly bean. And I really
Oh, I love that.
Oh, Dean, that was hilarious.
That was like my favorite
Everybody is doing the jelly bean thing right now. Like I
Really?
was at a
Is it
party
really?
yesterday. They had Bean Boozled there.
Jen asked me, she was like, Jen was like, were you acting? I was like, no, that really tastes like
They taste terrible.
It's disgusting.
I doubt. I'll just walk upstairs in a moment or something. I don't know. It's fine.
Hey,
Bits.
speaking of,
Our first
we got bits.
Our first cheer of the night.
I have it.
Tobes has cheered 500 bits, which also gets you a wheel spin. Anything worth $5 or more,
Which is
will get you a wheel spin.
350.
350 bits is technically worth $5 on your end, so that would count. But also, if you tip $5, if you resub on Twitch, if you pledge on Patreon or re-pledge on Patreon, all of those things will get you a prize wheel spin, and we will demonstrate that right now.
What are we doing?
We're doing a prize wheel spin.
Prize wheel.
Tobes, come on down and spin the wheel
actual
of
wheel.
Did
Friendship.
you donate it?
friendship. He cheered,
Oh.
which is kind of like tipping.
You have the wrong screen up.
No.
Don't you feel stupid?
I don't know if there's a random thing spinning.
That's the Skype thing for Greg when he comes later.
Hey!
So a special Twitter shout out goes to
On it.
Tobes. Dean is on it. Thank you so much, Tobes. Once again, him
What did we say? What did I say? We're gonna start this night off like this? Don't look at my computer. Bring your own if you want to look at a computer.
Man, that nap made me feisty.
I had enough.
I didn't even come up with that wheel name. That was Mike. He said friendship.
like that.
Oni upgraded.
It's going on the list.
Because we have a friend
counts.
here.
His pledge, or his badge went up to a 1,000 bit badge now.
Oh,
That's what's
nice.
kind of cool about cheering.
That's awesome.
And people are
Hey, there we go. Guitar Freak.
wasting
$10.
no time at all. All right. Prize wheel. What was that? Guitar Freak?
Yes.
Come on down and spin the wheel of. Not so easy, is
Infancy.
it? Infancy. There you go.
There we go.
The wheel of
Infancy.
infancy?
Yeah, because it's new. It's very
What
young.
do you win? Poop?
Is that the only thing that you see babies as?
I mean, they make that. It's true.
What is it?
Pterodactyl Andrew.
Oh no.
Oh wait, no. It's It's evolved.
It's evolved.
It has
It's evolved
I've
since
been
last time we
scared
saw
Evie,
it.
though.
I've become a beautiful pterodactyl.
Don't scare Evie.
You will see right now.
Oh dear.
So
All right.
luxurious and beautiful.
This
I
is your
mean-
father.
There's
A luxurious
a
pterodactyl.
costume.
Yes.
It's not much of a costume.
There's some gold lame on that. That's
It was-
it's
it was
the
Michael's.
holding a gold.
I had
lame.
to wear that for a month of shows.
It doesn't fit you anymore.
I can't even find the sleeve on this damn thing. It was
Dude,
inside out. Okay, I got my scales on.
Why don't
Yes,
you
can
put
you wear that
Andrew,
the
why
rest
don't you
of
put
the
a
night?
wig on too?
Fine, fine.
Oh my god, you guys are getting a
Oh my god, look, there's a head massager in it. Give it to me.
Give that to Kristen.
Massager.
Ew, with all that hair.
Don't mess up
Oh
my hair.
man.
This is terrible.
Dude, this is
Oh
absolutely
my god.
Wait.
Pterodactyl!
Oh my god. Why don't you do some pelvic thrust too?
That's a.
Oh my
that's
god.
I know you as a person.
Yeah. My child will see that someday.
Yeah,
It's true.
Oh
Look it up
my
on the
god,
internet.
that is
This room is getting
amazing.
so tight.
Oh my god.
Oh no. That's
But you're the one that pushed the
Oh,
fucking
that's
tape
actually.
back.
Oh.
Cloud. No. That had.
Oh, that's
you
really
notice
good,
it's happening
actually.
frequently now.
His hand has become kind of loose over time.
After a while, it starts to feel
So-
gross.
Oh, God.
You can see it doesn't
So
really.
it's over.
I'll-
It
I'll
doesn't
fix it.
hold it
Probably
anymore.
You have a
why
show to
people
run,
watch it because
Andrew.
it's
No, I
absorbing
don't.
head grease.
It's all over.
Right.
Wow.
That's really the problem.
All right.
Guitar Freak, thank you so much for your $10 tip. You guys are starting off the show.
Yeah, thank you guys so
Amazingly.
much.
There we go. Where's my keyboard at?
Behind you.
There it is.
I won't distract you for long. I'll go upstairs in 5 minutes.
You're not distracting me. We love when you're here. It's a full show tonight,
Yeah.
full cast. He looked like Blondie. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's reasonable.
So thank you, Tobes. Thank you, Guitar Freak. That is how you do it, guys. That will get you a prize we'll spin. And yeah, you guys can totally take the show off rails if you want. This will turn into a 3-hour
Okay. That's
debacle.
awesome.
Saw
Yeah,
that.
that's amazing.
I saw it.
What?
You know
Which I
what?
will do very
He
Don't know
looked
what you're
again,
talking
didn't
about.
he?
He absolutely did.
I did
Son of a
not.
bitch.
I
There's
didn't-
It's on camera,
There's a-
so I hope you're not lying.
There's
We
a
all saw it.
chat right there on screen. It's
I
right
know. I know. No.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Hit that heart button at twitch.tv/levelupshow if you like what we're doing. We're going to move on to our official non-gaming portion of the show. It's called The Level Up Show Has No Game. It is 3 non-gaming topics at 2 minutes each. Are we ready?
Born ready.
Oh,
Do
someone
it.
got a
Do it.
cheerleader's phone number on his second day of school.
Hot.
It's Keymater. It was probably a lot.
First
Don't
up,
do anything
the iPhone 7 has been
It
announced.
is coming.
Who watched the actual conference?
I did not
No,
get
I
to.
watched the highlights.
I watched all of it.
I watched the highlights as well. How did you guys feel about what happened?
I just read up on it.
They really talked a lot about that watch. And
Really?
like a lot of time on the watch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it makes sense. It's the next big thing for them. It's the thing that people have been
Is
asking.
it, or
a lot
do they just
about.
want it to be?
I think it is.
It's not what it's not doing what the iPad did for technology. It's certainly
No,
not
it's
doing
not.
what the iPhone did.
I think people are kind of
Really?
hesitant on. Well, I think it's also because people are hesitant on accepting, the smartwatches, and I think developers aren't really utilizing it in the way that's the most accessible. If that
Maybe,
makes sense.
or maybe because it's a $500 fucking watch.
Yeah, I have one, and I'm glad I have one, but I never would have bought it for myself.
Mhm.
It's cool as a gift, but it's not something I would ever consider buying for myself because I use it pretty much for notifications, and that's about it. I'm not like into the fitness stuff of it. But what about the removal of the headphone jack? Did they sell you on that? Did it make
Yeah, it
sense?
doesn't bother me. I was actually really worried about that.
Okay.
But there's still gonna be headphones you just plug into your
Yeah, because it
the
comes with an adapter, right?
Interesting.
Here's the other thing too. Like Danielle earlier was complaining, "Oh, I can't charge my phone and listen to headphones at the same time." But like, how often do you
I've
really
never-
do
not
that?
once.
Like when I sat and thought about it, I was like, "Yeah, you have a point." But then when I sat and thought, I'm like, "Wait a minute, I don't ever do like the battery life on the current iPhone. I have the 6S Plus, and on that, the battery life, I don't ever have to charge it within a day. I've
Right.
never, and I've had it now for 2 months. Normally, right around now is when the battery starts getting less and less on the other phones I've had. I haven't had to worry, so I don't think it's that much of an
It's
issue.
also
This
no
is-
accident that they came out with wireless earbuds.
Right.
And then also we're like, or you can play music and charge it,
Yes,
or you can
that.
buy these wireless earbuds for $150.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
They know what they're doing.
No,
Yeah.
they're not really when you compare them to other Bluetooth.
Yeah, but if you want to listen to without having to use the adapter
Yeah.
or whatnot, you have to use
Wait,
this
You have
wireless.
to. He actually had to say something.
2 moments. So there is the one anti-consumer thing though of adding the connector is a thing to fight PayPal and Square and force Apple Pay on people. So there's that aspect of it too, of them taking away the phone jack. That's the one concern, right?
Right.
Like, does that still work through the adapter? Because if it doesn't, then you have to use Apple Pay.
What do you mean?
Oh,
So
I
right
didn't
now
think
you
of
can
that.
plug Square into the headphone jack.
Oh,
and
I
that's
see
how
what
you
you're saying.
scan credit cards.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that,
I wonder. I was
So,
about to do that.
that's what the rumor mill is mostly
that's a
freaking
good
out
point.
about.
I didn't even think about
That
that.
is a good point.
There's adapters though.
This is why Pio's just here. Thank you.
To make good points.
We have Breaking Bad on the screen right now, and the reason for that is that Vince Gilligan has announced a new project that he's working on with Michelle MacLaren, who was one of the best writers and directors of multiple episodes on Breaking Bad and even Game of Thrones. But they're doing a show for HBO that's going to be called Raven, and hear this, it focuses on the story of Jim Jones and his cult followers who goaded a whole mass murder-suicide in Jonestown, Guyana in 1978. That sounds like a dark-ass story.
I think it's
true
really,
story.
Yeah.
Really good.
So that's kind of messed up. I was watching this was a really well done series trailer that somebody did, a fan made one, and I was watching and I was like, how can they top Breaking Bad at this point?
Man. I feel like they can.
Like how? Like
Yeah, that's tough.
Have you guys kept up with Better Call Saul?
Yes.
Is it
I
still?
have.
Is it good?
it's very good.
It's good, yeah.
It's not Breaking Bad,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's really trying to be that kind of genre. I guess it's law. You know, I mean, it's focusing on like a different. It's not the tension of Breaking Bad. But as the show goes on, it's gradually bringing in these elements that are like, okay, I can feel like the spiritual successor that this is now.
Does
I'd
it
like to
compare
watch
to like The Good Wife at all for like a law show? Or
No,
a
I
Law
wouldn't
and
say
Order
that.
type thing.
No, I wouldn't say it goes that far into law. It still has some of the drug aspect on the side, and that's gradually becoming more front and center because it has Mike Ehrmantraut as a side character, a big side character on the show, and as he becomes more front and center, it's feeling more and more like Breaking Bad. I recommend it. Definitely watch
I'd
it.
like to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good show.
I need to watch.
And lastly, do you guys hear that book readers supposedly will live longer than non-readers?
That seems accurate. Yeah,
Because
sure.
their brain won't die.
Well, here's what the New York Times writes.
You don't watch just reality
Compared
TV.
with those who do not read books, those who read for up to 3.5 hours a week were 17% less likely to die over 12 years of follow-up. And those who read more than that were 23% less likely to die. Book readers lived an average of almost 2 years longer than those who do not read at all. Quote, people who report as little as a half hour a day of book reading had a significant survival advantage over those who did not read, said the senior author. And the survival advantage remained after adjusting for wealth, education, cognitive ability, and many other variables.
What if you read Facebook?
That's what I was wondering. It's like, what, can we read anything?
I think it's really convenient that I didn't hear about this in like any sort of radio journalism or news, like television news media journalism. It has to be the writer that's like grasping at straws for her
Right.
job that had her. Yeah, let's. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel that's a little
I know.
prejudicial.
You guys know me, like, I don't really read much,
I'm kidding.
but especially, like, I used to look at myself and be like, I don't read books, but I play Final Fantasy. And when it didn't have voice acting, that was like
there's a ton of reading,
book long freaking script in those games. So I felt like, oh, that's my reading. But now it's like, what do I read? NeoGAF, and that's about it.
Does it classify books? Because I'm gonna say I read Kotaku pretty religiously.
It
but,
does say
would-
that
I do, yeah.
they talk about newspapers in here as also helping but not being as effective as books, because it seems like the whole idea is that books stimulate your mind in a different way than periodicals and stuff like that, and that I
Right,
guess
it draws you
you're
in
using your
and-
imagination
yeah.
and all these kind of things.
You're holding a lot more
and
constant
that's
variables
what's
in your head.
I
as you're,
guess
thinking the
prolonging your
story.
life.
I read a lot. I probably read like 10, 15 hours a week.
Now books or graphic novels or
Graphic novels, book, man. I mean, it's reading.
You're gonna
reading,
live
reading.
so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, you're keeping a long-term story in your head, and then
Yeah.
all of the pieces together.
As far as images, like you're glancing at images for the majority of the time you're reading.
right.
It's gonna live forever.
Thank you.
As Evie eats her hand.
Get in my noggin words. Get in my noggin words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God.
That's a Level Up Show Has No Gaming. 3 non-gaming topics at 2 minutes each. All right, let's get into what we've been playing this week. How about you, Dan? Anything?
That's a
Oh,
good time
man.
for me to leave and get you the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, that means take your time. But yeah, my hot game has been Overcooked. That game is awesome. Are you guys familiar with
What is it?
Overcooked?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just been playing that 2-player and then also 4-player. It's really good. Some of the difficulty is a little all over the place. Like some of it scales well. So like for example, we had the experience of level 3-3 or 3-2, I think it is, where on 4 people we just could not even pass it, and then when we dropped the 2 people because it had scaled back the difficulty so much, it was really easily passable. So there have been some weird things like that. But overall, it's like if you like process and you like optimization and how do I run around this kitchen that I'm trying to also not have catch on fire, but also put orders out as quickly as possible. Man, it's awesome. Like it is all about just process improvement. It's super fun.
I'll see you later.
So Overcooked's really good. Otherwise, I'm awful and I've been playing Adventure Capitalist, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
No.
It's a clicker. It's one of the worst game ever. I open up the phone and okay, the way the game is you have a bunch of businesses that you then buy more of. And as you buy more of them, they generate profit, and they generate profit faster. And you just every once in a while come back, buy more businesses, the numbers go up, and then you wait, and then you come back and you. Click
So it's
it
like
again,
one of those
and
like
the numbers
Pixel
go up.
People and stuff like that.
It's like Cookie Clicker. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
same
what I was
thing.
saying.
Yeah,
Cookie
yeah,
You
clicker,
click
yeah.
it, the numbers go up, you feel better, and then you do it again. It's awful.
It's like a drug.
I don't know why I'm doing it. It's like one of those like, well, I have 2 minutes. I played a game technically, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what my drug is? Awesome tips.
Okay.
Yes, we just
Tips
got another
and
cheer.
bits.
Muto
and bits.
Crystallis, who will be getting
I like
his badge as well, because that's an 1,000-bit cheer right there. Thank you so much, Muto.
Thank you.
One of his first times
Awesome.
watching us live on a Sunday, so you deserve a
Prize wheel.
Prize wheel.
He was like just a little bit behind. Muto Crystallis, come on down and spin the wheel of production.
Yeah.
Because he's a producer.
Spinning.
Grasp that straws, Drew.
I feel like that was pretty damn good.
Oh, you almost got a lip sync challenge.
But he does get a 500 XP to the entire room.
Nice.
What now? What? Muto, you're amazing, man. Thank you so much for your support. You've been unbelievable recently, and just in the long run.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a time where he wasn't.
No. Our first producer. That's really special to us.
Slow. A lot of fucking sounds going on.
So it seems like you focus more on like the Steam and mobile stuff than
Yeah.
anything else right now?
Yeah, I have a big drive to keep collecting like local couch co-op games, just because like I really like that we are physically here and we can play this thing and we
Like
do it
Tricky
together.
Towers?
And, yeah, like that exactly, like Tricky Towers, right? That's probably the next one I need to buy for my like.
I'm
Steam
surprised
collection.
It was free.
But
Oh,
yeah,
PS
PS4. Yeah.
I mean, on bigger games, like I'm really behind, and I'm still working on Doom. Doom is phenomenal, though. It's really good.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's really good.
My buddy's playing Doom. He's just about to finish it. No, I'm
It's-
gonna borrow it.
Like I definitely have fallen off of Call of Duty because I also don't like. I kind of get bored with the whole like I just shoot a bit and then I hide behind cover and then I shoot a bit and then I hide behind cover and just Doom at the whole like dynamic of I have to go into this room and I have to kill everything, and if I'm losing health and I need health, the best thing I can do is to kill more things, which I'm sure this was brought up like when that game came out. But, like, man, it is just like it is so thrilling to just run around this arena for like 5-10 minutes and then you just have this calm. There's also like humor in that game too, of just like how like dumb the Doom guy is and how like they embrace how dumb he is, and like he is just a meathead that just wants to kill demons and that is his only job. But yeah, so that's mainly what
It
I'm
looks
playing.
so fluid, and whenever I watch it, it looks cool, but at the same time, I think if I were to get into that game, I would just feel... Just the atmosphere of it is not something I want to be in. Like, I don't want to be in hell.
It's
It
very
doesn't make
red.
you scary though. It's not scary though. You know, like how like Silent Hill or PT or like Resident Evil is like a horror area.
Yeah.
This is more of like, here's some dubstep rock metal, and you're the Doom guy, and you're just murdering demons because they mean nothing to you.
But that's
Like that
And
thing
it's
you had
not,
in the beta?
it's not
or in the
scary
demo?
because nothing scares
Exactly
you
the same
because you're
thing
the
throughout the whole
Doom
game.
guy.
See, I'm more into
Right.
that kind of horror, though, like the Silent Hill, and I guess you'd call it maybe kind of like Stranger Things, like that kind of horror. What do they call that?
Suspense.
It's got a
thriller.
name. The guy who wrote all those books, you know,
that's
like
what I'm
the
talking
early 1900s, and now has a whole horror genre named after him.
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraftian.
There you go,
It's a kind of like Lovecraftian horror. I can get behind that, but when it's just like hell, I don't want to be there.
Sure.
It's just as simple as that for me, really. I guess
It makes
But
sense.
It looks
Yeah.
good though. Like the gameplay looks
It
great.
feels great.
Yeah.
But I understand. You do
I
feel...
need to get back to it.
It's not, like you said, it doesn't feel like scary, but it feels... Like, you can feel like it's drab, you know what I mean?
It's
like,
demonic.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So if that's not your thing, like, yeah, I get it.
When I need to finish it. I was gonna finish it and get it to you. I just haven't touched it. It sucks.
Cool story.
I gotta-
Yeah.
You're the one.
Cool story, man. Dean,
Cool story, man.
what you been playing, Dean?
I was all over the fucking place. I played this game Oceanhorn, which I talked a little bit about.
Uh-huh.
It's
How you liking that?
pretty much Legends. It's cool. It's Legend of Zelda on PlayStation.
Yeah.
If anybody out there was like, "Oh, I wish Nintendo would sell the games to Sony," get Oceanhorn. It's Zelda. It is Zelda.
Really?
Yeah.
But
like,
it's not cell shaded though.
It's not cell shaded. No.
I really
the
wish
only
it
reason I
was.
say Wind Waker is because there's like islands and there's some like ship mechanics and there's stuff out in the water and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's Legend of Zelda. You go through dungeons, you
So it's
solve
worth the money?
puzzles, you open the chest, that makes a little chime. That's
Oh,
how you
wow.
get. That's how you get your upgrades and equipment and stuff. Is by
Do you get a
solving
hook shot?
puzzles, dungeons and everything. What's that?
Do you get a hook shot?
I haven't yet, but there is an inventory slot for something that's pretty much a hook
Do
shot.
you keep getting like items that like increase your ability or mobility in the world type behavior? Yeah.
It's exactly Zelda.
Okay.
It's like the original in like 3D model. You can't jump. Like you have to like if there's something you want to get up, you have to like go around and find how the staircase is and things like that.
Is it so? It's top down.
Yeah,
Okay. So
Kinda.
it's kind of like a 3D dot hero.
yeah, kind of. It's
Yeah.
like top down, but it's angled.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's pretty much top down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I played that. I played a little bit of Tricky Towers. I played the Battlefield 1 beta for a little bit. I played
Tricky Towers. Hold on.
Did you get murdered by a horse?
What's your top one? Tricky Towers.
not good 52.
Okay, just wondering.
I'm not good.
I just want to make sure I'm ahead of you.
You are. I can't get it, dude.
I can't beat my score of 82. I've been
No.
trying. I
Jesus.
just can't beat it.
I like just can't. It's just not clicking with me. But I keep trying. I
Yeah.
like it. It's cool. I'm just not good at it. I'll beat your score. No, it's a matter of
When
time.
you do, I'll beat it again, though.
I look forward to that, Andrew. Yeah, Battlefield 1 was cool. I get it. It looks really pretty. Not my thing. I don't like vehicles in first person shooters. And like the big team battle stuff's not for me. Like
Okay.
whenever I play like shooters, I tend to like the small maps, and this is kind of like always big
Right, and you
maps
do
because
your
it's
lone
always so
wolf. You
big.
kind of probably are a lone wolf too.
Yeah, normally.
That's why.
But it's cool. I hope people like it. It seems like it seems
Oh yeah,
really
it's.
cool.
I love it.
What else? I started playing Uncharted 4 again today just to
Nice.
clean up
That's
trophies.
so weird that you say that, because I've been wanting to restart the game, because I never
Yeah.
beat it on Crushing, I guess is what it
Me
would be.
either, yeah.
And with the Uncharted 4 bundle being announced, this is like, that was such a good game. I should
Mhm.
try that again.
I'm
But
going back to finally clean up that platinum.
Yeah.
I just started doing collectibles, and then I'm gonna do my final playthrough after. I don't want to like mix up the collectibles with my final playthrough, so I'm gonna get all the collectibles and then do the final playthrough, and then finally, I tried Overwatch this morning,
Nice.
and that was cool. I had a good time.
me too.
It was about what I thought. I got in like 4 or 5 matches. I was like, yeah, I'm already bored.
The only thing I didn't know is that it didn't have a competitive, like, death match type mode.
That really sucks. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I'm just
You know what's
surprised
funny
that they
is you-
don't have that. I mean, I get it that it's a team focused game and that's where the crux of it and that's the heart of it. But why not just have
I
it?
thought the same thing
Yeah.
until I started playing it. Once you play it regularly, like I don't give a shit. Like normally that's me. Like when I play,
Yeah.
when I play Call of Duty now, I play a lot of demolition.
Mm.
You know, which is the capture the areas and everything like that. But I also like to play like a lot of deathmatch. You know, team deathmatch and everything.
Mhm.
So when this came out, I didn't know that going into it. When I found out I didn't, I was like, oh man. But then by the time I hit like level 5, level 6, I was like, I could give not a shit less that it doesn't have deathmatch moves.
I gave many shits.
Yeah.
All the shits.
Well, again, at the beginning I did, but like once you start playing more and more, same thing. Like you got bored, but like I don't know, and that's why I said I don't think you would be as into it because there's not really anything that you're achieving. Like I think the
there's
biggest
no,
issue is
there's no goal. I don't feel like I'm progressing.
right. That's the problem is that it's
At
all
all.
cosmetic.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm amazed I like it so much because normally I don't care about the.
But the
cosmetics.
gameplay was good. It's
Yeah,
smooth.
solid, yeah.
It
Very
felt
solid.
good. But yeah, that was an issue. That's you and that's cool, but it's like when I hit like Call of Duty and stuff, like those 2 game modes that the game had are like the ones I avoid
Yeah,
always because
yeah.
I don't like. Quite frankly, I don't like relying on other people, and I don't trust
Right.
other people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to be on a team because I
Right.
don't
This is
trust
all
you.
about team and
So I
the team
play
makes or
along,
breaks it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't down with
Can
that.
I pause you guys for one moment? I have 2 things I want to address. First, Megan, who doesn't understand the idea of bits, I do want to say that bits are Twitch's currency system.
Yeah.
And if you cheer, let's say 500 bits, that's $5. 1 bit equals 1 cent. So you're giving us $5, but those 500 bits cost you $7.
Right.
So that's where Twitch is getting you. They're taking a portion.
Mhm.
So we do say that tips, just normal tips, at levelupnetwork.com/tip jar, will get every cent that you're tipping directly to us. But if you want to have that thing in the community, that thing in the chat where you have a badge.
Right. Like Tobes has.
And like Tobes has now, and you start accruing those things and you start being able to show that off, that's where cheering comes in, and we're totally cool with that. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Don't feel like we're pressuring you any way or the other, because obviously we appreciate the support either way. So
Right.
just do what you want to do, and we'll love you for it.
I think the bit badge,
The
especially
bitch?
because the
Yeah.
bitch. I think the bitch looks really good because it's so rare to see.
And I saw something else that I wanted to address, and I forget it already.
Hashtag burn.
It was around that area. You were looking at the screen
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
I lost it. I forget what it was,
Oh,
unfortunately.
Bob.
All right. Oh, that's what it was. Echo. Split Maniac. Is everybody else getting an Echo?
Yeah, I've only seen. I think
Because I saw one person say yes. I saw a bunch of other people say
I saw
no.
a bunch of people say no. It was the last I saw.
For Dean. Only for you, Dean. You're the only one that gets an
I'll tell
Echo.
you about that. That was me and Mike share a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a problem, then I'll put them back on,
Yeah.
not on Omni, I'll put them on Cardioid.
Mhm.
That probably will help things, but I'll have to
Pattern.
adjust the
You
levels.
said words. They mean something. I'm sure.
Cardioid means that it only accepts what's in
Like
front
forward.
of it.
Yeah.
Omni means that it accepts...
Like imagine a cone
All around.
versus.
Oh, so if you're
Yeah.
bouncing off the wall, there you go. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Split Maniac, I'm sorry, it's only you, man.
Omni is actually a
Literally
figure 8.
5 things in a row just said no
Common
Echo.
design.
So I'm sorry, Bryce. I don't know what's going on your end.
Sounds like you're beat, motherfucker.
Speaking of crushing dreams,
Mm.
I think it's time for our favorite segment of the week.
Well, what did you guys play? Did we discuss?
I mean, I played Overwatch as well,
Cool.
and I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's not something I would ever buy. I'm glad I had a free weekend with it.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Cool.
That's all I'm going to do with it.
Cool.
Did you want to bring anything up before we move
I
on?
started playing Rainbow Six.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought
For the
other day.
first time?
Yeah, I mean, I played the beta, and I was like kind of like in the middle, and I was really bothered that they didn't have a single player mode.
Yeah.
And it's definitely team based, and it's one of those things. The only reason I got it was because Rick had already had it, and Johnny decided to get it as well. And my buddy Zach, who I know, plays a lot, and he's been posting a lot of videos. And him and his team that he plays with are pretty good to where there's a realistic mode where it's like one shot dead. And in Rainbow Six, like I mean, they have that in Call of Duty.
Like, no matter where you hit, you can hit them in the foot and they're
in the
going to
foot
die?
and they're done.
Mm.
And it's extreme. I mean, it's extremely like tough. Like Call of Duty has that hardcore mode, and that's actually what I only play when I play Call of Duties now. But this is like it's like nothing else. So the fact that he's able to do so well with it was impressive. I was like, all right, this looks really cool. I want to get into this. So I think that's going to take place of a lot of like the games I was debating. Like I think that's going to take place of me wanting a Call of Duty this year.
Cool.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting into that game now.
That's
Yeah, it's really weird. Like,
It's
blowing
it's
up
like
again.
gradually taking off.
Which I'm happy with. Like,
interesting.
and the upgrade system is really nice. The way that they have you have to buy a character to use, and you can only use those characters or like a default one, which kind of it sucks.
Mm.
But each character has their own thing. Like so, one guy will put up a unbreakable wall instead of just like a bunch of boards. Another person will shoot like an exploding mine into a breakable wall that will explode
That's
instead
cool.
of you breaking it down. So like each one has its own unique thing. But you have to buy them, and the only way to buy
Right.
them is play more. So it's a really cool system.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Greg.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Oh,
buddy.
is there Greg? Greg!
It's a
Hi.
little bit too low. Just a little bit. I'll raise them up gradually. How you doing, Greg?
I'm fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Phenomenal.
Ooh, that's.
Oh, Greg, we were just doing. You came at a good time. We were just doing what you've been playing. Why don't you let us know what you've been playing a little bit as well this week?
I just 100%ed Resident Evil 4 on the
Nice.
PlayStation 4.
What?
And it didn't give you a platinum, right?
No platinum, no, but I got.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Why?
It doesn't
They
have a
just carried
platinum.
over the PS3 trophy list.
Hold on. Isn't I mean Resident Evil 4 is a decently sized game. So what the fuck?
Yeah. They just carried over the PS3 trophy list. I mean, it happens.
So they were stupid on PS3 and PS4. So apparently they didn't learn from mistakes.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, PS3 they didn't have the retail download. Remember when that was a rule for Sony? Like it had to be retail in order to have the platinum. That was when that got remade for it. But then I thought they were gonna add more trophies in and give it a platinum for the PlayStation 4 version, but they didn't. But I
No, it's
finished
a real
it, so yeah.
epidemic. Most people, it seems we've gotten to a place where people are pretty good about it. Every
Yeah.
once in a while, a motherfucker slips through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't put platinum in.
Not every game gets a platinum, right? Like only certain games.
It's-
Only big AAA guys.
It's not even
Not
that.
anymore.
Yeah, it's like even indie games will get it, but it's like it depends on them filing for it and having a compatible list that meets certain requirements.
Mhm.
But then for some reason, Sony sometimes denies their claim for a platinum.
No, most of the times it's the developer.
Yeah, so
Is that what it is?
I don't think it's ever Sony.
No.
The developer
I
is the
thought
one
it
who
was
chooses if it gets a
Yeah,
platinum
if
or
the
not.
developers
Really?
want a
Yeah.
platinum in, Sony will put it
I
up.
was listening to something where the developer wanted a platinum, where, like they were talking, like somebody was talking to the developer. I don't know if it was Giant Bomb or one of Kind of Funnies, but the developer, whoever it was saying that they wanted a platinum and they were denied.
No. Sony, that's the developer's
Yeah, I've never heard
choice.
that before. Yeah.
If the developer wants a platinum, then they put the platinum in.
Yeah.
The only thing
Capcom-
Sony does is review the list and make sure like the points are divided up to equal the amount of points it has to, like in regards to the scale they use for trophies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's up to the developer, like what's worth gold, silver, platinum. That's all them.
Huh.
So they fucked up.
They really
Yeah.
fucked up.
To Ozzy, there's always going to be a little bit of an echo on Greg. There's nothing we can do about that because his audio is coming from the TV and hitting
Yeah.
the back of the mics, and there's just nothing we can do about
So
that.
until we get that audio system that we want,
We would all have to have headphones on for you guys not to hear an
Yeah.
echo from Greg. It's just
You're
the way it is.
welcome.
Could you just like coat all of the walls in sound absorbing damping
No,
material?
it wouldn't matter anyway because
I mean,
you gotta
this-
remember where the TV
his audio
is.
is coming
and then
directly
the
at
microphone's right here.
It might be a little bit worse right now because I have them on Omni because it's actually hitting the back of them. But I mean, I can change it to cardioid. We could try that.
I think everything's fine.
Cardoid.
I wouldn't stress about it.
Okay.
I watch the show when I'm not here. Greg's echo is totally fine.
Yeah,
well, that's
it's
what I
not
mean. It's
that-
not typically.
it's not
It's not, even,
overwhelming.
it's not even echo really. It's more like reverb.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because they're like 10 milliseconds off
Yeah,
each
it's-
other, so
it's
you
not
hear
really-
this like slate like
It's
reverb.
fine.
Yeah.
He sounds great. He looks great. Everything's
Don't
great.
You look great.
Whoa! Don't make me cry, guys.
We also have over 70 people in the room already.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are the Level Up Show. This is a
Nice.
gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like what we're doing at any point, please make sure to follow the show. Hit that heart button at twitch.tv/the Level Up Show. We will shout you out, and you'll get notifications whenever we go live.
Harder.
Also, if Rick is in the room, Rick, why don't you share our show into NeoGaf? Let's try and get some of those gaffers in here. We got some new people in the room. I'm seeing some new names in the chat.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Kinsveer and El Santo 2K14. They seem to be new. So
Yeah,
welcome,
so-
guys.
So Kian, hi Jesse. That's
Oh, hey, Jesse.
and then Sonic. Hi Sonic.
Sonic Phantom.
Oh, there you go. It's Piash who's bringing in all these
Piash
people.
got
Thank
the
you,
vibes.
Piash. Okay, now we can move on to some dream crushing, right?
Okay,
Yes.
let's-
Okay,
crushing,
let's
that
move on to
sounds
some
fun.
dream
Let's do
crushing.
it.
Go
I'm so
ahead.
happy I didn't miss this.
Yeah, good.
So what we're gonna do here now, Dan? We have a PS4 community. Okay, you can look us up on there at the Level Up Network. They join the community. We ask a question.
Gotcha.
They answer it.
Oh dear.
This used to be a constructive thing. It's now turned into them answering and me destroying anything they say.
Okay.
Even if it's good, pretty
All right.
much.
So you just need like a that guy when you're at a rap group who's on the corner like, yeah, that's right, get him.
Yeah, pretty much. We need a disclaimer at the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen that says the opinions of Dean do not represent the
I
Level Up
really
Show.
think I'm serious. I really think we're all serious. So let's get started. The question this week was, how did you feel about this week's PlayStation meeting? What are your thoughts on the official reveals of PlayStation 4 Slim and PlayStation 4 Pro? Some tells me this is going to be a magical one.
I don't know. It's only one question.
Well, there's kind of
No, there's-
more than
there-
one, but
How
it's
did you
just-
feel about the
loaded.
meeting? What are your thoughts? on
Out of the Slim and the Pro.
Pro.
So it's technically 4.
We'll see what happens here. Deep Bunny responded with, I thought the reveal was great. My only concern was what the price would be and $349 UK, so fake money, on a console that can deliver 4K resolution gaming.
Oh god.
You gotta admit that's a good price, especially when you compare it to equivalent PCs. If there's a trade-in offer from retailers as well, I think I'll take the bait.
Not bad, not bad,
answer.
right?
Not a bad answer.
He didn't talk about the Slim.
No, you didn't. You didn't talk about the Slim, and that's fine. No, it's the same as the PlayStation
Most
4.
of the people focused on the PlayStation Pro.
That's
I
fine.
mean, obviously that was the crux of the conference. It was literally the Slim for what, the first 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
So
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. I'll give you 500 points to help up. It's, however,
It's a little half-assed.
I mean, comparing the Pro even to equivalent PCs, I feel like is the Pro is not a PC.
you can say that though, but it still is putting out graphics similar to what you would get on an equivalent PC.
Yeah,
That's what I read.
You can read whatever
Yeah.
you want, man. You watch me build a
Obviously,
fucking computer.
obviously, it doesn't have.
I know
those
a
things,
thing or
but-
two.
but I think Uncharted 4
You know
looks
what I
better
mean?
than any game I've ever seen on PC.
That because you
No,
haven't seen.
but
them
have you
right
ever
away
seen
then.
it? Have you ever watched like
Yes, I've watched.
sat? No.
Witcher on
Have
PC.
you sat here on your PC natively and watched it at ultra
one for
graphics.
one. We need
I've
to
watched
It's a difference.
no. We
like a
we
gamer
really need
side
to get
video,
like a
which
good.
is very high, high detailed video
It's not
of
the same,
said
man.
game in
If
ultra
you put
graphics.
if we run something or even if you had a 4K monitor, whatever. Even
I'm not even speaking as myself here, though. I'm talking about just in general from topics I've read of people that have high quality PCs and people that have played Uncharted 4.
Mm-hmm.
Uncharted 4 looks just as good, if not better, than most of those games, and that's because when you have a dedicated console, it's entirely different.
I'm not
than
arguing
PC.
that. I'm not arguing that Uncharted 4
And that's
does look
why,
just as good.
they were saying a lot of these, articles I was reading that if you look at Call of Duty on PS4 Pro, it looks as good as if you were to run that game on a high quality PC.
I think it depends on the game itself more than anything.
Well, obviously, yeah, but I'm just saying that I don't think he's, going too crazy there by saying that.
I'm not saying it. Did I say it was crazy? I said, however,
you were getting on him about that portion of
that's
the answer.
not equivalent to a high-end PC. The PCs that run typical games at 4K can destroy the Pro.
Well,
It's a fact.
this is not the PS4K as we thought it would be. It's the PS fake 4K. So
What does that have to do with anything?
You
meaning
can't
that
play-
it's not a game. It's not a system that runs games at native 4K.
We're going down a dumb rabbit hole. This doesn't matter. All I'm saying is the one point he made about this running to an equivalent PC, it's not equivalent.
No.
It's not. It can run the graphics, that's fine, but it's not equivalent to a PC's raw computing power compared to the Pro.
No, I agree with that. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I think all he's saying is that it's equivalent as far as graphics.
well,
and
now
therefore,
he lost 500 points in his
price-wise, I
offense.
think that's pretty much what
Way
he's
to go,
saying.
man.
I agree with
Minus 500 points. I'm sorry, D-Bunny.
D-Bunny, I'm with you, man. I agree with you.
Minus 500 points. What else are we
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Puff and Puff.
Hufflepuff.
No, he's getting minus 500 above. You're getting minus 500.
Gosh.
I will defend D-Bunny to the ends of the earth.
I
Do you
was
have
a-
houses?
It was a good answer. It was just an anecdote. Scoozy responded with, I found the meeting to be a little boring. As for the systems, I think the Slim not having an optical cable support is dumb. And as for the Pro, I liked it enough. Already pre-ordered. That's a good
liked it enough.
That's a good
Pre-order.
answer.
Swift and get to the right.
That's
to
a
the
good
point.
answer. I'm going to give you 1,000 points.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Do you have a 4K
Ravenclaw?
TV? Like, is that
Yeah, I
why
was gonna
you
say
already
Ravenclaw,
pre-ordered?
okay.
I think we're on the same page as
it
far
does
as the houses
have
go with this.
upgrades for 1080p as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, if you don't have a 4K TV, like,
You're not going to get the most out of it.
You're not gonna get, but you will see. You will. We found out like from what we're talking, like what the developers or not the developers, but reviewers, like people from news media and everything, they were saying that you do see a difference in regular TVs. Like so, you would see a difference on your TV. We would all see it, and it's because of the way that they're doing the HDR as well as the processing of the 4K.
but isn't that also
because it's
dependent on
not-
the TV?
Well,
If I
yes,
have
it's
a
good.
normal 1080p LCD, I don't see any of this.
Because of the way that they're rendering the 4K, it's
No,
not
that's not
native.
true.
Let's just wait.
Yeah, we'll wait for that. That's
There's,
yeah,
probably-
there's
there's
gonna be
a
so
lot
much.
more.
Yeah, there are things
Yeah.
that are being done even on a normal 1080p TV.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Good answer. 1,000 points to Ravenclaw. Madman2170. The PS4 Slim announcement was kind of meh to me, but I'm excited about the PS4 Pro, mainly because I'm getting a 4K TV soon, and I want to see for myself how big of an upgrade the PS4 Pro is.
So here's a guy that's actually getting a 4K TV.
Pretty good answers, man. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah. Well, here's the
Although-
thing about the 4K TV thing is if you're going with like the HDR10 4K TV that's like 65 inches or above, man, those are expensive.
Yeah, they sure are, dude.
Yeah, they're really
Yeah,
expensive.
I'm
Sure.
guessing you did a little bit of research into this after.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get one that takes the most of the PS4 Pro with like the HDR10 and everything, and they even say directly on PS4's blog the fact that they say you should go 65 inches or above
You're looking
to
at
really appreciate
$3,000.
it. Yeah, you're looking at $2,000, $3,000. So yeah, it's
I think it's like I
There
think the
was
cheapest one's
a-
like 2,800.
There was a, I think it was like a 65-inch Samsung 4K HDR compatible, and it was like, or no, it was a Sony,
Oh, those are gonna be.
and it was like $3,000, I think.
Yeah, it was an XBR.
I heard on the Sony's the
900.
input lag is not the best though.
Oh, really?
Don't know.
Yeah, on the 4Ks I heard. Yeah,
That's interesting because usually that's where Sony excels over every
Yeah.
other manufacturer.
supposedly with
that's
the
why
4K
Sony.
they really
Like that's what sucks about it. Like to
ball.
me, Sony's are the TV to go for. Right, no
It's
matter
kind of
what.
funny since Sony is the one making
Making the TV?
the console.
Right, I have to find out. I have to talk to Brian.
I
about
don't know.
sell
My
TVs
dad,
and
my
not
dad actually.
consoles.
I was telling Mike, my dad actually has a 70-inch Sony 4K. It seems fine to me.
Cool.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a ton of 4K content, so I don't.
Who does?
I really, yeah, that's true.
That's the thing.
I didn't really put it like through its paces, but
Like,
Seems-
honestly, this is probably the best use of 4K that we've seen yet, because
So far,
barely
yeah.
any movies come out in 4K.
Yeah.
And even Netflix and YouTube don't have that much content yet, but that's where you're going to find most of the content
Right.
is streaming. So
who were Madman? That's a good answer.
That was.
1,000 points. Who cares?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff's still pretty good.
They're all pretty good so far. GFN2112 responded with, I thought that the meeting was nothing special and lacked the excitement most PS showings bring. I agree. I agree so far with everyone who said I was a little bored by the whole affair.
It seemed rather slow.
I thought everything we researched and read and discussed amongst ourselves
was
after
much
the
more
fact,
interesting
way
than the
more
actual
exciting
thing. Yeah.
than the event.
I think that was kind of the idea.
That's stupid, though. You don't
Yeah.
hold an event and do it like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sure everybody will enjoy it after the meeting's over. Like, the fuck, man?
Judging the event as just a thing by itself, not even with what they showed, was like.
I think people were going in like, "Where's the Trinity?" and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
probably.
it's like it was just an announcement of a system,
Yeah.
and then they invited people out there so that they could get those articles written,
Right.
which is what really sold people later on it. If they
That's
didn't
true.
do that,
That's
if
a
they
good
didn't
point.
bring those people out there, man, it would have been a disaster.
Mhm.
Nobody would have had hands-on experience
Right.
and all that.
That's
kind
a
of
good-
stuff.
that's a
'cause
good point,
You can't
yeah.
accurately see a 4K TV through a 1080p
Exactly.
stream.
That's why they needed to
Right.
have those people out there.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
The Slim was exactly what I expected it to be. I think that's pretty. Yeah, everyone's pretty much on the same page there. As for the Pro, more details would have helped. So that's kind of what we were saying.
I like Rick, though, but this seems like kind of a half-assed answer. Like, what did you like, what didn't you like?
No, plus 1,000,000 points to Rick.
Because he's Rick.
Gryffindor. Cause
Well, yeah, because you guys are fucking symbiote.
I would have liked to know
Rick's
what
Rick's
it
Same.
ride or die, dude. I gotta
That's-
reciprocate.
No, like, that's so biased.
Yeah. This is my segment.
I was going to say, the Slim for me, it was pretty much what we expected it to be, but when they first announced it during the conference, not later on, as we found out that there's bundles and all these kind of things, but when I heard $299, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Right.
You could have done $249. But then, now we're seeing, as we're going to talk about later on, that there's
Ridiculous.
some really great bundles with the PS4
Right.
Slim that are going to sell really well this holiday.
I might even switch out.
Yeah.
Like, it's
So
ridiculous.
we'll talk about that
how
later.
they are.
Yeah, there are some good bundles coming out. Muto Cristales, our producer.
Wait, what house is Rick in?
Rick's
Gryffindor?
Rick's Gryffindor, man.
Yeah, definitely Gryffindor.
Alright, so-
Muto Cristales said 4K isn't important to me. Well, Muto, you avoided the first question. I prefer stable frame rates to higher resolutions. That being said, it's a fair price for what it offers.
Mhm.
I'm tempted to go Pro for the improved 1080p, 60 frames per second, or normal HD TVs.
There you go.
So that's kind of what to answer your question.
Any game that's 720p is going to be upgraded natively to 1080p, 30 frames per second, upgraded natively to 60 frames per second, and on top of that, they might even add in some little touches like foliage or
Yeah.
that just-
better lighting or something like
That's
that.
just taking advantage. Well, I guess there's the uprising, but that's also just taking advantage of the power of the graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
This
in
that
the
kind of
box,
thing
right?
requires an actual patch, though. It's not like the
Yeah.
system just natively does
It's
that.
if they do it for that game,
Yeah.
Right.
Which they highlighted Uncharted and I think Rise of the Tomb Raider and
Infamous
something else.
First Light,
Yeah, that they
Deus
did,
Ex,
so,
yeah, games of certain games coming out now already will have a
Can,
patch.
can I ask a hot trivia quick? Because I did see an article headline. Does the Pro not take 4K Blu-rays?
No.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's like the big thing a
So
lot of
that-
people are focusing
That's
on.
like
yeah.
the one broken part of this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right,
We'll
we're
talk
gonna
about
get
that a
into
lot
more
tonight,
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the
something
that's
I'm
one of the
not big
big
on.
points of contention right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
So you didn't answer how you felt about the meeting.
You know.
That's a little bit of a problem.
Or the Slim.
Or the Slim.
But he went really far into detail
You really
about
almost
the-
didn't talk about the Pro. You just said you were tempted to go Pro.
Go Pro.
I prefer stable frame rates at higher resolutions. That being said, it's a fair price for what it offers. So you touched on it a little bit.
Yeah. He focused on the Pro.
I'm gonna give you 10 points.
Woof!
To who?
10! You gave it 1,000,000 earlier.
Ravenclaw. No Slytherins tonight. I don't think so.
Not
far.
yet.
Not yet. Correct.
We might have a Slytherin here. We'll find out.
Let's find out.
Failure fan.
Failure Fan 86 said, I thought it was uninspired. We already knew all that was going to be announced.
Did we?
They would need on-location demos to showcase their 4K graphics before launch to gain interest and justify spending $400.
That's very important. He's right there. Like, they need to have
I
a
agree.
4K television in Best Buy with a PS4 Pro hooked up to it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
But
so
that
true.
very well may be the case, given what they've done with VR and how well
Oh,
that
I
did for them.
agree. I imagine that's what they're thinking of doing, but they need to.
Yeah, I
Or
agree.
it's a failure. Failure fan.
So you talked about the meeting.
He did. He thought it was
You
uninspired.
didn't talk about the Slim.
He didn't talk about the Slim.
And he didn't really
Nobody
say
cares
anything
about
about
the
And you
Slim.
really didn't
Pro.
talk about the Pro. So you're definitely Slytherin. And you're definitely getting minus 50,000 points.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
That wasn't even just a
I didn't
little
like
bit.
it. I didn't like it. You know what? I had to make an example out of him because
You had to make
he
an
was-
example out
he
of
was
him.
the one weak link in a chain of otherwise strong links.
A lot of strong answers. I went with 6 this week. How'd you feel about that?
6?
6
Good.
responses.
It felt good.
It wasn't too many.
It was good. I
It also wasn't too
totally
late.
forgot we talked about that. It was good. 6 is nice.
Did you guys really have a long conversation about how many?
We
shoes?
did right here on the show that will never be forgotten. It's just a fucking train wreck.
It was. But we did 8
insane.
responses last week, and Dean was like, this is a little too much.
It was a lot. It was a lot. That felt like a long
He
set.
said 4, and I was like, I'll meet you in the middle. I'll do 6.
That was nice. I appreciate your considerations
All
here.
right.
Follow us on PlayStation 4 under the Level Up Network to have a chance at having your community answers read here.
And shut down.
And destroyed and maimed for our enjoyment.
Although this was a good week.
It
This was a good week.
We also had a surge in followers on our PS4 community, and I
Really?
assume it's because somebody invited their entire friends list, which is amazing.
That's really cool.
We're
Yeah,
up to
thank
like
you.
1,025 followers now.
Woo!
Solid. Solid as
Like
a
it.
rock. Any did I miss any tips? Did I miss any
Not
subs?
yet. Not so far.
I missed a follow. We got Antrakos Gamer who just followed us.
Yeah, Draco.
Antrakos Gamer, thank you for the
Come on
follow.
down.
We really appreciate you.
Wow, so much morning DJ. Oh.
Yeah.
We have 84 people in the room.
84 people.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
We appreciate you. Share the show, guys. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you can. If we get to 100 people in the room, what do you guys say we give away a $10 PSN card?
Yeah, that sounds really great.
I'm on board.
Yeah, we haven't done 100 people in the room in a long time. So 100 people in the room, we will give away a
Tell your
$10
friends.
PSN card or a card of your choice.
Hey, Big Daddy Greg, how you
So,
hanging
Jerry.
in over there?
Hi, Greg.
I'm hanging.
Hanging. Yeah.
You didn't get to respond at all to that. I'm sorry, Greg.
What do you mean?
No, we all wrapped up in it.
For what? Oh, for the that's Dean's. That's all Dean's.
I feel like Greg could really just watch a movie or something like that in the background. Like, you could just be gaming the entire time we're doing this and just be like, oh yeah, the PS4 Pro, that's, I'm not sure how I feel about that. And just sit back and continue and let us finish the rest of the conversation.
That's exactly
And be
what
like,
we did.
yeah, I agree with Dean. And then just
That
like...
one, what was that? What was the conditions that one time we had to do the show remotely? Oh, the snow.
There was a
The
snowstorm,
snowstorm. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I just had that.
All right, let's go to the first commercial break of the night. Hold on tight. Anthracos Gamer. We'll be back in approximately 60 seconds. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode
Oh, wait.
138. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. What are you going to say, Mike?
Can we just refer to it from now on as Tig Old Biddies?
Yes, we can call them Take All Biddies.
I'm not going to say that.
Dean's protest.
Children could be watching.
They should not
Nothing's
ever be
offensive.
watching. No.
We just got another
Another
$5
$5.
tip from Mel.
No,
But
thank you.
First, we got a cheer of 500 bits from Muto Crystallis, one of our producers. So come on down, Muto Crystallis, and spin the wheel of
Intricacy.
Prize.
intricacy. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Pretty good.
I feel the pressure now. It's Dean writing the damn thing down.
Dean's keeping a list of all the words they says he can't repeat.
It has to be different
Oh,
every
it's
time.
different. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the whole point. That's be different every
Got
time.
you. Okay.
All right. Oh! Disclose, man. That was
Oh
amazing.
man, that's
nice.
perfect. That's
Write
like a
them down,
one. What is the chances of that?
1 in 100, probably.
1 in 100.
Yeah, probably like a 1 in 100 chance.
That's awesome.
I'll write it down. $10 PSN card goes to Muto Crystallis.
Muto.
He deserves it, man.
Yeah, that's
He really
awesome.
does.
I'm very
I'm
happy
so
that's
happy
going
that
to
just
you.
happened.
Just to let you know, I write all these at the very bottom of the
Yeah.
outline.
You know, I will send you your $10 PSN card, although I'll probably have to just PayPal you $10 because you're from, I think, UK or something like that.
Oh,
so
okay.
A $10 PSN card is not going to work for you.
That's
but
awesome.
Next up, Miss Mel, come on down and spin the wheel of knives.
Wow, that seems
All right, we can
pretty.
do that. No, she has an obsession with knives.
She's got.
I feel like anytime
Sure.
it has to do something around,
She
like,
likes
deal with that.
knives, so
Okay.
she's kinda-
Like hunting or carving?
no, like
Sure.
murder, like
No,
murder
murder-
weapons.
More like murder.
Murder weapon.
Channel.
No, like murder weapons.
We got
100
100
in the
pixels in the
entire
entire room.
I'm sorry, my
Oh, right.
this is less cool.
I'm sorry, my yours is less cool.
It's a hard act to follow.
That was so crazy that happened.
We'll get you next
Oh,
time.
it's
This
awesome.
early in the show. Usually it takes a while because it has to, you know, have the other ones knocked off the list first before someone gets a $10 PSN card. I think I said Fortune already, didn't I?
Probably.
No,
That
it's a
seems like
four.
an obvious one.
I feel like I've said
in
Fortune.
general, not since the list began.
Yeah.
So it's free
Okay.
if you're looking to fill a spot.
Did I say Jeopardy?
No,
Not since the list began?
Not since the list began.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for the support, guys. That's already like $40 in support that you guys have given tonight.
So great.
So far. Keep them coming, guys. You can go to the levelupnetwork.com/tipjar if you want to tip, or you can cheer through Twitch. You can sub, you can resub, you can pledge on Patreon, repledge on Patreon. Anything worth $5 or more will get you a spin of the prize wheel.
In response to why she likes knives, she says, "I like to touch them."
I was gonna go with that. If they sub, are you the dom? I'll live myself out.
Get out.
I'm sorry.
Are you the... All right, let's move on to the level update. This is our weekly discussion of the week's biggest gaming industry news.
Are you ready?
I'm always ready. Thank you.
Not close yet.
Nailed it.
First up,
Go.
Sony has no plans to iterate again on the PS4 anytime soon.
That's
Those
good news.
mother-
IGN's Joe Screbbles writes, Sony appears to have no plans to introduce a further upgrade to its PS4 hardware in the near future, according to new comments from the company. Speaking to The Guardian, head of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Andrew House, said, quote, "We think that for a really substantial period of time, the PS4, the PS4 Slim, and the PS4 Pro are the PlayStation 4 lineup. We're very comfortable with that," end quote. Some have questioned whether Sony and Microsoft, which will release the Xbox One upgrade, Project Scorpio, next year, are moving towards something akin to an Apple model of regular updates to a base design. Sony has previously said that the Pro is not the start of a new console generation, nor is it a console that's going to blur the lines between generations. House also explained that the Pro has been designed in part to provide competition with the PC, as opposed to direct console rivals. Quote, "I saw some data that really influenced me," he explained. "It suggested that there's a dip mid-console lifecycle where the players who want the very best graphical experience will start to migrate to the PC, because that's obviously where it's to be had. We wanted to keep those people within our ecosystem by giving them the very best and very highest performance quality. So the net result of those thoughts was PlayStation 4 Pro, and by and large, a graphical approach to game development, or improvement, sorry."
I appreciate this response.
They've been
Makes me feel a
really
little better.
doing a pretty good job post
I agree, yeah.
of turning people around. Like I've noticed that a lot of people are like, "Oh, okay, this isn't as bad as I
That's
thought
kind
it
of how
was."
I feel on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
really
how I
do.
was too. When I first saw the conference, I wasn't like gung ho down on it or anything like
No,
that.
me either.
Although some of the responses to
was
the
just
YouTube video
very
acted like I was.
Bland.
I just was like,
I
it was
watched
alright.
your stream. I didn't think you were
I wasn't that down on
I
it.
thought you were about where I was, which
Yeah.
I thought was reasonable.
But post meeting, I was like, okay, I can see where some people would like this. I could understand people that don't have a PS4 at all yet wanting a Pro. Yeah,
Sure.
I get it. I get it.
I get it as well.
We'll talk about that later on, but
Can I
Yeah.
butt in?
Yeah,
I might butt in with too much detail and just stop me if I am. So I'm
Stop
in...
right there. Can I stop right there? Too much.
Too much. I'm sorry. I got like a lot of detail here. So like I'm in
Fucking hardware engineers.
the hardware industry, right? I do iterative. I'm in tech. I do iterative tech designs. That sounds like to me a marketing front because so the cycle life of consoles is not yet defined for the new iterative model that is going to be the consoles. Every console is going to be on x86, so there isn't some crazy base hardware redesign when it comes to the lower level like underpinnings of the software for games to exist. So like for them to say, "Oh, we think the PS4 Pro is a good point, and then like this will last for a long time," doesn't sound legitimate to me. Like it makes a lot of sense to be coming out with a new console every 2 to 3 to 4 years. I don't know what that cadence would be, but if you just look at trying to even follow the Intel talk and tick, like you would be doing that every 36 months, right? Which is like every time they come with a new.
I think that's not what
microarchitecture.
console people want, though.
But the thing is, is that if it is,
On behalf
that's
of them,
what PC people want.
No,
Right.
it isn't.
Let me just. You and I can have this
I
conversation
fear
and be
that.
in agreement. You will never win this conversation that you're about to have.
I mean, I'm
thing.
in the tech industry.
Here's the
No, I know.
Like-
You and I are on the same wavelength, and I've actually had that almost the same exact conversation, just a little bit less technical
Yeah.
with these two.
Like
and it was like, no, that's stupid.
Our feeling, Dean and I, is that if you want that, you got PC. The whole console space, the whole point of console space
no.
has been the convenience of getting console once every 5, 6, maybe even 7 years like it was last generation, and developers can push themselves on that console and produce amazing things because they've got a dedicated console to work on, and we can just ride that out for 5, 6, 7 years, and then we upgrade. I don't have a problem with this, what's going on right now, so long as it's not a full generation upgrade.
I
If it
agree.
is a mid-iterative thing, I'm okay with it because
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have to buy it then. Like
Right.
I'm cool with my PS4 right now.
Same.
This has a decent upgrade. It does. I've seen it now, even though I'm not even watching 4K HDR. I can see that it does have an upgrade, but it's not so much where I feel like I'm missing out.
Right.
And that's the balance that I think Sony needed to I don't even know what the word is,
I know what
but
you mean.
you know what I mean. Like they needed to like balance themselves on that line, and I feel like they probably did.
Well,
actually.
they're trying to not scare people off that go, well, this is coming out, and maybe I'm still iffy with the software or the games are out now. I'll just wait another 2 years and buy the next one, right? Like that statement is a way to try to prevent those people from having that thought and buy in now and not try to buy in later.
right.
And also, like, this is like I guess this is going to be a bigger conversation, but like, the saying like I want my 7-year cycle and then to buy in at the next step, like why can't you just offer an upgrade every 2 to 3 years and you can take it or not take it, right? Like,
Well,
I think
if
that's
it
what
is
we're seeing.
if it's
I
a
think that's what we're seeing
iterative
now,
thing,
like-
I'm okay with it.
Right, I think that's what he's saying is that the PS4 Pro is that. It took, 4 years?
It was 3 years.
3 years. So it
Yeah.
took 3 years to get to the PS4 Pro. And same thing with the, the Scorpio is coming out next year. What it looks like, and that's kind of, what you're saying is kind of what's happening, and yes, that's what's basically
good
happening in
thing.
consoles
On the
right
opposite
now.
end, I think the Scorpio is enough of an upgrade where I might feel like I'm missing out if I'm an
Yeah.
Xbox One owner.
That's not necessarily true. We don't know what's going to happen. They've never tried this before. This
Right,
could
right.
happen, and no one could buy any of these.
It's no, you're right, and
In
it's
which case
kind of
we're
just seeing,
talking
about
like
first
what you were
party.
saying, it's a very
Right.
big marketing thing, and I think that's actually what it is. What you're seeing right now is smart marketing, kind of like what I was saying. Like, remember, it's the same conversation we've had. It's like Apple. It's not every year, but it's like every so often. It's shorter life cycles that you can upgrade if you want to, but you don't have to. Like right now with the iPhone 7 coming out, on the 6S, I get all the features that the 7 gets for the most part without a couple of the tech pieces, and the iPhone 7 does it a little bit better.
and a headphone jack.
Why
So why would you upgrade?
don't get 4K resolution?
Oh.
Yeah. But
Right.
yeah. So I mean, it's the same idea, but it's just
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
like I said,
Definitely.
wrong people to have that conversation with.
That's not true either. I meant to say, I'm a day walker, man. I
That's
play the
true.
lines.
Yeah, you go PC
I
sometimes.
have a PC. I build my own PCs. I play PC.
I think I was
But
a day walker, by the way.
I like consoles
Good job on
because consoles are like, that's my space where I'm like, I don't have to. I can
It's
just
convenience.
have my games and they'll do it for me.
All right,
But like,
Wesley
to me,
Snipes.
I want to say, I think
that's
the
the
iterative
same.
approach is like going to be the saving grace to consoles. Because I think if you went for these long 6-year cycles, consoles will die out. I think that
They said that
hurts
last
a
time,
lot.
and
I
then
think
these
if they
sold
go
the
iterative,
highest they ever
consoles are
have.
dying out.
And people still showed up, right? And I
More
think
than
it's
ever,
great.
though, dude. Everyone said they're like these were gonna die. The life
And
cycle was too
also,
long.
this point, I think if they are going iterative to every 2 years, then that is the death of consoles.
I think that's pushing. I think you're more
That is the
likely
death of
to
consoles.
see
You're
it
now just
from
becoming
that,
a PC.
Yeah, I
You're
agree.
becoming a modular PC where you're upgrading every 1 or 2 years.
Also,
That's a
Evan
PC.
Hare, I'm going to talk
like,
about
why
that
is
in a
it a
minute,
bad thing?
and trust me, it's
not
not
a console
exactly what you
anymore,
think.
So why would you want to remove a space that people enjoy and
It's
just make
not
it
a
all
bad
PC?
thing, but it's not what console gamers want.
No, they want
Overwhelmingly.
consoles.
Right. Like I said, we'll continue this conversation because I understand this side, but you're not.
We're
gonna
not.
ever-
I mean, we understand. You're making it sound like we don't get. Like we get it.
No.
No,
I mean,
no.
If you look at any console gamer talking about this anywhere, that's just not
Right.
what console gamers want.
Well, I think it's there's a lot of different pillars of why you think it should be one way or should be the other way.
Mhm.
It's not just the like what makes the most sense for pumping out a new hardware revision to support the latest software developments, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, there's other underpinnings of how the market and like consumers react to that.
Mhm.
From a pure like power perspective, like it makes sense that you put out a new thing every 2 years, right? But like that might not make sense from a marketing standpoint and
Right.
like consumer
Yeah.
standpoint. I understand that, but it's we would have to get into that
Right.
also,
Yeah.
right?
Remember, they're gonna whatever happens with these is gonna set the course for the rest of it, probably like forever.
Let's pause for a
see.
second because we did have a tip.
Oh wow!
And we
I
also
see
just
it.
had a follow from
Oh, no, I do
Denoge.
remember.
Thank you, Denoge, for the follow. Really appreciate it. And we had a tip from DragonCon. $5 tip. So it's time for a...
Brazil.
Come on down, DragonCon, and spin the wheel of
What?
Luminosity.
luminosity.
That was a good one.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Luminosity.
Is it of all time or just for the show?
No,
All time.
it's all time.
Forever.
Oh fuck!
This
that's
list is-
really hard. That's really
Oh
hard.
God!
We got the Chubby
Oh, God.
Bunny Challenge. DragonCon, pick...
Choose your destiny.
Yeah, pick
By the way,
who suffers
I didn't
the
see
fate.
that Greg did it. I need to watch it. I need to
What
go
is
back
the
and
Chubby
watch that.
Bunny challenge?
You have
We
to
have
stuff
to-
as many marshmallows in your mouth as you can, and then do something, maybe read the next story, Something along those lines.
Oh man.
Although I will
cheesesteak.
say, I don't really like the reading of the story.
Right, because it messes up the
It
way
messes
the
up the
news is
story.
done.
Should read a poem.
Yeah, I think it should be
Look
like...
up a poem.
Oh, a
We should have,
haiku?
like-
A haiku. That's
Yeah.
nice and
Haiku.
short. That's very timed in.
Thank you for Miss Mel hosting us, by the way.
That as
Thank
well,
you, Mel.
yes. There was also a few other things in the chat. But go ahead. I feel like we'll talk about them later on.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Go ahead.
Opposite side. Xbox One was the top-selling console of August this year. Apparently. Wait, no, Dean, that's
Why
not
did that
okay.
happen?
That's not okay because you're Mr. Xbox.
Just stop.
Dean.
We've agreed to just stop.
Did we?
This, yeah.
Okay.
The
This is
charade
a
stopped.
lie.
We had a charade going all week long in the
God,
chat where
I
I was
can't
Mr.
do it.
PlayStation.
Wait,
and
can I
he was
tell you
Mr.
how
Xbox.
amazingly entertaining it was
I
when
can't
you
even
started
keep it
talking
up,
in the
dude.
treehouse after that, and Dean was like, "Hey, I see what you did. I found you in here. You can't run from me." was the
Of
best
course,
part.
Dragon Con chose me as the
Yes.
sufferer.
He speaks.
All right. Anyway, IGN Seth Macy writes, according to Microsoft, the MPD Group's monthly report gives the best-selling console title for Xbox to the Xbox One.
Nice.
Attributing the numbers to the recently launched Xbox One S and thanking its fans, Microsoft used the opportunity to take a jab at Sony, who yesterday revealed the long-rumored PS Neo, officially called the PS4 Pro. The Xbox One S, quote, is the only console available this holiday with built-in UHD, 4K Blu-ray, 4K streaming, and HDR for video and gaming. A not-so-subtle at all dig at the PS4 Pro's lack of a 4K Blu-ray support. Last month, Microsoft also claimed the top spot in console sales, but in actuality, it was the best 8th generation console for the period. It's an important distinction because it leaves out Nintendo's 3DS, which was the overall top selling console last month. Well, that's interesting. What the fuck happened last month for 3DS?
I don't know.
No games?
Was there anything?
What do you
you
got
have
going?
it,
What
right?
was the top selling last month?
Right, it
3DS?
was the top selling
Oh.
for July.
Picross came out.
Who the
Did a
fuck
new Monster Hunter come out, I think, also?
was it? Monster Hunter?
If that came out that way.
Yeah, if Monster Hunter came out, that makes complete sense.
Picross 3D? I don't know. I'll see. I'll look it up.
All right, so
there's a what the
poll.
fuck was that?
I don't know what that was, but there is a
That was
poll, and I think
terrifying.
Greg just put it in the chat. Thank you, Greg.
On it.
Greg, you're the best.
It says which console wins the month of September? A, the Xbox One S. B, the PS4 Slim, and that is it. Nothing else matters.
What do you guys think?
Nothing else matters.
Yeah, what'll win September? Because obviously, with the
With the
Xbox
Neo.
One Slim coming out, this past month, it makes sense that Xbox would lead the month of August. But now that we have the PS4 Slim kind of going head to head with Xbox One S, could that change?
Especially with these bundles, man.
Yeah. If
Did
anybody
you
is Mr.
detail them?
PlayStation, it is Greg. So, Greg, how do you feel about Xbox taking back the lead, man? They're winning MPD 2 months in a row.
Yeah, it's not gonna last. Yeah, but it's just a matter of people are like, oh, what? The Xbox released a new console? Oh, let me buy this. I really think it's just software sales that support the consoles itself. And Xbox hasn't released anything exclusive, and I don't even know how long. That's why I'm shocked that the console had the last 2 months over it.
I mean, that's usually the way it goes.
Yeah.
If you release a new
Well-
console, it's going to drive your sales.
That said, they have two first-party exclusive games.
Coming, you mean? They've got Gears of
Three,
War and
actually.
they have Forza.
Recore is next week. Gears of War,
Recore.
and then Forza.
I keep forgetting Recore.
So, I don't know. I
I
think
know.
They have games coming, for sure, yeah.
I think they're gonna win September. Personally, I don't know about
Microsoft?
October. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
don't-
100% agree with
I
that.
don't think Recore is going to drive sales.
No, I don't. I don't either. No, but
So what they have this month again is just that the Xbox One S is new, but I feel like people that wanted the Xbox One S that were really excited about it probably got it last month because that's when it released.
Mhm.
And now the PS4 Slim is coming out this month. That's probably going to generate some excitement, as well as the fact that we have an amazing Uncharted 4 bundle. We got NHL 17 in Canada bundle, both for $299. That's where I was like, okay, this isn't as bad because when they announced it at the conference as being $299, I was like, shit, you guys should have got this at $249. And I still think there should have been a standalone at $249. But the fact that they're releasing an amazing game in Uncharted 4
it's a good deal.
in the box, still $60 if you try and buy it at retail.
Yeah.
You're now lowering the cost of the console to $249, maybe even lower. So that's great. I'm glad that they're doing that. And Best Buy, we saw today, is including a freaking Platinum headset with the bundle, and that's
Yeah,
$160.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Okay.
insane.
when is
so
that out?
when
that
is
bundle?
the Platinum
That bundle?
bundle
Yeah.
out? That's the thing is I don't think the Platinum headset comes out until November 7th or something.
Oh, is that when it is?
So
I didn't know it
that's
was that late.
confusing to
So
me.
you
I don't
think
know what's going on.
PlayStation will take September?
I think it's going to be close, but I do think because the PS4 Slim is new this month, I think they'll probably win this month.
Yeah.
And then it might switch back to Xbox the month after that.
Daniel.
Do you think? Oh, okay. So my question would be is that it feels just like if you're looking at like sales, it's probably just the games that are coming out. Because I would think during this time, everything is so unknown because if people are just waiting till November because those Black Friday bundles are coming, right? And all the parents are waiting till Black Friday bundles, right?
Yeah.
And PS4 Pro is also November, so
it's
people
just
might be waiting for
if
that.
games come out and people want those games, it probably pushes the sales because there's I bet there's this like marketing holdback by the consumers for November, right?
And
Of, like,
VR,
what
when's
people are
VR
gonna
out?
VR's October.
Oh,
Yes,
October?
VR 's
October.
Is it?
And that does work with the Slim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works with everything. It's just that the PlayStation 4 Pro
Are you like on the fence
improves
still
it.
about it? I know
About
you were,
VR?
like, yeah.
I'm not even going to answer that question.
You're still
We've
against
talked
it.
about it at length.
No, well, I mean,
cool.
you've gone back and forth a couple times.
Not
You're like,
really.
oh, I might. No.
Maybe the first week they announced it, and then when Batman came out, I got excited. Ever since,
He's been pretty steadfast
Yeah,
in his
I'm
approach.
not going to get it.
If anything is going to hurt the PS4 Slim this month and maybe cause it to lose, it's the fact that the PS4 Pro is coming out in November.
Yeah.
You don't have any. You have Scorpio all the way end of 2017, but they don't have anything this year that's really going to stop Xbox One S sales.
Can I sidetrack real quick? Just because I don't think. Did you talk about the freaking outage of PSN at all?
I mean, I haven't.
No, in this week's news story.
Not in this week.
Okay.
No. We talked about it last week a little
Oh,
bit.
you did? Okay, so Gravy Business just said Xbox Live is better, and that's fine. If you think it is, the way it's laid out, that's fine stuff. So, change your gaming tag. Okay, I'll give you that. Better security. Kinda, but not anymore. It's actually getting closer.
It's becoming
I
closer.
don't know.
Server downtime for maintenance, in my opinion. I don't understand that. Because I am constantly looking at both, and I'm seeing both reported in Twitter and by friends that have them.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times that my PlayStation has been unusable for server maintenance, let alone hacked security, has been negligible to where I don't even fucking notice it. And I use this thing as my primary source of media entertainment. In Xbox, however, there are times where it's days my friends haven't been able to play. Oh, did you play Overwatch last night? Nah, I couldn't. The Xbox was down. The Xbox Live was down.
I don't
So
know.
to that, I say, fuck that shit. And I'm tired of hearing this. Oh, Sony doesn't have secure systems or anything like that. I will tell you right now, they are probably very fucking equal.
Maybe I'm a pushover, but when I hear something that it was down for like 3-4 hours and people were going nuts, I was like,
It's not an outage.
No.
yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, when it does go out for
It's-
Microsoft,
I mean-
it's not 3 or 4 hours. It's like a day half the time.
Dude, I know.
and
it
you
is.
know from experience.
No, we're 20 somethings and we have like shit and responsibilities, and I'm not 12 and fucking 3 hours of my summer vacation not playing video games.
I
is
guess.
murder,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
exactly what it is. Well, it was on Tuesday when a couple games just came out or something like that.
Right.
It just
That's why
looks
they were
bad.
mad.
People went nuts with it because it just looked really bad because they just announced the price was going
Yeah.
up. And then it went down. It was just bad timing.
Yeah.
But no, it's not an outage. It was a couple hours it was down.
Right, and
That said,
like, shut the
I've
fuck
never once signed on to my Xbox, I will say, and wasn't able to get online. Not one time.
No, but I've noticed, like I said, it's not that, and it doesn't happen for either system all that often. That's my problem is that that day and the next day and actually almost all week is Sony's servers are terrible and you're charging more for PSN and it's not that good security. Shut the fuck up and pay attention to what's actually going on, because I will tell you right now, it's no worse than 1 for 1. And not having an Xbox, it's unfair for me to make a call, but I will tell you I see this shit.
Mike, is your argument like you do it? You host a worldwide
Dude, I
server
swear to
tag
God,
game.
no
You
more
do
so.
it.
And more so, it's anybody bitching about the $10 increase on PSN just needs to shut the fuck up.
I mean, it would have been nice.
We're
if
all a
they,
little
like,
sensitive nowadays.
if they
Oh my
gave
God.
I'm alright, man. I mean,
I'm not saying us. Clearly, we're not sensitive, I
Right.
guess. Maybe I'm a little too much of a pushover. I don't know, but it takes a lot to bother me.
yeah, it's not a big deal. I agree. I didn't even think about it. They were like, maintenance! I was like, alright, I'll do something
Yeah,
else.
I got shit to do.
True.
Really.
live the game.
It's bizarre to me. All right, let's reveal the poll results. Greg, will you do that?
That was long enough to
no.
reveal the poll
Thank you, Greg.
results.
So we're asking you guys, what do you think is going to win September? Is it going to be the PS4 Slim now that that's out, or is it going to be the Xbox One S again taking them off?
Who thinks the consoles look better, like physically from a?
Oh, it's totally even. We got Xbox One S with 5 votes and PS4 Slim with 5 votes.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't particularly like either better.
Well, how they
honestly,
look.
God. I kind of like the way the PS Pro looks. I don't like the way the PS Slim looks, and I don't like the way the Xbox One S looks now.
I'm probably with you.
I like that it's
I actually
white.
like the 1S.
I like that it's white. I don't like that great.
Oh, really? See, I like that. That's
I don't
why.
like
Like that design choice, I thought was really nice.
I like how simplistic the Slim and the Pro are.
I actually don't like the Slim.
No.
I think the Slim.
I don't like
I
the
think that
Slim.
matte, especially because it has that matte finish.
Well, the Pro's the same way. It's entirely matte.
It's just,
Yeah.
you know what? It's not even. I don't mind the matte. I don't.
the angle.
It looks like kind of like a pussy. Like it's like they took away all like the sharp edges that made it look like stand out.
Oh, you
It's all
mean,
like rounded. I'm like,
it's
I look at it,
weird.
I'm like, ugh, like
Yeah.
come on.
They
It's
must have
not-
had a little kid fall and hit their eye on the corner.
I was really wondering about that. I was like, did something happen where they were people like hurting themselves? I was like, why did they do that?
I don't know.
Like the original PS4 with like those sharp angles, like looks really sharp.
I'm still obviously a fan of the original OG PS4, but I think that's kind of the point. Is they're cutting on costs. They're simplifying it. It's
Those
kind of like
Oh man, those corners.
Those corners, man.
That's what they-
well, I also mean in
Going
the matte finish. They're getting
Sure,
rid of
yeah.
the touch buttons. They're going towards tactile buttons, which some people prefer actually.
Tactile buttons are
I don't
better.
mind either.
Yeah, it's just it happened with the PS3, the monster PS3. The start it was all gloss, and remember it had like SD cards on it and shit, and and then
Yeah,
you get rid of
definitely.
that.
I don't know why I really don't like the curved edges for some reason.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
But I like the Pro. I think the Pro actually looks pretty nice.
Is it 11?
It's 1113.
Okay,
It's
I was
11:30.
gonna say we are way behind.
We're okay.
Yeah.
All
We're
right,
a little behind.
go ahead, Dean. You're up.
Super Mario Run has been announced for iOS.
Yay!
I'm pretty excited about it. Forbes writes, Nintendo continues to dive further into the mobile gaming space, but this time, the company's most beloved character is along for the ride. During today's Apple event, the other day's Apple event, none other than the game design legend Shigeru Miyamoto took the stage. When I was watching the conference, as I said, when he walked on stage, I was like,
Holy crap!
I feel like I'm watching history right now. I was like, this is unbelievable.
Right.
This is history, right?
I was surprised it wasn't
It is,
bigger
dude.
than I'm surprised it wasn't a little bit bigger. Like when I saw that was happening,
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh shit, this is happening right now."
Just
this is the
just
Nintendo
his-
announcement.
Just his presence on the stage was big enough. Like,
No, you're right, but like
at an Apple event, dude, and the crowd was like went
But
nuts for it.
here's
was
why
like,
I
this
thought
is
it was bigger.
Crazy.
We all agree that it's odd that we haven't heard anything about the NX, right?
No, Nintendo's super buttoned up.
No, but like it's weird that we've heard so much and so little at the same time about the NX.
There's
we've
leaks
been talking-
constantly.
right? But it's like, and we've been kind of. It's also one of those things like, what are they waiting for? Why are they not announcing it any earlier? What are they waiting for on this? And then all of a sudden, I saw that he was coming on. I was like, oh shit. Oh, this is
that's what you
happening.
thought.
Like this is like
I
NX
think
is the operating
you are
system.
the only one that thought
You
that.
always go to like
I would really be willing to bet on that.
like during
No,
E3,
no
like
way.
every
Wrong
single time.
audience.
You thought they were going to reveal the NX at the Apple event?
That's the wrong event.
Not a chance.
Because there was
There's
a
no fucking
rumor
way.
that it was an OS. It wasn't even a system at first.
I didn't even cross my mind once.
You don't remember that?
I remember back to E3, like every single time like Microsoft started to say something, Mike was like, "Oh, here it goes," and it's like, "Oh, never mind."
I don't know about that, but no, I did not even
Wasn't
think
that
for a second.
bad.
You were really excited about like every single time they would lead up towards, oh, maybe this is going to be them merging with Sony with the cross-platform play, and it never happened. Like you just kept thinking.
I
something was gonna happen.
wanted something big to happen. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, Mario coming to an iPhone is pretty big.
That's
That's
pretty big in
huge.
itself.
Is
Yeah.
this the second phone game for Nintendo, or the they did
No,
another one? They did another one,
Pokemon Go is not.
No,
Nintendo.
but it's
right,
also.
that's not Nintendo.
So
So
no,
they do
this is
something
the-
after.
But there, I thought there might actually have been
Tomodachi
something
Life?
else.
They have something else that they're doing. It's I think I want to say Animal Crossing
for the phone.
that they're working on.
Oh no,
but it's
you're
not
thinking
out
of
yet.
what's it called? The
Mii
Miitomo.
game.
Miitomo.
Miitomo.
Oh,
That's it.
That's
is that,
what
Have they
you're
done
talking
on
anything
iPhones?
after Miitomo?
I forgot that shit existed still.
Yeah.
That is a game.
I don't know.
It's on
I
my
don't
You,
phone right
that
now.
you and I played.
I'm gonna speed through this to save us some time.
Anyway,
So Super Mario Run coming exclusively to iOS. In other words, Nintendo is finally going mobile in a big way, pulling out all the stops. Quote, they'll be doing it first on iOS, said Apple CEO Tim Cook as he introduced Miyamoto at the event.
Yeah.
They'll be doing it in a brand new game, Super Mario Run. So that implies platform timed exclusivity will be a thing on phones now.
Mhm.
In the game, players navigate traditional 2D Mario levels in an attempt to collect as many coins as possible in a set amount of time before reaching the flagpole at the end of the level. Tapping makes the auto-running Mario jump, and the entire game can be played with one hand. Super Mario Run has multiple worlds and levels. 6 worlds could be seen on the demo screen. Alongside the single-player mode, there's Toad Rally, which allows players to compete against one another collecting coins. Finally, a third mode lets users create your own Mushroom Kingdom using coins you've collected. Whether this means you'll be able to create your own levels, like a mini Super Mario Maker, remains to be seen.
That's cool.
It's cool. Super Mario Run will launch in December this year at a price that's yet to be announced. According to Nintendo, users will be able to try the game for free prior to purchasing. The game will be available in over 100 countries at launch and in 9 languages. Nintendo tells Kotaku that they plan to bring the game to Android at some point, probably. We do intend to release the game on Android devices at some point in the future. said a spokesperson to the gaming website. And it's not like there will be a price, as the article said, it's not going to be free to play, which I was really glad to see. Yeah. So you just pay for the game and then you have everything. Which
I was reading on NeoGAF today that's kind of funny. Once the iPhone 7 releases, this is the most powerful thing Mario's ever been on.
That's really
Oh my
funny.
god.
The iPhone 7 is more powerful than probably even the NX is going to be.
That's really funny.
Because the
pathetic.
A10 is more powerful than the NVIDIA X1.
Mm-hmm.
So if the NX is the X1, then the iPhone 7 is more powerful.
That's funny. This looked great, though. I got really excited about this.
It looks cool.
It
looks like Mario.
It would be nice to have Mario just right there on your phone. That's awesome. I can't wait.
How much do you think it's going to cost?
I don't know. For some reason, I keep thinking $6.
Oh, really?
$6.
That's
I don't know. I don't know any
we know
reason.
the reason why, but because a lot of games are either $5.99, $9.99, or $14.99.
I don't even look.
That's how it usually
I don't even
goes.
look at the games.
I think $5.99 is right.
Is there going to
That's
be
the
a
price
free to
like
play
the Go
version?
games.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Or
so.
a free version at all? With
I don't
some
think so.
levels?
I think that they have.
I think they'll do a
I
demo
mean,
because you can demo games.
yeah, they will.
Yeah.
They are doing a demo. It said, but
Oh, there you go.
I think they clearly saw how much money there is to be made from Pokemon Go, and I don't think there's going to be a free.
Well-
I think you're going to get the demo, but then that's it. You have to get the pay version.
I mean, I would say they just look at the numbers they've gotten from Virtual Console on 3DS and
Yeah, that's
Wii
a good
U,
point
and they
as
just
well.
said, yeah, we can just sell this.
But
We
I
didn't
mean,
do
if
any
you were
weird
someone
game.
like them, where they had like talked about doing mobile stuff, and then something Pokemon Go, where they saw, even though they weren't actually attached to it,
They saw their share price
Their
climb,
stocks
and
went
then,
way up and
hey
then
guys,
dropped
get
all of a
our own
sudden.
Pokemon.
they were like, "Shit, maybe we should probably do it." And their stocks went up 35% after that announcement.
They didn't have anything to do with it.
No, after this announcement.
Oh, I did this one?
Mm-hmm. So pretty.
So Yadiu says the X1 is more powerful than the A10. I'm just going off of what I read on NeoGAF. I don't know the numbers myself, but I saw a lot of people saying that the new iPhone 7 is more powerful than that. But
It's also a different type of processor.
yeah,
Like, powerful just because of the numbers doesn't mean nearly the same thing as
Yeah.
actually, like, carrying it.
but I saw one analyst saying that he thinks it's going to sell 1 billion.
Yeah, I remember he was part of, what, New York?
Yeah.
For the Wall Street
I mean, if it
Journal or
was a
something like that.
free version, I could see it maybe doing 1 billion, but
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe.
There's
Even
not
that's a
enough
stretch. But
people, that's a stretch.
yeah, there's
a
only,
lot.
I think there's like 2.5 billion smartphones out there or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what he said? He didn't say it's going to sell. He said it's going to be downloaded. And what he means is because you buy it on one and you get it all on all of them. So you download it. I buy it for my phone and I get it on my iPad.
That's
Yeah,
possible.
like that. I
Yeah,
think
because
that's
you
what he
also
meant.
do have iPads and stuff like that.
So I think
that
it's.
will be on.
I think it's going. I think that's what he meant. I remember seeing something clarifying it.
Right.
And guys, don't forget we're at 80. Or we're at 89. Now we're at 85 again. But if we get to 100, we're gonna give away $10.
We'll give away a toy.
Give away a toy.
We'll give away a
Give
toy.
away a toy.
We got 6 toys, and you guys can get one of them.
Yadiu says A10 is still older ARM architecture. The X1 already runs on ARM. It's x86 architecture.
Well, you're very
ARM.
convincing. You sound like you know what you're talking about, so I choose to believe you.
Greg, you were up with the final story. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good one too. Mass Effect Andromeda's male/female writers are actually brother and sister. Polygon writes Mass Effect Andromeda will be a family affair that features not one but 2 versions of its new hero writer. In an interview with PlayStation Access, creative director Mac Walters revealed that the male and female versions of the characters not only exist in the game world at the same time, but they are also siblings. What a lot of people don't know, and it's a little surprising here, is that these 2 are actually brother and sister, Walters said. And they both exist in a game world at the same time. So if you're playing as the sister writer or female writer, your brother is somewhere else in the universe. In the original Mass Effect trilogy, players could also choose the gender of Shepard, the game's lead, but he or she existed as a unique individual. Walters told Polygon previously that BioWare wanted to move away from focusing on a single titular hero. BioWare brought Andromeda to this week's PlayStation 4 Pro reveal event where it showed off brand new gameplay where E3 2016 gave us a look at the sister writer. This latest clip was all about the brother. In the same interview, Walters revealed that we've actually seen even more of the writer family than we know. In the E3 2015 reveal trailer, the character in the N7 snoot was actually their father. We've got the full writer family full sort of revealed now, Walters said. We'll do names and things in the future as well. We have another poll for you guys that I'm putting in the chat room currently. Who will you be playing as in the new Mass Effect Andromeda? Brother writer, sister writer, or not getting Mass Effect Andromeda are your options. I'm so happy and excited about this news. The one thing I feel that held the Mass Effect trilogy back was the fact that they opened themselves too much, I thought. In the sense that, yeah, it was really cool to customize your own hero, but I know a bunch of people almost all the time, I know I did for myself, ended up just going with like the
The
default.
Yeah, I
like
did. I
Shepard.
played as just regular male Shepard.
Yeah, like I never
Oh,
did
you were
like the
male Shepard?
customization of like
Yeah.
your face or anything like that, and then all I changed was the name. But everybody referred to you as Shepard in the universe, and I thought the problem with ending that whole trilogy, what sucked about it was like everybody had such different playthroughs, and I feel like as far as a story from a storytelling perspective in this iteration of that universe, they're going to be able to wrap it up as a whole. Because whether or not you play as the brother or the sister, I'm assuming they're going to have very similar storylines, and that way they can wrap it up as like a single cohesive bow. Whereas you still
Are
have
they
the
not
skill-
allowing you to customize the look of your character?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think they
That would be surprising to me for them to remove that.
I don't know how much can really be like taken to heart at this point. 'Cause It seems like this is pretty far out, so who knows what'll change by then? But
Right, like I think like it's probably not going to be before 2018.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they have a reveal trailer, like a full on trailer coming November.
Yeah.
I 7 day.
I think that they're gonna have a date, whether they hit or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very end of next year.
But I think they'll get a date.
Yeah.
Their
I think
first
it was meant to be earlier than that. I think something happened.
date. Yeah, I agree.
Something.
Well, look at how
It
many.
looks cool though.
Look at how many creative heads
Yeah.
left.
I'm
Yeah, in a
excited.
short
I
amount of
fucking
time.
love Mass Effect's
I'm
one of my favorite franchises.
Agreed. I am so fucking stoked.
That
for this
footage,
game.
dude, like that's everything I wanted them to ever add to Mass Effect, like scanning, like your environment and interfacing with things, and like the jetpack, like kind of like boost. Looks
Yeah.
fucking dope.
That's
Yeah,
what it
and that fucking cutscene cinematic with your Asari companion jumping
Yeah.
over the fucking thing and oh my god, I'm so excited
I
for this.
know, me
fucking
too, dude. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
I
it looks
love
awesome.
Mass Effect.
I have no idea.
A little saucy right there.
I haven't played Mass Effect. A lot of people want me to play it.
They want you to play it because
I have
they
to.
gave money to the children.
I know.
And
I
you
know.
owe them.
I'm still waiting on Mike to finish Zelda so he can give me back.
Yeah, because
the-
the
means
Zelda thing came
Zelda-
after the Mass Effect thing, right?
But you took it from me. I can't do a Mass Effect until you give it back, unless people want me to play
Wait,
it
did you
without
even
streaming
start
it.
Zelda?
No.
Hey, waiting for him to finish it. He didn't even begin. Somebody got to start
Give it
something,
back to me.
guys. Somebody has to start something.
I've been
We
streaming
owe the
every
kids.
Saturday, and I would switch that to Mass Effect if I had the.
You understand that
Alright,
we're approaching the next extra life now? Jesus Christ.
Hey, mine was from the Trophy War.
I would have beaten... That was a long time ago.
Okay, but it was after
like
actually.
Sure, it
I
was
do
after...
think-
All right, hey, I know dates.
Which Zelda are you trying to
I
do?
do
I got Wind Waker.
What'd you say, Greg?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You should play that.
I do think the
Okay.
reason why Andromeda's taking so long is I think they're finally giving in, and I think they're giving us 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation 4 and Xbox
Man,
One.
I would fucking explode in my pants.
That's honestly what I think.
I want it so bad. I just have no faith that they're going to do it.
They were against it for so long, but I think Mass Effect, obviously they're not losing that name or that universe,
Right.
calling it Mass Effect Andromeda, but I really think it would be smart to put up hype for the game by releasing the trilogy on the
But then
system.
what's his face came out. Well, I thought it was like I was like, oh, they're for sure doing it. And then what's his face came out and was like, no, we're not doing this. You know, everybody wants it. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck to believe.
No, but
To
now
Guitar
the
Freak-
latest story from BioWare is that they said if the demand is there for it, which it seems to be
Totally
now,
is.
that they said they would do a trilogy remaster.
I hope so.
Two things. Guitar Freak, yes, I did promise that, and that's why I haven't been playing, is that I promised I would stream it, and I can't stream it unless I have the old Elgato, which Mike stole from me.
Yeah, I stole it from you.
I gave it to him because he really wanted to do Zelda, and I didn't think it would take him 8 months. Hawk, you do not need to be a sub to be a part of the giveaway. We were just saying that we would give away a $10 code if we got to 100 viewers.
Mhm.
So anybody is welcome to that if we get to 100 viewers.
Want
We'll
to
do-
come here while you stream Mass Effect and be your ghostly Obi-Wan Kenobi
Yeah.
as you play Mass Effect.
I would do it every Saturday as my stream if I got
You guys could do like a makeshift 2 guys and a baby.
I know his name, Derek. I just don't fucking like him, so I don't use it.
If that's what you guys want me to do. Like, if you guys don't want me to stream it, I won't stream it. I'll just play it. You know?
At this point, I just want you, because I know for a
Oh, yeah,
fact,
proof.
Drew, like, I know you're going to love the game. Like, it's such a
Trophies.
you game.
I don't know that you're gonna love it. I really want you to, though.
But my proof would be trophies.
That's true. That's true.
I really think Mass Effect 1, you're going to be like, this has really cool ideas. I think Mass Effect 2, you're going to fall in love with, and I think Mass Effect 3, you're going to be like, I don't know why this game was so hyped.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I was enjoying the first one of the 5 hours I played.
Mm-hmm.
So if the second one's better than the first one, I'm sure I'll like it.
The second one blows the
Yeah.
first one.
I was having fun with it.
And I
It
love
was
the
good.
first one. The second one.
The
blows
second one is my favorite out of the trilogy. It's literally one of the. That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Do you
Mass
need
Effect
to
2.
play the first for it to make sense well?
No, not
They
at
have, like,
all.
a story
I
thing,
can
don't
tell
they?
it through to skip one in
Yeah,
its
you can
Just
entirety
skip it.
and
Just
just
go
do
straight
the
to 2.
Don't,
Just-
dude, but don't.
just do the comic
What am I
book.
supposed to do?
Play it. One is good. One is a good RPG.
There's
and
a
it's the
Dark
most
Horse
RPG
comic
of
book
them
right now.
all. Play it.
All he needs is the
Don't cheat.
I promised to play all.
Don't
of them,
be a cheat.
So that's what I have to do.
It's
For the children.
Mass
I'm
Effect
letting
1 is
you
good.
be
I
a
asked
cheat.
because when I asked for the Bioshock recommendation, I get play 1 and then go to
Play
3.
1 and then go to 3.
and just skip
Yeah,
2.
but
Yeah, play
that's
1 and go to
fine.
Infinite.
Oh, you're shaking your head like
No,
you have to
really?
play
You
2?
don't think so?
Everyone tells me that 2's not worth it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this a serious thing, or are you
Yeah.
fucking with me? I
No,
can't
I'm not
really
fucking
tell.
with you. That's what the people on the internets, on the
No,
Reddits, and such
no,
tell me.
dude, no. God fucking no.
They say just play 1 and then go to 3.
No way.
Are we talking about Mass Effect right now?
Yeah.
No. He's saying Bioshock.
Oh, Bioshock.
Bioshock.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Totally. 100%.
I'm sorry.
100%.
And Greg was crushed. I'm so happy you did that because Greg's sitting there like, Dean's agreeing with me the whole
100%.
time.
Yeah. You can pretend like Bioshock 2 never even happened. Oh, you never played any of the Bioshock games?
I'm still on 1. I'm going
Oh,
through
okay.
it. Yeah.
It's so good, and
So
Infinite's really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all
I
good.
hate all of you.
Two's not a bad game.
He almost killed his PC.
Two's not a bad game, but you definitely don't need to play it.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it when the remaster comes out.
Oh, that's coming
Hey.
soon, isn't it? Yes, that is.
And you're playing
Tuesday.
just resubbed. Also,
Yeah.
thank you, Hawk, for the kind words. He said you guys
Yeah.
are cool. And
That
then
was
Tobes
pretty
responded to saying
Thanks, guys.
that we're the best show on Twitch.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Rick. I
We love you, Tobes. We
for
love you,
always
Hawk, and we love you, Enya Plyin, for resubbing. So it's time for a
Prize wheel.
come on down, Enya Plyin, and spin the wheel of.
Comfort.
He said it. I can't deny it.
Are you?
Wait, where's the chubby bunny?
We
Oh
didn't do
shit,
it.
we didn't.
You are the jumpy.
Yeah, I know, but what do I do?
Oh, well, who was supposed to be it? So
It's me. It's definitely me.
I don't know.
Oh no! Wait for it, and do it when we talk our reaction to Dead Rising 4 trailer.
Okay.
I
can do
also looked up Final Fantasy haikus if you want to read a couple.
that. Okay.
He's prepared.
That's
And
okay.
also, on top of that, I looked up and it was Monster Hunter that came out in July for 2
Gotcha.
years.
I will do the Final Fantasy
that's Monster
haikus.
Hunter, yeah.
I'll do the Final Fantasy haikus. I like that.
Great.
All right, let's spin the wheel for Enya Plyin.
And you're flying.
And you're
I ain't
flying.
lying.
Oh God, what's it gonna
Oh,
be?
God. Oh, God.
What's it gonna be? It's
500.
XP, right?
Yeah.
XP to the spinner.
Nice.
All for you, Enya Plyin. Enjoy your 500 XP. We appreciate you. You're amazing. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Keep them coming, guys. Subs, resubs, pledges, repledges on Patreon, tipping of $5 or more, or cheering 350 bits or more will all get you a prize wheel spin.
Touch your bits.
Whoops.
Touch your bits.
Those tickle bitties. Makes sense. They're called bits.
I actually really like that.
They're called bits.
I
Makes
actually
perfect
really
sense.
like Bioshock 2.
You do?
That argument will always upset me.
And
I
that is why you are
Uh,
alone on an island
It's not
through
an
Skype.
argument. It's just a difference of opinion, man.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean you're not alone. Actually, Rick likes it a lot too. Rick actually
way-
chimed in and said
yeah.
to play it.
Yeah, no, Rick always backs me up on that. The same way you guys feel about that is the way I feel about the first Mass Effect. So. To
That's
each their
true.
own.
Okay, cool. I'll do that after
and
the
then you,
trailer.
yeah, they give those guys.
Well, you could hold on to it for a second.
I'll hold it.
DePonch, I think that you shared a link.
No, because that only times out for 1 second.
Yeah, I'm not sure, DePonch.
So he was timed out for a full 600, but I'm not sure why. Also, TX Puck was
know.
timed out too, and I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure what happened there, guys.
I didn't do anything.
Close the but we're about to move on to our trailer of the week. Enjoy.
Trailer of the week.
Thank you.
There's
That was
that.
I appreciated it.
Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree,
Hold on, let me make sure
how
this is
lovely are thy branches, oh, Christmas tree.
I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen. This seems so jolly and not foreboding. The news always has good things.
I like games that take place at Christmas time.
Yeah, I was thinking the same exact thing. I like the whole Christmas atmosphere.
I really like Arkham Origins for doing that.
Especially when it's a contrast of that with
Yeah.
something that's dark and
Like the
hard.
original,
like
the
Batman.
original Division. Well, yeah, that, and then I was saying the original Division too.
Yeah, that's too. Yeah, I,
I
like
think
that.
you're right. Batman did it better though.
That was the best. I
Yeah,
loved it.
absolutely.
When the Joker appeared and they had like this haunted version of Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
Fucking
I like when like Christmas is the focus of something that's not a Christmas game or a Christmas movie, like Die Hard, or even,
Right.
or even Home Alone to a certain extent.
Have you seen Brazil?
Brazil?
Brazil.
No.
Yeah, watch Brazil. Definitely Christmas.
Love Actually is another one. Nice.
Oh, I love Love Actually.
Yeah, I love Love Actually.
Ah, Love Actually. Love
Shane
it.
Black always fucking is it.
But this looks cool. This is a cool little animation they did here.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm really excited for this game though.
Me too.
Hopefully it's weird.
It was just.
December
Do you remember the first one?
Yeah.
It was just really goofy, gore
That's what
fun.
they need.
Yeah.
It's the same, dude. I was watching gameplay footage.
Did you
right
play
now, it's like,
3?
Yeah. I
Oh, you
have
did. Do you like it? Was it good? Like
Yeah,
I
it was
heard it
awesome.
was like I heard hit and miss stuff. Like
I
it
liked
was.
it.
Yeah.
This looks better, but I like 3. But yeah,
When
I
is
saw
that
some
coming out?
footage of that. He has like Thor's hammer in the one.
That's
He has like
awesome.
a mech suit. It looks fucking.
Like I remember the original one where you were able to get the Mega Man outfit, and that was like a big. Like I loved the amount of Easter egg stuff that they had in that game was amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up for sure. I can't wait.
Tobe says, "Oh my God, Love Actually." Andrew, Greg, I love that you guys love that
I
movie.
make sure that I watch that every Christmas Eve.
It's such a
And
good
I have-
movie.
I know. I'm sorry. That's Christmas
Die
Day.
Hard?
Christmas Eve is Muppets Christmas
It just makes me
Carol.
happy. It's
Which
a
one
happy
is
movie.
Love Actually? Who's in Love Actually?
Actually,
A lot of British actors.
Yeah.
It's a British movie.
Colin
Hugh
Rick
Firth.
Grimes. Rick
Colin
Grimes.
Firth, Yeah.
I can't
Really
remember
good
if I
movie,
seen it or
though.
not.
Keira Knightley.
Bridget Jones.
What did you say,
Yeah.
Gray?
I said it's a really good movie. I really enjoyed that movie a lot.
It has only one like really sad story in it, like which is kind of weird because all the other stories are kind of really happy and jolly.
But it's
and then
not
there's this
even
one
exactly
sad story.
sad in the end, too.
No,
it
it's
kind
about
of like
love.
mellows out.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I've seen it all the way through or
No?
not.
Oh, I love it. Every
I
it's
cried.
always on around Christmas time. You'll see it.
I
All right,
cried.
so I'm going to do multiple Final Fantasy haikus with marshmallow stuffed in my mouth, and I hopefully do not choke.
How do you know that there's Final Fantasy haikus, by the way?
Of course there is. The internet.
Fair enough.
Come on. Are you serious?
Oh my god. I'll have to talk about it.
Can you guys understand me okay?
Yeah, so far, yes.
Remind me to bring up Reddit later.
Yeah,
How
sure.
come now?
Yeah.
One more.
Still pretty
Mhm.
good. Still pretty clear.
Right, left side. Left side.
If you can't do it, don't do it.
Close to dying.
Oh.
All right, so here's the first one. Read the top one.
Just the little pistols. Flying over, share a sword. Defeat a person.
I got nothing.
What?
I got
Speak into the mic so we
nothing.
can hear you.
At the son of him. 13, 13,
Oh my god!
2, the red fucking thing.
Okay, and then here's the last one. Here you go. This guy.
Coming the tiger back. And then the over left. Final, you must left.
I didn't get a single word of it.
Not a fucking thing was understandable from that mushmouth shit. Like, Jesus, dude.
I once heard fantasy, I feel like, and that's really it.
Do you want to hear what they actually were?
Yes.
All right, so the haikus were: get the 4 crystals, fly an airship, swing a sword, defeat a bishi.
Oh, yeah, that's what I got.
Epic fantasy, 13 great games and counting. Q bridge crossing theme.
Miss Mel says you sound like Brad.
No. And then 7 or 10 best, and then there are all the rest. Final, you must jest.
I thought I said all those things. Right there.
I wish we actually had read them side by side, just to hear how ridiculous.
Oh
Better
yeah,
than-
it's like after we had.
Yeah.
Better than Frodo 1. That's a new person?
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And that was for Dragon Con. Dragon
Oh,
Con, we
awesome.
love you, man. Thank you so much for your
Dragon
support.
That was so good.
All right, we're going to go to another commercial break. We'll be back in approximately 60 seconds, so hold on tight to punch.
Hi.
Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 138. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like what we're doing at any point, please make sure to follow the show. Hit that heart button at twitch.tv/the Level Up Show. We will shout you out. You will get notifications whenever we go live. We have 77 people in the room for
We have
some reason.
93 people in the room.
Now we have 93. I don't know what is happening.
We have 77 people in the room.
You have divided by
Yeah.
0 people in the room.
XSplit
X-Split
is
is
going
fun.
insane. And DePonch is timed out again. I don't know why.
Why are people timing out to punch?
And
What did he
TX
say?
Puck.
Show his message. You can click on it.
yeah,
and
you
show it.
can.
In your dreams, Andrew.
Hot?
That's
That's-
all he said.
That's nothing wrong with that.
Whoever is banning and timing out.
Maybe
needs
we
to
have like a-
cut the fuck off.
Maybe we have like a bot that's giving us numbers and banning people. I don't know. That's so weird.
I don't know. You should be untimed
There you go,
out.
unbanned. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Dean just did that. Yeah.
That's me. I'm not a bot. I'm a man.
Yeah.
You are.
I'm a human man.
Thank you for doing that. That's so weird. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of weird shit going on. We have ghosts
Yeah,
in the chat.
It's a weird situation.
All right, we're back. Let's get back into the level update here with some more hateful PS4 stories.
Oh no.
First up, the Scorpio is still more powerful than the PS4, according to Microsoft. The PS4 Pro, specifically. PlayStation Lifestyle writes, at E3 this year, Microsoft claimed that Xbox One Scorpio will be the most powerful console ever built, and after Sony's PS4 Pro reveal yesterday, they are holding on to that claim. Xbox Senior Director of Project Management, Albert Pinello, spoke with IGN after the PlayStation meeting with the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, and he's very confident that they have the better products. Surprise, surprise. Pinello did admit that Microsoft will not embrace HDR as much as Sony plans to. While Sony will make all of their PS4 systems HDR compatible, only Xbox One S and the upcoming Scorpio will support it. However, the Xbox One will share the same forward compatibility that the PS4 family will have with the upgraded 4K resolution as well.
More power doesn't necessarily mean the better product.
It's true. I think that for people who care about the absolute maximum in performance, we said at E3 we're going to be launching the most powerful console ever made. That is still true. We were very confident when we made the announcement, he said. It was kind of a bold thing to say, given the rumors that were out there, and I'm more confident today that we're going to have most powerful console ever made. I don't think it was that confident. You're releasing over a year later at a higher price point. Why wouldn't it be more powerful? It would be insane if it wasn't more powerful.
Yeah, you're taking advantage of the later tech.
Yeah, I just think that's a weird statement. As far as forward compatibility, if you go back and watch our launch video, this one was one of the key things we stated in the video. We think about Xbox One and Scorpio as part of the same family. All of your existing Xbox One games and accessories will work. Your Xbox One games will look better on Scorpio, and I believe we have a very good story for customers for both upgrading their content and how the cross-compatibility between the two products works. Every game that you're buying this holiday for Xbox One and Xbox One X is going to work on Scorpio, no problem, out of the box. It's good news. Let's reveal the previous poll results real quick, and then we'll add a new poll for you guys and discuss the story. In the previous poll, I believe we're asking what you're going to be playing as, and again, it's an even tie. Oh, sorry, no, it's not, because a lot of people are not playing Andromeda. 4 people not playing Andromeda, 4 playing as Brother Rider, and only 1 playing as Sister Rider.
Huh.
Kind of surprised at that. I usually like playing as the female version.
I play as chicks.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Would.
It depends.
I would, yeah.
I just click button wherever it is.
Whoever lands.
I had a friend who actually used to balance out. If he played a chick on one, he would play the man on the next game, and they would go back
Makes
and forth.
sense.
And as for the poll for you guys, Dean will put that in the chat. Are you waiting for Project Scorpio? I'm going to be going PS4 Slim instead. I'm going to be going PS4 Pro instead. I'm going with Xbox One S instead. Or are you waiting for the Scorpio? Those are your options. Let us know. Okay, so as I was saying, I just feel like if this thing isn't more powerful than the PS4 Pro, that's insane.
Yeah,
It better be.
yeah, I agree.
It's a year later, and it sounds like they're going super premium. I wouldn't be surprised if the Scorpio was $500, maybe even $600.
That's a mistake. That would
Maybe.
make no sense.
That's what the Xbox One launched at, was $500.
Which was a mistake.
Right,
With
but
the
that
Kinect
said,
bolted on. With
Did
the Kinect,
you ever look
no.
into what they were saying about the Scorpio, though? Or did you not really...
Not past the E3 press conference, really.
Because it's all upgradable. Like, future-proof.
Oh, yeah, the whole idea where the idea of making a box where you can just shuffle out the
Modular.
motherboard. Yeah, the modular component thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if that's true, that's really cool. I don't know. It's one of those weird things of, like, the plastic is so cheap in comparison to the motherboard and the chassis and, like, the thermal design that, like, I don't know how much you really gain by doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's questionable. I wonder if that dream will come true or not. Right.
Right. It doesn't matter that it's going to be more powerful.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be more powerful.
Does it matter?
Does it matter?
No.
It depends on what developers are going to use with that power.
Do you think that
Right.
Sony having a head start as far as the Pro goes is important in its competition with Scorpio, or do you think that they're not even in competition?
I think it matters of what software comes out to even show the validity of why you want this hardware upgrade, right?
Right.
Like again, if the rationale for the software for that hardware upgrade is not there, it doesn't make sense of why you should buy the better hardware.
Right, I mean, I feel like the biggest issue that we have right now is there's no way to compare it because we don't know enough about what they're going to do with it.
Well, we know the Xbox Scorpio is 6.2 teraflops.
We know the tech of it, but what I'm saying is we don't know what they're going to release for it. Like, same thing with the PS4 Pro. If they just said, oh, it's going to have HDR and 4K, you know, would that have been near... Like, remember before we found out all the intricacies of what they're really doing with the 4K and how they're using it for the games and how they're upgrading the games? It didn't mean jack shit to us. You know, and then when we found out more, we're like, oh, okay, they're really actually going all out. Right now, all we know what the box does. But the box does what it, you know, all with, you know, uses all that power, but it has really nothing to use it for. Like, it's going to be the same
We
experience as
kind
Halo.
of do know what's coming to it, though, because what's coming to it is what's coming to Xbox One. And that's kind of a pro and a con, right? Because when I think of going to the next generation, which is what Scorpio seems to be, is the start of the next generation, I think of exclusive games for the next generation. But what they're saying right now with Scorpio is that every game that you can play on Xbox One, you can play on Scorpio. Anything you can play on Scorpio, you can play on Xbox One. And that makes it for me where it's like, okay, this thing doesn't have any exclusive hardware then. Or software, I'm sorry.
I feel like they shot themselves in the foot by saying that.
Yes and no. It's a pro and a con, right? It's a pro in that you can play things on both, and everything from your Xbox is going to work on your Scorpio. But I feel like it removes a little bit of the identity from the Scorpio.
I don't know.
So there's another play here, right? The other play is the whole thing of where all games moving forward will be released on Windows 10 and on Xbox, right? As that
That's true, yeah.
platform thing. So it's one of these bits too of they're making the play of, well, you want
We're
to play
actually
these
100,
games.
by the way. No.
Well, you actually are at 100?
Oh, nice.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's great.
But you want to play these games with the latest tech and having the best experience. And since they're good for Windows 10 or for Xbox One, you have this option to buy this pre-packaged platform and ecosystem that has this software and way you interact with your friends and gaming, or you could also do it on Windows 10. And there's like a big value added that Sony can't bring.
I don't understand, and my concern is that people don't understand. So, by saying that there's no reason to buy a Scorpio because you can do it all on a regular OG Xbox One is the same thing as saying I don't need to make a $2,000 PC because I have a $500 one that can run the same.
Right,
game.
because you can run Doom on low settings.
Right,
well, I mean that's fine, but do you really want to run Doom on low settings?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. How
Right.
it's almost no different than because right now with them doing this, it's allowing developers to have the same amount of customization, especially since Microsoft is doing this whole universal. It's going to make it's basically to me saying developers are going to have an easier time developing for multiple consoles at once because once they develop for the PC, it'll run on pretty easily on Xbox. The only issue is going to be running it on PS4, and I think that's actually Microsoft's intention overall is making it harder to make it a game for PS4, so developers might be more inclined to make it for Xbox and PC.
I think the fact that the architecture underneath is the same shouldn't add too much complexity, and then both systems are using the same graphics GPU, right? So that shouldn't make that complexity actually harder to develop for either platform. But I think what you do is you, instead of saying, hey, you've made this game and you unlock the frame rate and it does whatever it does on PC, but now you have to taper that down to work on these consoles. You've brought the consoles up so that they can just work, but then you have to also do that tapering down for the lower res versions for the older consoles, right? Because they have to have support.
Right. But I think it's just a matter of choosing the settings, giving available settings to the consoles that can use them. Mm-hmm. You obviously have a way for the games and the software to identify what type of console it is because each one is identified by certain software regulations within it, which is why you won't have the same options on the Scorpio as you would on the OG Xbox, or on the OG Xbox as you do the Scorpio. So at that point you say, okay, on the OG Xbox you can either run at 720p and 60 frames per second, or this 900p, at 60 frames or close to 60 frames. Now, the Scorpio, you run at 4K,
and at some point,
and 60 frames per second, whatever it is, you give the options to the systems available.
And at some point, there is the software tear, right? Software that comes out for Xbox, the Scorpio will not work on Xbox One, right?
Right.
I think the promise today is that every game that comes out on Scorpio will work on one, and then maybe they'll have the next Xbox. And
wait,
exactly
you're saying that games that come out on Scorpio won't work on Xbox One?
No, the promise right now is that they are all lockstep, right? Anything that comes on Scorpio has to work on Xbox One, right? That's the same promise with Pro and original PlayStation 4, right?
Right.
But then maybe when you have the next iteration, then you have the tear, right? Where software that comes out now does not work on original Xbox, but maybe works on the Scorpio and Scorpio Plus One, whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to go to the point where they have another console releases. I just think there's going to be a certain point where they go back on that word, to be honest with you, and they say at this point there's going to start being exclusive games because they've already kind of messed up their message. I remember when Scorpio was first announced, the first thing they said is that everything that comes out on Xbox One will work on Scorpio. And then like a few weeks later, some woman, I don't know who she was, but from Microsoft said, no, there's going to be exclusive games to Scorpio. And then a week later, they went back on that, like, no, everything goes on Xbox One is going to be on Scorpio. So they've already gone back and forth on the message.
I feel that was miscommunication to that person.
I don't think so. I think that it's going to start off that way, and I think eventually you're going to start
But I
seeing
think it's hard to
exclusive
know,
Xbox
dude.
One.
They've had a massive communication and PR problem since the start of this generation.
Yep.
Since the start of Xbox in general.
It's really hard to
It's something
know.
new for them.
No, it's not new, but this generation in particular has been a just total bumblefuck every time they make any kind of announcement. So it's kind of a weird
I feel like I'm justified in not believing them right now.
Yeah, 100%.
I
get that.
Was that comment a slip of the tongue for like when HoloLens ever shows
Maybe.
up?
Mm-hmm.
That was not going to work on original Xbox, right?
Right, and that
Scorpio.
make a lot more sense, and I get it. But that's exactly what I'm saying, is there's so many variables that we don't know about for the future that it's really tough to make this call right now.
But let me throw you at this real quick. Who has bought a new 3DS, and why'd you buy it?
I haven't bought any.
no one.
none of us have. I
Like
want
the only
to.
reason you would buy it is for the newest Monster Hunter.
Right, there's
Right,
only
the
and
software-
Xenoblade.
The software is going to be what drives you to have the hardware, besides for us who just want to have the latest and greatest experience, right?
I didn't buy one because I already
the
have a
consumers.
Vita, the greatest ever made.
Don't say that! Jesse will freak out. Don't say that.
So the people wondering how to do the whole ticket thing, first of all, it's 100 XP per ticket. So that means anybody can buy a ticket as long as you just follow our show. That's all you got to do is follow the show. You'll get 100 XP. You can buy a maximum of 25 tickets. So that's 2,500 XP total if you want to do that. It's exclamation point ticket space the number of tickets you want to buy. Technosaur and Teammater just did it correctly, except for that Technosaur 30 is more than you can actually do. So that won't allow you to. So do 25 maximum.
25.
And Teammater, I don't think it's allowing you to do 24 because I don't think you have enough XP to do that, is what I think it's telling me right now. So make sure that you have enough XP or it's not going to register your submission of tickets. I'll give it another couple minutes before we give away that $10 code. It could be PSN, it could be Xbox Live, could be Steam. No idea yet. But let's reveal the poll results because I feel like it's been long enough. We were asking you guys, and thank you for the follow. We were asking you guys. I don't even remember what we were asking you.
Are you waiting for? Are you waiting for?
There you go. Are you waiting for the Scorpio? We had 3 people say they're going with the PS4 Slim instead. We had 4 people saying they're going with the Pro instead. We had 0 votes for going with the Xbox One S, and we had 4 votes for Scorpio. See, that's kind of interesting, right? That people are not going to get the Xbox One S, according to our chat, because they'd rather wait for the Scorpio.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I'm probably gonna get a One S.
That makes sense to me, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if you really couldn't wait, then sure. But it's kind of done. Like, it's not the same as what PlayStation did. I don't think, because the PlayStation Slim is just a PS4.
Right.
The Xbox One S is an upgrade.
Right.
It does 4K.
tiny, yeah.
It's got better power. It's got more power. So I mean, they kind of fucked up.
Right.
They announced the other console that and now they're like, this one's gonna be the best, the most powerful one ever made. And then there's that other one that's an upgrade.
Yeah.
You're like, why would you say that?
they should've
Microsoft,
waited.
You're shooting
Sony kind
yourself in the
of
foot.
proved to them that they didn't have to do it that way.
I think they felt like they were sticking it to Sony there, but I don't
Probably.
think that
I
they
think
did.
it was a mistake, though.
I think it was a mistake.
It was for a little while. They did win.
They definitely didn't win the E3. That's for
I didn't
sure.
say they won E3. Did I ever even say when they won?
Well, you said they won. What do you mean they won at the
Okay, that's a
beginning?
very general rule. They obviously won August and they won July.
They won August because of the Xbox One S.
Right.
Thank you for the
Okay,
tip.
there you go.
Pro.
You talking about the Scorpio.
What's the
Pro 5002 $3 tip.
Thank you
That
so
is
much.
awesome.
We appreciate
Thank
the
you.
tip. I mean, that's not saying much. They won by 10,000 units, and it was the release of a new console. Whenever a new console releases, it's going to have a surge of
Yeah, I don't
of
think
sales.
that's going to be too substantial. I think it's a short-lived victory.
They probably didn't win this month by much either.
I
Probably 10,000 units again.
I'd probably go that the One S is a recognizing of. So if they had just the Xbox, they're selling it at whatever the cogs of that box is until the Scorpio comes out. The One S gives us the advantage. They probably make that for cheaper, and they probably sell it a little bit cheaper. So they're hoping to get more market share and also maybe make some more return on it. Right? That's the idea with that guy. I'm gonna guess.
I broke up the argument with money.
That's a good way to break
That's
it
always
up.
the way to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, come on down and spin.
It was $3.
Yeah.
Oh, it was $3.
Yeah, it was $3.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Wait,
Okay, sorry.
on this thing, Greg, what do you think?
To be honest, I hate this entire argument
Woo!
I hate the thing that was most confusing to me about everything that Nintendo does is that they reiterate on themselves a bunch. And I feel like that's what both companies are doing right now. And I really hate that I have iterations of all these consoles now. I never wanted that. I liked and I preferred the console scheme of things because you weren't having to reiterate on yourself like a PC would. I like the convenience of consoles, and I enjoy, like Drew said, I can play Uncharted 4 and be totally content with all my games looking like that for the rest of PS4 happening. I don't need like a PS4 Pro. I don't need another iteration of that.
Remember that audience we were talking about earlier?
What was that?
He's the one.
No, I'm in the same boat.
And I'm totally with you.
If I were to get a PS4 now, if I didn't have any PS4s, I would go Pro. It's only $100 more for an actual considerable upgrade. You can see it. It's not that it's not there. It's enough that I would be okay spending an extra $100.
Yeah.
But I have 2 PS4s. I don't need another one. Uncharted 4 looks amazing.
The only thing that makes me sick about Xbox's side of things is I feel like they're kind of pulling a Nintendo in the sense that, like, I go into a GameStop now and I look at the Nintendo DS wall of game cartridges and I have no idea what the fuck can be played on what DS, because now there's 17 different DSs that you can buy. You could buy a 2DS, you could buy a 3DS, you could buy the regular DS, you could buy a DS Lite, you could buy all this fucking shit. And then all of the games are just labeled Nintendo DS. So is that what the 1S and the Scorpio are going to do? Is it going to be like a whole wall of Xbox, but they can all be played on the same thing? Like, I think Drew's right. Eventually, they're going to have to go to fucking exclusivity to the Scorpio. And when that happens, like, what's the point? Like, what's the purpose? Because now you've gone back on your word. And that's why I think the way that Sony's doing things with the Pro and the HDR streaming and giving everybody in the past generations that patch, I think they're, to me, still winning. That's why I'm always a Sony fan.
Yeah, that was a nice little thing that they threw in there that almost went by surprise. Like, people didn't notice it. Did you notice it during the stream? They announced that every PS4 gets HDR, and then there was like silence for 10 seconds, and it was like, woo!
Yeah.
It's almost like people didn't even realize, like, oh, wait, that's kind of awesome.
Well, they didn't get it, right? They didn't know if they actually meant the current PS4.
Yeah, the current PS4 gets it too. You still need a 4K HDR TV.
I want to call it in
that,
the chat. Can we scroll up in the chat real quick?
I have it
sure.
right here, the comment.
The nanometer comment, yeah. Read that guy out.
Yadio said the Xbox One S, PS4 Slim, and this actually makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
PS4 Slim and Pro only exist because AMD decided to stop manufacturing of the Jaguar APUs on 28, what is that, nanometer? Both companies had to make a new one to accommodate the 16 nanometer die shrink on the Jaguars.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you that I guarantee you both Microsoft and Sony as massive corporations were in very much talks with AMD, mitigating when that transition was going to happen.
Probably, yeah.
Because
what are the odds they both came out with an iterative console the same?
Yeah.
Like, they both just had the idea at the
I'm
same
going to let
time?
you know that AMD doesn't have the weight to just be like, we're doing this. Like, no,
Right.
they get input from folks, right? But, like, yeah, like, it's a COGS reduction thing. That die is going to be way cheaper to make than the current die that the old systems were on.
Mhm.
So...
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that.
Can you unban TX Puck? I have no idea why
He's not banned.
TX Puck's not banned.
He's not banned.
Team Hater is, and I'm going to assume it's for a good reason.
Okay. I think he was just spamming again.
Not to go
but
back to
he's probably
before
still
I-
watching, and yes, Team Hater, you have one ticket, which I'm going to reveal now. I'm going to draw
do
the winner on that. So let's close the raffle.
Just so you know.
Wait, Greg, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was scrolling up when I was pooping and letting my dog out to poop, and I saw the Mass Effect Andromeda poll, and 4 people not getting it, that made me sick. So whoever those 4 people are, I'm very disappointed in you. I just wanted to say that quickly.
They feel the love or the
I
lack
think it's
thereof.
the primary host.
I love Mass Effect.
It's kind of interesting.
It's fair.
All right, and the winner of
Be
the
very
$10 code
What we were
is
talking about before.
Big Gamer 999.
That's the name. I mean, I do kind of.
Yeah, I know him. He responds in our community every week on PS4.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I do,
Yeah.
but he doesn't talk very much.
Big Gamer?
Big
I
Gamer.
hear a lot from Big Gamer.
Does it? Do you?
He pops up on a lot of my streams.
Would you
Oh, does he? Okay.
put the name in the chat for me? Or into the outline, I should say?
Yeah, what did he win?
He gets a $10 code.
$10 code.
And Big Gamer, please, if you're in the chat, let us know what you would prefer. Would you prefer PSN, Xbox Live, Steam? And let us know where you're from as well, because that will dictate how I'm going to get that to you. I might just have to PayPal you money instead.
Depending on where you live, yeah.
from.
Yes. Just general. You don't have to give us your address.
First time they won something.
Oh, nice. Congrats, Big Gamer.
That's awesome. And it came from us, so we did a thing today.
Yeah, we did a thing.
We've done nothing.
Okay, second story. Go ahead.
We're on the second story. Oh god. Forgot. Sony is not allowing Bethesda to incorporate mods into Fallout 4 and Skyrim on PS4. We're going to change around this title a little bit, but this was written by DJ Joe Screbbles over at IGN. Bethesda has announced that neither Fallout 4 nor the upcoming Skyrim Special Edition will receive mod support on the PS4,
Happy gamer.
and then blamed Sony. While Bethesda has previously put the lengthy delay on Fallout 4's missing PS4 mods down to technical issues, a statement on its website today lays the problem at Sony's door and says that this will also affect the upcoming Skyrim remaster. Quote, after months of discussions with Sony, we regret to say that while we have long been ready to offer mod support on the PS4, Sony has informed us that they will not approve our user mods the way they should work, where users can do anything they want for either Fallout 4 or Skyrim Special Edition. Like you, we were disappointed by Sony's decision, given the considerable time and effort we have put into this project, and the amount of our time our fans have waited for the mod support to arrive. We consider this an important initiative, and hope that we can find other ways user mods can be available for our PS audience. However, until Sony will allow us to offer proper mod support for PS4, that content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim on PS4 will not be available. Before I go into the poll, I want to give the other side to this. And this is something I said almost immediately as soon as I found out about this. And I said, I will bet you anything it had way more to do with Bethesda's choice than Sony's. And from what we're seeing from talks from a couple insiders is that Sony has very strict guidelines about what it allows as far as DLC, and mod support follows under that. And what they have to make sure of is that it overall meets a kind of structure of how well it runs, how little it hurts the actual game itself. So what I'm understanding too, on Xbox One, yeah, you have mod support, but some of them are breaking people's games where it's erasing entire file saves. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's actually corrupting the game where you need to delete the actual game and then reinstall it.
Oh, that's fine.
And Sony said, hey, we had that issue when you tried to release Skyrim and gave us a buggy piece of shit. And so can you not have that happen this time? And Bethesda said, well, no, mods are made by users and we don't want to do anything with them because that's kind of corrupting the idea that users can make whatever they want.
More than anything, they probably just didn't want to do the manpower of
Right.
QAing
So,
every single mod.
My issue with
Which I
this
understand.
is, fuck you, Todd Howard, for trying to blame Sony, because I'm going to say it's probably more 70%, 80% you kind of being a stuck-up asshole and trying to put the blame on somebody else because you don't want to do the fucking work. So I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for that.
I don't know if I agree
but-
entirely with that. I think that it's more even than they put off. That's for sure. I think that it came off like an attack.
Oh, it definitely did. And there's definitely, and again, you said conspiracy theorist, but come on. It happens in the same week. This is the way that that's said and that's written. They obviously know that Sony's been denying their claims for, mod support for months now. Mm-hmm. And it conveniently happens at the end of the week where Sony's already getting a lot of shit for the fucking PS Plus or PS Pro reveal. On top of all the PS Plus negativity. Get the fuck out
I'm not
of here.
going to say anything on that. I don't know about that.
Get the fuck out of
but
here. Like,
as far as
Get out of here.
As far as allowing or disallowing mods, I mean, I don't blame them for not wanting to QA literally thousands of mods potentially. Like, I understand that.
No, I get
QA.
that.
And do any other developers QA mods? I don't know.
No,
can we say that?
How many
The point
games
is
on the
no,
PS4
right?
are actually allowed mods right now?
I have no idea.
As far as I know, none. No user-created mods are available on that.
So maybe that is more on
changed
Sony than
the
it is on
entire-
Bethesda.
I don't know.
Because the original story, which was months ago, was
Mm-hmm.
the reason that they weren't coming to PS4 was because PS4 has a limitation on how big the file size can be and all this kind of stuff. And maybe Bethesda was trying to work with them to try and get that file size up, and maybe it just never happened. Maybe they couldn't come to an agreement and it failed. Or maybe it's the QA thing, and again, they couldn't come to an agreement. In my opinion, I don't think anybody's at fault here. It's just simply two different mindsets that couldn't come to an agreement.
In a shocking turn of events, Guitar Freak is very reasonable in saying, hey, they couldn't come to an agreement. It's all part of business, that kind of stuff.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They just couldn't come to an agreement. I don't think it's something to get too
So you shaking your
upset
head, you
about.
disagree?
Huh?
As you shaking your head, you disagree?
I disagree because in this case, I think it's honestly a lot more of one side being a little bit hard-headed and not wanting to meet certain quality guidelines.
I think how do you enforce that, right? So like you're trying to secure your system and the experience for your gamers as Sony, and mods allow game breaking things to go in, and asking Sony to qual mods, which in what you do in the PC is you don't. You just take a chance and you read the reviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
That seems it seems like a risk decision, right?
Mhm.
But let's just not expose our environment to these potentially game breaking, system breaking problems.
Yeah, I understand.
Right, oh,
that,
absolutely. And I know that, yes, you're going to have this problem no matter what system you use on. It happens on PC too, but it's happening more on the Xbox One, and Sony doesn't want that given all this shit that happened with the original version of Skyrim.
Mhm.
The game didn't even run the right way, and that was before any mods touched it.
Is there a way
So-
around that? I mean, I'm assuming that on other consoles or on PC, when you download a mod, it probably has this huge disclaimer message that you have to agree to that says this could break your game, and you have to
pretty much.
agree to said message. And if it does break your game, that at that point it's on you, right?
I've
But you
never
have
seen
to
that
remember
message.
how
No,
stupid.
never.
No, I just put the mods in.
Well, that's what they could do,
Well,
though,
it's-
right?
it's in the
Sony
rule
could
somewhere.
say,
Oh, yeah,
hey,
yeah,
guys,
it's in the
put
user
this
rule,
message
yeah.
every time somebody downloads a mod. That way, we are no longer at fault. It's on the user for accepting this agreement.
But that's rough, right? Because you're pulling an Apple thing of like, here's this fucking 30-page EULA that you
Yeah,
definitely didn't read.
but I mean, if it means people get mods,
they get them mods,
yeah,
those
like,
hot illegal offs.
And I mean, here's the thing. Like, to me, I don't care. I mean, yeah, people want it for, like, all the... There's some cool things that they add. Like, I remember for Skyrim, there was, like, mods that give you lightsabers and a Death Star instead of the moon.
Yeah.
There's one that actually I was looking forward to a lot that turned the entire realm of Skyrim from a very snow-covered area to a whole entire tropical setting. You know,
Yeah.
there's a couple of them that I was actually really looking forward to. And as somebody who doesn't have a PC, and if one fucking person in the chat tells me to buy a PC, I swear to God, I'm going to fucking smack you until
probably
you
take
give me
that
one.
you should probably buy a PC.
Probably like pull it back like a couple notches.
No, I'm tired of
Just
hearing
a
every
little.
time I say that. Everybody's
Just
like,
a
well,
little.
why don't you buy a PC? I'm like, okay, give me the money. Like, I don't want
they did give us the money. The PC's right there.
Right, okay, and where is it?
It's here.
Right. But, like, no, seriously, like, I was very well looking forward to, you know, playing some of these. So this was actually really bothersome to me, and I was, you know, Skyrim was one of the
Well,
biggest things I was going to get. That
Almost
could have been
destroyed
bad.
everything.
Almost broke the show.
I think
don't know.
this
I
is
think
a tricky one.
I had Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer at the same time in my Skyrim game. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Skyrim.
I'm also gonna say, so that's on a
hard.
Sony
Can't break it
platform.
habit, dude.
That's on a Sony platform, and then Disney comes knocking like, "Hey, what are you doing allowing our licensed properties in their game on your
That's true.
console?
That could
What the fuck are
potentially
you
be a
doing?"
problem,
It's
too.
been there for a longest
It
time
happens.
now.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's different when it's this rogue like mod community on your personal PC, and then this thing that's supported by Sony. That's
Yeah, it was
like,
really
Greg,
dumb. You
Right,
invited
Temple of
yourself to the
Troya, the
challenge.
same thing.
What do you think? Who do you blame? Do you blame anybody?
In this scenario?
In Bethesda versus Sony
Can you
here.
put the
mods.
poll in there, by the way, too?
He already
I
did.
put it
did,
in
yeah.
forever.
It's been in there a
God,
while.
my
I've been posting
bad.
it throughout this whole argument. I don't really know. I don't blame either or. I just feel like it's a mutual decision to just not do it, because like I feel like one side probably said one way to do it, another side said a different way to do it, and they were like, well, here you are.
Yeah,
I'm
we can't
never
figure this
obviously
out.
gonna blame Sony, as we all know. Sony is my fucking dad I never had. But when it comes to like Bethesda, like we've seen like they give exclusivity and stuff to Xbox a bunch of the time. So did they necessarily try their hardest to get stuff on Sony's system? I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be
Right,
The
that's
thing
what
is,
I'm
we
saying.
won't know that. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
No, but again, like that was my.
We can theorize, yeah,
Reasoning.
but we won't know for sure. But Greg, why don't you put the poll results in the chat? Because let's see what the viewers have to say. Who do they blame?
Xbox.
Who do they blame?
They blame Sony. For
No,
the
it
most
said
part.
neither.
Well, when we're coming in between the two,
Oh,
Sony
okay.
got 4 votes, Bethesda got 3. Both at fault got 2, and neither at fault. They just couldn't come to an agreement. Got 6. The reasonable people of the chat room.
Way to go, people.
Illuminati should have been an option.
You guys did it.
Thank you for voting. A lot of votes there.
Thanks for
I like
voting.
when I see that.
You guys totally did it.
All right, Dean, you are up with the next story.
I've got something we can all get behind.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yay!
Yeah, Greg. Batman Return to Arkham receives a new release date and updated graphics. Screen Rant writes, which I thought was a weird person to get this story.
Right.
I'm trying to go away from the ones we always do. You know,
This is where I read it as well, and I was like, why
Oh.
am I reading this on fucking Screen Rant right now?
that's funny.
Yeah. So they have written Rocksteady Studios rocked the gaming world in 2009 with Batman Arkham Asylum, a game that let I'm getting like excited just reading this. A game that let players wear the cowl of the Cape Crusader. Moreover, they actually succeeded in making players feel like Batman, a rarity for superhero video games whose history could most generously be called spotty. They returned with Arkham City, which expanded the game to an open world, and the current-gen Arkham Knight, which finally let players deliver justice to the streets of Gotham in the Batmobile. This is my favorite story I've ever read in my life. Earlier this year, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment announced Batman Return to Arkham, a current-gen remaster of the first 2 games originally scheduled for a July 26th release. WB delayed the port almost as quickly as it was announced.
Yeah.
It was delayed.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah, quote, to give the team at Virtuous Games additional time to deliver a polished Batman Arkham game experience. WB has finally issued a new release date of October 18th, as well as the remastered price point, $49.99 American dollars. Additionally, WB has released a comparison trailer to give fans an idea of what to expect from the new PS4 and Xbox One iterations of the first two Arkham games. The side-by-side video highlights the ports, significantly improved textures, reflections, and environmental effects. Developer Virtuous has pushed Rocksteady's games from the Unreal 3 engine to the Unreal 4 engine for the remaster, and the results are definitely noticeable. The only possible point of contention may be occasional alterations to the game's lighting, which seem brighter in some scenes like the Catwoman break-in than they were in the original game. While some fans may prefer the darker and moodier lighting of some instances, the overall effort feels like a net improvement to the original experience.
I agree. I think it looks better overall.
I think it looks good.
There's a few weird things.
Yeah, there's a couple of little weird things. But, yeah, I can't wait.
Have you all played it? Have you all played this game?
So much.
No, I don't really like...
You seem
I
not
don't really like
excited.
Batman that
You've
much.
not seen that big on it. No. So here's a question. I've not played this game.
What the
Which
fuck?
one?
What the fuck?
Which one have you played? Any of them?
Any of them.
All of them?
Any of them.
Wow.
Oh, man, you gotta do
The
it.
Play
only
both.
game I've played is Shadow of Mordor. That's the a birth child.
But you could have gotten it on PC and played it at any time.
Yeah, it'll run.
Honestly,
on
it's
PC.
100% something you need to play.
But here's my question then: If
Arkham
this...
Knight will not run on your PC.
I was just gonna say that.
It doesn't exist
Oh
for
no,
your
no,
PC.
Arkham Knight will not run. I just want to run. But like, if it works, if the HD remaster works,
Mhm.
do you think it's worth playing the HD remaster or just playing the original?
Play the remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get it on
play the
Xbox One.
remaster.
Give it a reason to actually use your Xbox One again.
What is your issue with how it looks now? Any?
No,
No.
it's pretty
It's
much
Batman,
perfect.
dude. You're asking the wrong person.
No, I don't know. It's,
Perfect.
I mean, there's a couple of weird glaring things, but
The color's a little weird sometimes.
yeah, some of the colors are weird. I did notice that some of it seemed like a little bright when I'm just used to it being darker, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I don't know if it was darker because of that's what this isn't going to handle at the time,
Yeah.
or if it was like an artistic choice. I don't know, but some of the shit that looks weird is still some of the shit that I thought looked weird back then, which is, I guess, a good thing because I mean,
It's the same game.
yeah. I thought it looked pretty great. I thought it looked significantly better than when they first showed it. The still images when they first showed it looked great,
Mhm.
but the video they showed, I was like, this is kind of weird. It doesn't look
Right,
that
janky.
good.
Yeah.
But it looks really good now, and I'm excited. I thought it was going to be actually much later than October, so I'm pleased. I
Yeah, that's
can't
great. Henry says over 100 people in the room. Yeah, we're doing great tonight. Thank you to all the new viewers. We had a lot of people following too. Thank you to Mackleberry, Spoon T Witch. We also had Pro 5002, Dead Reckoning, Clitoris, Denoge, and Tracos Gamer. And we had several tips tonight. Thank you to Miss Mel. We had Conrad. We had Guitar Freak. We had a Kevin. Who's new to our channel. I think that was Pro 5002 who even tipped a little bit. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Don't forget that the prize wheel is active. Anything worth $5 or more, tip, sub, resub, pledge on Patreon, repledge on Patreon, share 350 bits or more. All of those things will get you a spin of the prize wheel.
Spoon T Witch, also known as Spoon Twitch.
I am not bringing all the new viewers.
Spoon
I'm like
T
two.
Witch.
I'm like sitting here, really?
I gotta read that again.
Wait.
Spoon T Witch. I don't know why I said that.
Wow, dude.
It's funny when you read the Twitch
I know.
usernames.
I've
how
done that before. Like,
it just goes over your head sometimes. Like you don't realize. That's hilarious. Greg, you were up with the last story.
Am
Nope,
am
I think you're
waiting?
muted, Greg.
No, am I waiting for a thing?
yeah,
Oh,
you're-
you are
you're
waiting,
on you,
for a
dude.
thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everyone's finished with your tricks.
Oh no, what is it?
Wait, if it's Greg's story, does he have to sing?
No, he doesn't have to sing. I always have to sing because you guys suck.
Okay, well,
I'll be right Oh, don't you feel
Yep, every
Good, Greg.
every fucking time.
alrighty. I just wanted to make sure that was still happening before I went on with the story. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has been delayed. Wicca wicca womp. IGN's Vicky Blake writes, and every time I see her name, I want to say Vicky Vale. Who is she from? Guys, really?
Thanks, Greg.
That's
that was good. That was. I laughed a lot.
That was Batman.
I laughed inside.
Wait, I
I'll
backed
give
this
you- I'll
game.
give you a
Bloodstained
Delayed,
Ritual of the Night has been delayed
A
until
lot
2018. Former Castlevania series
Oh,
producer
lame.
Koji
Did you back it?
Igarashi updated
Oh, God,
backers
no.
of the- What's happening?
Dan backed the game and didn't realize it was delayed.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to things.
I hated all of that. Updated backers of the project stating the last thing I want to do is keep our backers waiting, but after receiving such incredible support, I feel responsible for delivering the best product I possibly can. Again, I offer my sincerest apologies. In a statement on the game's Kickstarter page, the team added, to ensure the game meets his quality standards, IGA is bringing in additional developers, and has moved his estimate for the game's release back to the first half of 2018. All of us on the campaign and development sides of the team are looking forward to playing the finished game as soon as we can, but as IGA says, we also want this game to be done right the first time. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a 2.5D action-adventure game directed and produced by IGA. He will also handle the role of scenario writer on the project. Castlevania series composer Miroshu Yamane will join him along the developer Inti Create. Is that a... was reading
my God. Murder.
Awkward. The same studio behind KJ Inafune is Mighty Number 9, Azure, Striker Gunvolt, and Mega Man 9 and 10. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night became the most successful video game Kickstarter, raising a whopping $5.5 million and funding a full $5 million more than the original Kickstarter target. That's
so funny thing about that, I actually almost backed it too, which is funny that you did. Like I literally sat there. I think I was gonna back it for what was the entry for the game? $15 or something like that.
It's like 15 or 20, something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I was going to do it, and I was like, you know what? I always get really weird when it comes to like software on Kickstarter. Like products are bad enough, but like software, I feel like is a death sentence anytime I see it. Ukulele is the only one I know of that so far has seemed feasible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything in Bloodstain of what they're going for that looks unfeasible. I'm wondering with your comment with the quality thing, if this is a reaction to going like how angry folks were with My Number 9, and maybe they looked at what they were producing going, we have to button something.
But at the same time, like
when was the original
that makes me
release
feel like
set,
this
like,
is just gonna be Mighty Number 9 again.
Right.
God,
What was the original target date? It was 2017.
It was early 2017.
It was like I think it was like they're shooting for like Q1 or Q2.
This is at least a 1 year delay.
Yeah, it's a year delay.
It's a hell of a delay. Yeah.
And that's if it doesn't go back any further.
But maybe they also thought like they had a certain quality target or maybe a certain length in mind, and
I
they,
think
we
said before,
knows,
any
right?
delays for the most part, as long as reasonably, obviously, as long as it comes out good, is fine with me. But I mean, delays aren't inherently bad, and something like this to be pushed back a year to bring on new staff is a little bit more reassuring than saying, "Hey, it's still me, but I'm gonna be taking another year." Like that's a little bit more troubling. You know,
It's a little bit more fucked
staff.
because they raised $5 million more than what they said they needed to make the game, and then it got delayed too. Like, if anything, that should have pushed it in order to be made quicker, I feel.
Maybe they upped the scale. Maybe they're like, we have $5 million more than we thought we would. Let's make this game even better. Let's delay it.
I will also defend that just because we have, say, a team of 30 developers, making a team of 60 developers does not actually guarantee that the game comes out faster.
Right.
True.
You know?
I don't know.
That just means more people that you have to run, you know. And
it means more people to make more bugs, that harder to communicate among dev teams, right?
This is why Kickstarter freaks me out. Because, like, what happens to the extra money?
Whatever they want. That's how it works. Marketing, right? They just market they take $1 million of that and they use it for marketing.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Maybe. Right. I hope the money gets used towards the game, and I hope the game does well. But it's fucking delayed, so suck up my balls, everybody.
Holy shit. No, Greg. So suck on my balls, everybody. All right, let's move on to the second community-focused segment of the show. What's it called, Dean?
On the spots.
Also known as On the Spot.
I really hate when you say that because for some reason that's what my grandmother used to say when she was going to the bathroom.
Man, why really hate you?
Thank you for ruining this segment.
Wow.
Guys, submit your questions every week on the Level Up Network on Twitch. Use hashtag On The Spot if you want to be like this person. Dear The Level Up Show, have you weaseled your way out of attending a special event, such as a wedding or a funeral, to play games?
Yeah.
Sincerely, Jose Munster.
Yeah, here's my secret. I look at the person in the eye and go, I'm not coming. That is 1,000% true, and I've done it.
So you've actually
many
done it before?
times. To play, no, specifically, I've not gone to thing and then played the games. I've never, like,
I think he's asking specifically just to play a game.
No. No, but that's what I do typically in my free time, so I guess it's the same thing, really.
I have a good story about this.
Go ahead.
I was scheduled to work a party at the restaurant when I was currently working there. Batman Arkham Asylum, I believe the game is. It was like a small indie title. It was planning its release date back in 2009. And I had this huge wedding that I was supposed to be working all day, all night. So I had my friends who were females and talented in the art of makeup artistry pretend to put pink eye on my left eyeball. My boss didn't believe that I had pink eye, so I FaceTimed her with my made-up eye. Told her I wasn't able to work the wedding because I had pink eye, could not be around food or other people. I was very contagious, and then I sat home and played Batman Arkham Asylum all day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done, man. You went all in.
It was a good day. I went hard for that.
Tricking off
Batman.
of work. I've never like made up. I usually when something's coming out, I know I really want to play. I just I request off.
I didn't go to class when Metal Gear Solid 4 came out.
Oh, I mean, if we're gonna talk about skipping school for games,
Right, that's nothing.
it's fucking endless. Yeah.
The closest
man.
I did was
don't
there was a
even
girl
know.
I was talking to, but I wasn't like fully into her. But we were supposed to meet up and go somewhere. And then last minute, I was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm really just not feeling good," and stayed inside and played Battlefield.
That doesn't surprise me even a little bit. I feel like you do that more than just that.
What do you do?
Neither confirmed nor denied.
I feel like that's just one situation. I feel like that's
gave
happened
an
many
option.
times. That's true. What about you? Any instance?
I'm kind of lame, man.
Yeah, I am too.
I don't like the most like I've done is probably like skipping some classes in college. Like everyone fucking skips classes in college.
Yeah.
But, like to play. I think when Gears came out, we like in shifts played it until we finished it the first day, right? But like, and like I kind of went to class or kind of didn't. But like, that was like the only thing I can really think of.
Oh shit! There was one time where you were doing something at your house, and me and Glickman didn't come because we were playing Gears.
Yeah, that seems fair.
You had like a bunch of people over, and we're like, "No, Gears 3 came out. We're playing this."
Yeah.
And we didn't tell you.
Did you ever go kind of somewhat unrelated? But did you ever go as far to like get all the way to school, in the parking lot? And you're like, I'm going home.
Yeah, no,
I've done
totally.
that so many times.
Yeah,
I know that would
like,
work.
Like that's the whole thing where
Not where I'm working now, if anybody's watching. But when I worked at IPS specifically, because it was a freaking hour and a half
Right,
drive.
dude.
Yeah.
There would be times where I got to the 42 or 55 to 42, and I saw the traffic, and I'd be like, no.
Yeah,
I'm going back.
Like that. When I did LG, it was the same
Not this
thing.
time.
Do you know what I've done a lot? I've done I convince myself that I'm too sick. Like I wake
Sure.
up and I'm fine.
Oh, you'll tell
I'm
yourself
Oh,
that.
yeah.
a little groggy.
Yeah.
And then on the walk or the drive to work, it's like, no, I feel really bad. And then I get to the parking lot, it's like, I'm kind of sweating. No, I'm sick. I have to go
Have
home.
you ever actually
And
gotten to
then-
the point
yeah.
where you might actually make yourself sick?
Yes.
Mentally?
I really have done
focused
that.
on it?
Like,
And then
happened
I actually
before.
got sick and I'm like, son of a bitch, dude.
It's almost
Right.
like you can mentally make
Yeah.
yourself sick
Your
if
mind
you
is
want
fucking
hard
powerful.
enough.
Yeah.
I
If
got
you
to-
will
I got
it
to
that
the
hard.
point, like I got all the way into the classroom, and sat down, and like I put my stuff down, and like I wait, and I see the teachers and I'm like, I could just leave. I'm like, I am. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here.
I feel too
Just
shitty.
go.
No,
Yeah.
it's worthless. Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's how it happened.
Another good trick is to swallow the shot of mouthwash. It makes you throw up blue, and then you don't have to do anything.
Oh, God.
Sounds very bad
Oh.
for you.
Guys,
Yeah,
I
but at
went
least
hard.
it doesn't make your breath smell as bad.
I've swallowed
Because you're
mouthwash. I don't throw
you're
up.
basically
Like a whole
washing your
cup
mouth
or just a
out
little bit?
I don't
when you
know.
throw up again.
No, Dean,
you,
like,
like-
I'm saying, like you do it like a shot of alcohol, like
And you
you
throw
swallow
up?
it.
Right, well,
Technically?
that burns like
Oh, man.
hell.
Yeah, it's the Holocaust, but it's
That's
fine.
how you get drunk in prison, though, right? Yeah, that's what you do.
I don't know, guys. I'm feeling like I could really do this.
Is this a bet?
We're adding it to the
Yeah,
wheel.
I don't know. I don't think actually I would throw up from it.
I don't know that I would, yeah.
Putting eye drops.
I think it's really bad for you, isn't
Really?
It's so
No, it's
bad
just
for you. It's
alcohol.
like
No,
straight
honestly,
up.
and I believe it or not, there's actually kids that have gotten drunk.
Oh,
off
it?
of,
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
it was really bad.
That's
for
what
you.
you.
to do that.
That's what folks. I mean, it's bad for you.
Swallowing
But, Yo,
mouthwash.
Greg, my hot tip of how I do
First
that is I
fucking thing.
go to Noodles and Company and get the tomato basil bisque and get food
Yes.
poisoning and then miss work for 2 days.
Yeah, Noodles and Company is the best decision ever.
You know where to go to get food poisoning.
Yeah, apparently.
Noodles and Company is the devil in a food
It's-
establishment.
Fucking worst.
Yeah, I
I've
hate
only
it.
ever gotten food poisoning from shitty chain restaurants. I've had so much raw beef in my life. I've never gotten sick.
See,
it's bullshit.
My brother used to keep like dry like crackers and stuff like that in his room, so if he didn't want to go into school, he would just like chew them up and like pretend they threw up in the toilet. So it looked like threw up in the toilet.
Oh man, that's
So he would just call my mom and she'd be like, "All right, yeah, you can stay home."
wow. That is.
See, now here's a fun thing for you. As we've well documented here, I'm hot all the time.
Yeah.
My
Oh my God.
my core temperature runs fucking hot, so I could just use it like at my will.
Right.
Like I'd be like, I don't feel good, and then my dad would be like, what do you think? What do you got? Like, what do you think? I'd be like, I don't know. I feel like really high with fear. You'd feel my head. He'd be like, Jesus Christ. You're like, all right, you're just staying.
So
home.
while we're 98.6,
I'm
like
fine.
your average is 100.6. What?
I don't know. It's hot. It's hot. I'm hot. Like not my like if I take my temperature, it's normal.
Yeah.
But if you like when I'm hot, like I'm feeling hot, and you feel my head, you're like, holy shit. So I would just like.
What
lose
happens
it.
when you go to like Disney and shit? Because you've gone there. Like, how bad is that for you? I'm curious. Like, I know we're kind of getting off track, but like,
I'm fine.
are you?
Yeah.
Like, how does the
It's
hot
awful.
weather
I don't like
not
hot weather.
affect you even
Also,
more?
I mean, I'm also distracted. I'm in Disney. Like you're doing shit.
all right, but like when you're in
No,
a hot
no.
area, like Florida in general, I said Disney, but like just in that area, like
I mean, if you're just standing outside, it's hot as fuck. Yeah, like when we went before, and we were like waiting for the buses again. I'm like, you don't even.
I'm gonna die.
You don't even have to say anything. Because Jen would feel too much later and just be like, "This is it.
this is the end.
This is it."
Jose Munster, thank you so much for your question, man. Really appreciate it. You guys can submit your questions every week on our Twitter at the Level Up Network, Level Spelled LVL. Just use hashtag on the spots, and you might be featured on next Sunday's show. For now, we're going to go to another quick commercial break. Hold on tight. JoJo the Slayer will be back in approximately 60 seconds. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 138. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like what we're doing at any point, follow the channel like Mackleberry did. Just hit that heart button at twitch.tv/Level Up Show. We will shout you out. You'll get notifications whenever we go live. Thank you to all the compliments to my wife. I appreciate it.
I'm sure she does as well.
We are about to move on to our topic of the week. We will go a little long tonight. Maybe go to 1 o'clock,
God.
spend 30 minutes discussing the PS4 Pro.
Thanks, Andrew.
How do you guys feel about not being called the PS4K?
I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
It should have been called the fucking Neo. The Neo was a great name.
That's how I felt originally, but now I think it's really smart that they didn't call it the PS4K.
Because it doesn't have 4K
Because it's not
Blu-ray.
native
Because
4K,
they
like,
fucking
it's-
half-assed it.
Yeah.
It's not that they half-assed it, it's just this is what they wanted to do, and that's why they didn't call it the PS4K.
Or they could have made it in the price band they wanted. To.
Well, that's exactly what it was, and that's
Yeah, they wanted to keep it at a $400 price point because they realized when they released the PS4 that was a winning price point, and they realized, okay, if we're gonna have to save $30 by not putting in the UHD player, then that's what we'll do. I understand the disappointment. Obviously, I think it sucks. I wish they could have included it. And maybe they could have. I don't know if they could have for a decent price point. I'm not sure. Maybe even some people would have been okay with $450 if it came with a UHD player.
Yeah.
That being said, I think that they foresee the next 5 years or maybe even the next 2 years while this whole thing lasts, that people aren't really going to adopt UHD that quickly. And they'd rather focus on streaming content where Netflix and YouTube already have a bunch of 4K content than, have people buy actual physical
so
media.
why not focus
Yeah.
on both? And
Because
I'm
it
going
saves
to
money.
be- okay, I get that, but at the same time, like Dean said, it's a very big missed opportunity, and like him, like I wasn't able to talk as much when you guys were having the conversation. I didn't want to extend it after later on, but I'm 100% with him. I don't unless I buy a movie physically, I don't buy the movie at all. Like,
Okay.
it's either I buy it
That's
physically,
you.
get the digital, and that's a lot of people.
Do you have a 4K TV? Does anybody in the chat room have a 4K TV? That's the question.
The only person I know that physically has a 4K TV does exactly that. He will
I
only
get
buy
it. I'm just
physically,
saying that when it comes to what they were looking at probably and the research they were doing, probably the same when it comes to the optical cable. And they probably saw that 5% of PS4 users use their optical cable. What can we remove from the PS4 Slim that will get the price down? We can't get rid of this. We can't get rid of that. People use them. Oh, the optical cable. Nobody uses that except maybe 5%. Let's get rid of that.
Well, I think it's more than just PlayStation users there. I mean, your comment's true because the optical format is outdated and less used entirely, right? I mean, Sony is also trying to sell TVs, and they're looking at how many people are actually using the optical port on TVs, and the answer is like no.
Yeah.
Which is why they decided to not
The
do
thing
it.
is, the optical port that's been around already for like how long?
Yeah.
Oh,
long time.
forever, right? But
so
they're
that they've had enough data to like decide that that's useless. Whereas the UHD players are just
right. They're just starting.
No, I understand
Plus, on
that.
top of that, the only people getting them are the people that are willing to spend X amount of money. So they're only the people they are surveying. Not only is it a small minority, but it's a bad minority to survey because it's only the top tier. It's only one style of people. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a very big, vast, dynamic.
What they can look at, and again, this is not exactly the demographic, but what they can look at is the PS4 users and say, how many people are actually putting 1080p Blu-rays into their PS4, and how many people are watching Netflix, how many people are watching YouTube. And I bet you a lot of people don't use their Blu-ray players with their PS4. I don't use it. And I've got a 1080p TV. I don't use the Blu-ray player. I am moving towards digital. I think a lot of people are moving towards digital. It's convenience. And I think that they are willing to sacrifice a little bit of visual quality for the convenience. And I think that when it comes to 4K, Sony is assuming, maybe wrongfully so, but assuming that's going to be the case as well.
Well, maybe they're just they're assuming also that, physical media is dying.
Yeah.
So why... This format may not even ever kick off the ground, right? People are just going to move to everything digital anyway.
Right.
So how long do you think it would take? I'm going to quell that argument. How long do you think it would take for physical media to completely die?
That's going to be a long time.
Okay. How long do you think that this console is going to be out until the next iteration comes out?
That's not the question,
No,
though.
that is 100% the question.
No, it's not the question. The question is how many
answer
people
you.
are using. That's like the VCRs finally just stopped being made. Does that mean a lot of people are using VCRs? No.
No. Okay. So you don't think that this is going to? You don't think it's picking up? You don't think it's going to even stay the same? You think it's just?
I think 4K is going to be
So-
adopted, and a lot of people are going to get 4K TVs. But I think physical media is on the decline.
I would gesture that in our lifetime, I don't think we'll see physical media die or go away, but I think we will see it become a novelty.
No, I agree with that too. But again, Evan Hare brings up another issue. Do you realize how much bandwidth you need to run? Do you need to have to run a 4K
course I do.
movie at a high, like at
the
a speed
bit rate
good enough?
required.
Right? Like there's no way, especially in the fucking markets of people that I know of that watch the show who get like literally 10 megabits per second. There's no way.
That's
in
why they
hell-
compress it, and that's why I said that you are sacrificing some visual quality because Netflix 4K, YouTube 4K. Obviously, it's not going to be the quality you get from a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because they're compressing
Right.
it so that it doesn't max out your bandwidth caps.
The entire country of Australia, like
What doesn't do what or does
barely
do
can do 1080p because of the
Yeah.
quality of internet.
Yeah.
So that to me is the biggest issue. Like you're now saying, okay, well this small minority is way more important than the rest of people who want it. So even though we could have charged maybe $50 more to put the physical player in there that everybody wanted, sorry, nah. No
One,
thanks.
I think you're gonna see that it doesn't hurt
I
them
think
that
it's the
badly.
majority of folks have that streaming capability, and I think the desire for that player is actually not there.
Mhm.
And I think for people buying 4K Blu-rays, and also I'm going to go with that. Oh geez, this is also an attempt of Sony actually trying to not put the cart before the horse, right? Sony and Microsoft too also are companies who in the past have made a technological leap that people weren't ready for, and then it cost them big, right? Windows 8 is a great example of going, everything's tablet everything, and it was half-baked and didn't really pan out, right? Beta Max, right, is a good example of Sony being before the court, and it didn't really make sense, right? So not forcing everyone to spend the money, like spending the money on a Kinect of having this UHD player, is maybe this this concession of like, let's do this intermediate step, and then the next iteration will actually have a UHD player.
I mean,
or they'll
Sony
buy it
has
separate,
the
right?
perfect historical moment to look back on for the situation.
Yeah, they've done this
and
a
it's
lot,
Blu-ray,
right?
And that hurt them terribly when it came to PS3 as a console. It helped them in the long run in that it was a Trojan horse, and that they have a part in Blu-ray, and they're going to be making money off of Xbox One X. That's because of that. They own a portion of Blu-ray, but it damaged PS3 terribly in those first 3 years because they tried to treat it as a Trojan horse. I think they realized maybe through that process that they don't want to take those kind of chances anymore. And on top of that, it does do 4K when it comes to games. And most people nowadays, and especially moving forward, are going to be moving towards digital. The console can render natively at 4K. Last of Us Remastered is 4K natively on PS4 Pro, and all the games are going to be using what I've read is really good technology, checkerboard rendering, upscaling to get it up to 4K through those methods. So for that reason, it is a 4K machine for gaming, which is what we're buying this thing for, right?
I was just about to say that. That was, all arguments aside, it is a console made for gaming, but I do want to point out, why is it that the Xbox One S can play 4K Blu-rays and then...
Because it has a UHD player.
Right, so...
They were willing to put out the extra whatever, or maybe take a loss. Who knows?
Do you want, at $299, they could put the 4K Blu-ray player, in there.
Wait,
player.
the Xbox One S can
Has
play 4K
4K
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
It has a UHD
Yes.
player in it.
Well,
But
the PS4
the
Pro
$400 PS4
Or the PS4
Pro
Slim,
cannot.
yeah.
That is my issue, and that's what it's really coming down to.
Greg, what do you think?
Greg doesn't give a fuck.
No, I mean, like I said, I hate that this is even a thing. to be honest. Like, I mean, it's cool. Like, I mean, I don't really think that 4K is a thing that needs to be forced onto gamers right now. I really don't. I'm okay with the way my games look.
Let's not say that.
It's not being forced.
It's a little
like,
forced.
It's a way to sell TVs.
It's a little forced. I'm not saying it's like cramming it down throats like they were 3D and shit. It's a little forced.
I mean,
But, like,
what about us, though? We're not
like
even
you
getting
said,
PS4 Pro. We feel comfortable with that PS4.
I'm saying, dude, I'm just putting it out, like, to Greg's point, like, it's all the Pro now, the Slim, the Scorpio. You better believe the next whatever PlayStation's going to come out of that. It's kind of forcing 4K, and these TVs are not commonplace.
I wouldn't say. I mean, at the same time,
them.
right? But at the same
They're
time,
coming down,
I
but,
agree.
like,
Like everything is 4K,
not-
but I don't
not
think
there
it's
yet.
forcing it. I think it's saying, "Hey, we have the ability to." I think the difference would be forcing would be saying you have to get this new system for.
I'm
it to be
not saying
compatible with
it's
the games.
totally being forced, but I'm saying
Right.
the way they're trying to market these consoles for your 4Ks, for your HDR compatible TVs, they're not common. The bandwidth's not there. The TVs aren't in the houses yet. We're
But
not
the
ready.
TVs are.
But isn't that kind of why maybe the PS4 Pro is kind of smart? Because you can get benefits from your 1080p
A little,
TV
but
and you
here's
don't even
my-
need a 4K
Right.
TV?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it is. But I just think the whole thing is
Yeah.
you don't need a 4K TV, but you need an HDR compatible TV, which mostly in my current research was only 4K TVs.
But no, even with the 1080p TVs, you don't need HDR to get certain benefits.
Right. Yeah,
There are
like
some
we
pretty
discussed
cool
earlier.
benefits that we saw in that one sizzle reel.
Totally.
For instance, Paragon looked like it had a pretty cool
Mhm.
upgrade to it.
But also-
Here's what I was thinking about. I was trying to look at this afterwards, and I'm trying to look at the holiday season and what's going to benefit the most from these new consoles. You got Xbox One S, you got PS4 Pro, and the way I looked at it is you got the Xbox One S, and if you're looking at the 1 terabyte version, it's $350. If you're looking at the 1 terabyte version of the PS4 Pro, it's $400. I think when people go into the store this holiday, they're not going to give a shit that it says UHD player in the Xbox One S. They're going to look at $350 Xbox One S, $50 more for a PS4 Pro. The PS4 Pro does much better graphics. The Xbox One S technically is not even as powerful graphically
300. Why do
as
you
the
keep saying
original.
350?
Because the 1 terabyte Xbox One S is $350.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if you're comparing the 1 terabyte
is-
version
okay.
of each console, it's
Yeah.
a $50 difference between the two. And the PS4 Pro is considerably more powerful from a gaming standpoint than the Xbox One S. And that is what I think people are going to care about.
Also, why is it only 1 terabyte? That actually kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That it's only 1 terabyte in this thing. Like, come on, you know at this point, especially when Sony needs you to have minimum 50 gigs of space for any game to install, even if it's only 8 gigs.
Yeah, I think they
That's
could have
bullshit.
gone higher, for
They
sure.
definitely could have gone higher.
play
You got
devil's
two terabyte
advocate-
Xbox One S, right? That's $400?
That's $400. Come on.
Yeah, $400.
To play devil's
Drive
advocate here a bit
Yeah.
and jump on the X train for a bit. What do they call it? The Xbox.
Yeah.
I
Xbox.
feel like they have a more solid lineup of software coming out this holiday, which I think might give them a boost if they get the bundles out there and stuff like that. Sony has some stuff in the works and whatnot, but a lot of their big software titles, I think software is going to be the thing that pushes the consoles, no matter what they are.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
a parent going into the store for their child is going to see PS4 Pro and is going to see Xbox One S or is going to see Scorpio or whatever the fuck they're fucking shopping for. Obviously, they're going to put the newer one out on the stand, and the parent that goes in shopping for their kid is going to want them to have the newest thing. So if they can get a bundle deal for the PS4 Pro and they're getting Uncharted and fucking Call of Duty or an NBA.
That's
or
what I think
something.
they're going to do. I think they're going to
Like-
do Call of Duty for PS4 Pro.
Like if they do like a bundle with the Pro and now you're only spending $50 more than the Xbox with a game, like that could sell bonkers for them. Or if Xbox wants to be smart, they'll put in one of their new titles like Gears of War 4 with the brand new Scorpio.
You know that already exists, right? Like the 500 gig Xbox One Slim for $300 has Halo 5, and the 1 terabyte has Madden.
Yeah, but that's my point. Is like that's what I think will sell each console will be the software.
Right, but that
I
already
don't-
exists, so that's nothing. Anything. That
Here's
to me,
my
that's something special.
primary concern with both of these
Mhm.
consoles. The whole thing. There's been such a just completely drastic change in tone of this generation. When this generation started, after
All about
Xbox
games.
course corrected,
Yeah.
exactly. It was games, games, games. Now, heading into the middle of this generation, it's like, okay, guys, here are our new systems. You got this one, this one, this one, this one. And if all of these planets are aligned just so if you've got the right TV and you've got this right console and you've got this right settings, then you're gonna have a good time.
It's so true.
I'm like, why the
That's so
fuck did we
true.
stop talking about games? Like, it's like,
Right.
this is how to
I
have the
think
best
Sony would
experience.
argue that
If
that's
you have,
exactly what they're doing
A,
now.
B, and C. Well, Sony would
Well,
be fucking wrong, dude.
So
It's
I
not-
mean, if
it's
you're
not
looking
about
at if you're
games.
looking at the two in comparison, though, Sony's the one focusing on games right now, right?
I'm not looking at them in comparison.
they're-
I'm looking at them both
that's
as a
not true
whole.
either.
I'm looking at them
Microsoft
both.
is
when it comes
focusing
to
on games.
console.
Their entire point of Scorpio was for better
The
games.
Scorpio's not
for-
out yet. We're talking about the Xbox
Oh.
One S versus the PS4
I'm not.
Pro,
I'm
right?
not comparing them. I'm grouping
Right.
them in as the same.
Okay.
They're not focusing on games. They're
Yeah.
they're worried about. They're worried
Future-proof.
about what everyone claims
Mhm.
to not give a shit about, and just says they want games, which is,
But that's
this
what
much
you-
power. We have all this power. Everyone's got so much fucking power, but you have to have X, Y, Z, and back to A to enjoy it, instead of talking about games.
It seems like people care, though. It seems like gamers do care.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
a little
saying,
bit
man. The
disagreement for
games are
you.
not
I understand your concern. I feel like it does sound like they're talking about more, the resolution, the 4K,
This
than
is
the actual
all
fun of the
we've
game
talked about
itself.
since E3.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's trying to. I think it's also at the same point of we have the games coming, and
Night
this
Mel.
is how we're going to improve the quality of everything overall and make your experience that much better.
Honestly, I think.
So I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I know where. Just so you guys, and for anybody that doesn't realize,
Uh-huh.
and I think a lot of people do. TVs are obviously going to adapt more and more 4K and UHD,
Here's
and the
my-
UHD and the HDR, is kind of becoming more thing.
Well, counterpoint
It's
to
going
you.
to be
if
over
that's the-
50% 4K next model generation.
If
Over
that's
50%.
the case,
As far as the user base goes?
No, as far as the models available. Over
Oh, okay.
over 50. Actually, I think it's more than that, and I think actually all of those are going to be HDR.
I feel as far as adoption goes, next year, though, it's going to be much
if
lower
that's the
than that.
case, that they're trying to improve the quality of things, they already did. They released a patch where now these games are going to run 1080p 60 frames per second on the shit you already own.
Right,
So what's
they
the
announced
problem?
it.
What's the problem then? They're worried about improving the quality for the rest of the generation. You just did.
Mhm.
Not having people
I mean,
worry
Andrew House
about.
said exactly
So-
what they're worried
so-
about. They're worried about people going to PC.
You gotta look that the Slim is and the S are both also plays to get more market share, right? People who are going to buy their second console or people who still haven't bought into this generation and now can be in it at a cheaper price point. And they get some nice little features with an add-on, which the Xbox One Slim, Xbox One S, does a better job of that story. Because the PS4 Slim is just a PS4, right?
It is,
There's
yeah.
nothing different.
Right.
But the Xbox One
Very,
S,
yeah.
which is now cheaper, you also get a UHD player.
Mhm.
Right,
That makes
that's
me want one.
right. That's exactly
That's
my
the problem
feeling, is
Dean
that-
had with it, though, is that they shouldn't have announced the Scorpio yet, because that would have been a great little thing to say, right? It would have been like, you got the Xbox One, it's 7% more
Exactly.
powerful, and it has a UHD player. But we have the Scorpio coming next year, which is the most powerful console ever
Yeah.
made.
I like
Yeah.
JoJo the Slayer said it perfectly. Problem is your attitude. Stop making sense on the internet.
Peace on it.
Yeah.
Stop making sense on the internet.
I-
We're
I-
doing it wrong. We're not just yelling at each
I don't know, I
other.
think the problem with us is we're looking at this from the perspective of people that already own these consoles, and I think Sony's kind of going after
Yeah,
some
if
people
I don't
that
have-
don't own
you gotta
remember,
consoles
too, it's
or
all
people that would
timing.
be migrating
The
to PC.
One S was the Xbox One S was also timed at a point where Microsoft thought they really had Sony by the balls, because at this time we only thought that they were really playing with the Neo. For all we know, Sony could have kind of turned heel a little bit and made a pivot and adjusted what they were going to actually announce. And I think they did a good job with with the consoles that they made in certain ways, but at the same time, I don't think they announced them correctly. I don't think they pitched them correctly. I think they could have done a much better job of explaining.
I agree
these
that the
things.
meeting was a little boring. I guess is the word for it. I
They're
think
just stiff.
it was a little. It was very corporate.
Fine.
I agree with that. It wasn't like an E3 where it felt like a spectacle or anything like that. But maybe we shouldn't have gone in expecting that. I think we had these Trinity rumors and shit, and we kind of our minds got ahead of us.
I didn't even
It's-
think about that though. I was thinking about like what they were trying to do compared to the Scorpio and stuff like that.
I mean, when you look at it, it's like, oh, we got some new Horizon footage. We got Mass Effect Andromeda and stuff like that. It's like, okay, it wasn't that bad. And then if you look at it following the conference with all the articles that came out, specifically Eurogamer, that did a really great piece
with Digital Foundry.
with Digital Foundry, where they actually showed that this thing is pretty impressive from a technical standpoint and what it's doing with the algorithm, the 4K upscaling through the checkerboard. Supposedly looks great. Like the guy, I mean, this is a guy that's crazy,
Right,
inspective when it
technical,
comes to video quality and whatnot. He got right up on the screen and he said that he couldn't see the blurring that you normally see through checkerboard upscaling, and it looked like look like 4K. You know, he said it wasn't pinpoints clear like you would see on a native 4K, but he said like it looks damn good. And that's exciting that, you know, they were able to do that without much of a cost to the developer from a resource standpoint. And that they could get it at $400. And I think for the people that don't have a PS4 yet this holiday, they're going to look at the two, and if they want a more powerful console, they're going to go with the PS4 Pro, and if they want a UHD player, they're going to go with the Xbox One X.
Right.
You know, it depends on what you want.
And the thing is, too, is one of the things I'll say for the Xbox One S, I guess, and not as much the PS4 Pro, is that the volume of that sells is also now exciting the manufacturers of TVs of how quickly they need to race to the bottom in cost, right? Because if, let's say, there gets to be 500,000 Xbox One S's out there, that's 500,000 people that can buy 4K Blu-rays and take advantage of that want 4K TVs. Make that $3,000 TV cost $1,000, cost $800 immediately. They will sell.
You realize that that's what's coming. That's what I'm saying.
It is. In 2-3 years, we're there.
March. No, but yeah, March is going to be like all the TVs. For instance, Sony. I think all of their TVs are going to be 4K, every single one.
When is CNET? When is the big CNET?
No, CES.
Yeah.
CES is always January, first week of January.
So that's the thing. Like this press conference to me almost felt like a precursor to CES.
Yeah, and it 100% is.
Right.
And that's why there's
Sell
way too much
TVs.
shoving. But again, that's more of an issue to me of why it doesn't have a fucking UHD player. Especially when a console that's $300 has a UHD player. It was a really fucking stupid decision.
I did not realize that.
I think that's yet to be seen. I don't know.
I think that you're trying to see the good side of it way too hard, and honestly, I think for a console that's cheaper to have it,
I think from a consumer standpoint,
it doesn't matter.
To people that care, yeah, it sucks. But I think that we're being a little bit premature if we think this is going to hurt Sony this holiday and next year. We don't know that.
Regardless if it's going to hurt them or not, it's still a stupid fucking decision.
Is it a stupid decision if it doesn't hurt them at all?
It is
No.
weird because Microsoft doesn't sell TVs and Sony does.
Right.
That's weird.
Thank you for the
you also
tip.
don't
Really
really remember that, and we also had that's two that we have to do now. Hey, can we, since Dan's here and he's special, and we're not going to guarantee it, I would love to see Dan play Bean Boozled.
We're going to spin if it happens.
What?
We can do it.
No, what is Bean Boozled?
All right, so who was first? It was Tyspin.
Tyspin is now
subbed for
a
the
sub
first
again.
time. Come on down, Tyspin, and spin the wheel of what's a good word for new? New.
New.
Spin the wheel of new.
NU?
NEU.
NU?
That would be a way for Nintendo to spell it.
Yeah, it would be a way.
NU.
It's
Nintendo
the new Nintendo 3DS. God!
We got rid of a big chunk there. 100 XP goes to Tyspin. Thank you so much, Tyspin. Really appreciate you subbing to our channel. Well, before I give you your XP, let's do. Who was the tip there?
T something.
Look on my phone.
I don't know.
Look at your phone.
Wasn't a usual suspect.
It has the answer.
Wasn't a
It was-
usual suspect.
Ken J. Whoever you are in the chat, please let us know because I'm about to spin the wheel for you.
You know,
Spin the wheel of anonymity.
This whole conversation is all about TVs, and Greg, you're just right. Like, we give a shit about games, right? What's the game to sell us on this hardware?
Both consoles is just it's so fucking frustrating, and that's why I
Yes.
love what Dean said to me. It's like,
Oh man, Andrew.
Yeah, like it's really that's the problem, right? This whole like we all know it to sell TVs and not to sell games, and it's the worst thing that conference like
as old man Andrew
didn't sell me on PSVR, didn't sell me on why I Need a Pro in some ways.
100%, I agree with you. And it's ultimately comes down to the people that are gonna buy the PlayStation 4 Pro, or the people that want to fucking play Horizon, or the people that want to play Days Gone, or the people that are excited for Spider-Man, and the people that are gonna buy the Xbox, or the people that are excited for the Call of Duty exclusivity on the maps, which that was Sony this generation. So maybe not even that. The Gears of War. It's just,
maybe I'll put this out. Maybe what they're trying to do is say this holiday season they're marketing to the people who are going to buy multiple consoles or buy the revision of every console. Because those people exist. They are out there, and they are some amount of the population.
I saw them in the comments earlier.
And then a year from now is when they do the marketing push of here's the software of why you have to have these things.
That's the thing. Is like while we're saying this is a dumb decision right now, this might be a smart decision. Like, we will find out next year.
It's putting the
We'll
hardware
be like, wow, that was really smart of them to do it that
out
way.
for a year and then making the software deal maybe a year later. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes more sense, like Drew keeps saying too, for the people that don't have anything yet. But for the people like us, like they said all the right things to me. They're like, listen, we're gonna give you a patch. It's gonna upscale your games. All the games are still gonna be playable on your console, so you're good. You're golden. And I'm
This
like,
is
all right,
why
thanks.
I think
Bye.
it's dumb.
Go ahead.
Not because I don't think it's dumb, and it's at a point of like, oh, it's dumb because the other guy has it, so it's going to be dumb for them business wise. It's dumb at a practical level to me because they make the hardware. So, like, how much more do you think it really could have cost them to develop
That's what PS was saying,
to
yeah.
put the 4K player inside this box
The rumors are $25, all said and done.
for themselves, right?
Right.
They could have eaten that cost on the money they made on PS4 proper.
Well,
Probably, yeah.
No
Especially,
problem.
and like Dan
No
said,
problem.
they sell TVs.
Right, but
So it's like-
my point is, if they didn't put a disc drive at all, I'd be like, all right, they're trying something else. But it has a Blu-ray player,
Mhm.
so for them to be like, well, we're not going to do the 4K, but we'll still have
It
your
actually
Blu-ray
makes
player.
no sense.
So like,
Yeah.
what if you're
I
going to
think
put one in at all?
As
it
from a
shouldn't be
cost
4K.
perspective, what they're thinking is if we sell 20 million of these consoles at $25, production
Loss.
cost less, that's 25 times 20 million.
Yeah, but that's cheap. It's cheap. And it's like kind of greedy. Like,
It's a bizarre
cheap
choice.
if a lot of people want that UHD player and people are upset about it.
But
If
they
that's
are
not the
selling
case,
the
that's
then
not,
why
but that's not my.
Greg,
That's not my.
and they're
point.
still going to sell the TVs,
But
and
Greg
Xbox
makes a
One S
great
is going to sell
point.
UHD
But look
players,
how
and
many
they're going to
people
make
got
money
the
off
PS.
both of them.
Yeah, but look how many people bought the PS3 just for the Blu-ray player.
Not enough, because clearly
No,
it didn't work
a
out
lot.
for them.
That's
Way
not
more
my
than you
point.
expect.
That's not my point.
No, but I no, your point is exactly. Here, I'm going to make up your point. I'm saying this is your point. You can tell me I'm wrong. 2017, your holiday bundle is
I'm
the
Dean, by
newest.
the way. That's Greg. I think you thought I was making.
Oh, I did say
points.
Dean. I did fuck that up.
You're-
Sorry.
you're fine.
Is the new Assassin's Creed your PlayStation 4 Pro with a UHD player and your 4K TV all in one bundle?
No, that's
And,
not
like-
my point.
Well, like you could do that,
My
right?
point, but yeah, you could. My point is just that they've sold the PS4s at profit the whole time. They've made so much money. They're selling these at profit, and it's like,
Yeah, that's what they're going after now, yeah.
it like you could have easily. It shouldn't have been a thing like whether it was needed or not, whatever. It just would have looked really good on them, and it probably would have really helped themselves. But like, we're giving it to you for the same price as the other guy.
Oh, there's no doubt if they included it at $400, the same thing,
And they
with a
could
UHD
have.
player,
That's
it
the
would have
point.
sold even better. There's
As
no
far
doubt
as-
about that. It
They
was
could have, like,
it was a
it's-
question for them of if it's worth the cost, and they decided it's not, and it might have been a stupid decision. We'll find out.
It's
As
just
far as only
nonsensical.
dedicated Blu-ray players, the PS3, from what I understand, has always been and is now still currently the best Blu-ray player. That's
Yeah,
the one that
That's
only
because
plays
it
Blu-rays.
was the cheapest Blu-ray player.
no,
it wasn't the cheapest.
It
Blu-ray
was
player.
by far the cheapest when it
It
released.
was with
Well,
all the
release,
features they gave.
release, but I'm talking about years into it. When I worked, when I was still doing sales,
Yeah.
when people would buy a TV, I didn't sell them a Blu-ray player that was $150.
Why would you? It doesn't have games with it.
Well, no, I sold them a PS3 because not only does it play the games, but it actually plays the Blu-rays better because
Yeah.
the load times were that much quicker because it was set up to
Well,
play.
I
the
don't think
games.
that's why most people bought it. Most people bought it because it was a Blu-ray player and it was a game console, and for the most part, for a long period of time, probably multiple years, it was the cheapest one as well.
Regardless of whatever it was, if this is the same thing, then I don't understand how that makes sense to you. But having a UHD player in the PS4 Pro when it's cheaper than a regular UHD player, and it
Because
probably does it just as
in
well or
the
better.
end, they suffered tremendously the first half of last generation because of that.
Mhm.
Just because it sold Blu-ray players doesn't mean
Oh.
that Sony benefited from it from a console generation standpoint.
At the end of
they
it, they
benefited
did.
from it from that they own Blu-ray, and that's the thing is they're going to benefit from Xbox One selling Blu-rays. They own a portion of that. They're still going to benefit.
But that wasn't
from
the
it.
only reason why the PS3 performed as it did. There were many other.
Oh, the price
Right,
point.
that's-
because
price
the
right.
Blu-ray
point,
was
the
in
cell
there.
processor, like there were many
Marketing.
things
It's not
going
that
on.
it doesn't make sense to me. Like Andrew's saying, like it totally makes sense to me
I
why
get
they're
business
not.
wise,
Yeah.
but I think it's just I don't know. It's dumb.
Also,
Just, I
what is
don't-
this?
I don't
Is it
know.
Denjo 001.
It just looks greedy.
It's all about
It makes
the
them look
money.
greedy.
No, I agree
Yeah,
with that.
it's all about what makes stockholders happy. But again, at the
Yeah.
same time, Sony. I mean,
public
yes,
companies.
it's Sony Entertainment, Sony Electronics, and all those things. Even though they're a separate company, a lot of times the stockholders will have stock in one, and they won't just have one. And they'll have it in multiple parts of Sony.
Yeah.
And so this is actually, in my opinion, also a big giant flub because if they had the UHD, they would have said, hey, not only is the gaming sector going to do well for Sony Entertainment, but for Sony Electronics, for the 4K TVs, it's going to do a lot better. Regardless, I get it. Yeah, $25 per console over a vast amount of consoles. Yes, business-wise, it's like, oh, well, we can make $25 more, or we could see that we had a huge profit in gaming, and we're probably going to continue that, and by adding it, it would probably cause a lot less contention within the community.
I think we're seeing contention because we're in this space. I don't think you're going to
Yeah.
see a lot of that contention.
Yeah, that could be as well.
I mean, it could be, but I don't know.
it just looks greedy, and it would have cost them $25 per console to
Charge-
make them look not greedy compared to the other guy, and
Right.
it's one less thing that Xbox can
Right.
say that they have that they didn't.
They're
Right.
taking a
Which I
bet
think would be
on digital.
Money
Yeah.
well spent.
Anyway, you look at that the Slim, which is just the like placeholder cog reduction for Microsoft, is now in some ways more attractive than the step up for Sony.
Right.
That's weird.
So, to some people, yeah.
That's weird.
Guys,
Depends
I
on
have-
what
Job
you were
32X has a good point. I just wanted to play my music CDs.
What did you say, Greg?
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I
It's
have
been a
a
long time.
question.
You got to bring out the Xbox. You got to download it onto the internal storage space, and you got to play them in a game like Dead or Alive: Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Go ahead, Greg. What were you going to say?
I have a question. So, like, now as far as sales numbers go, like, not to be the MPD guy of the group, but, like, if, like, like, when they release, like, do they just count PS4 Pro and the PS4 Slim within the, I mean, the PS4 Slim, I'd imagine, that just becomes all PS4
That's just the
sold.
PS4
Like,
now, yeah.
But now, does that divide PS4 Pro sales with PS4? Or
That's
do those
to be
get
seen,
counted
I
in
guess.
Yeah, I don't think they'll separate it. I think it'll be like PlayStation. I think it will just be the name PlayStation.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know what they do there.
But then, like, what happens with Xbox? Because now, like, the Scorpio is
Oh no!
You muted yourself, Greg.
You muted yourself. We can't hear you. Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
you're
good
good
now.
Okay.
And now we can't.
And now we can't. Ah!
You must be jiggling the cord a little bit or something. Make sure you got your cord in tight.
Hello.
There you
Yes.
Okay, and now for the Xbox, the Scorpio, like, what does that mean? Because they keep saying how that's such a departure from the Xbox One. Like, what does that entail?
go. I mean, in my opinion, but we don't know for sure yet, I feel like the Scorpio is the next generation Xbox.
Me too. So, like, what does
Yeah.
that mean for their sales numbers? Like, does the Xbox One stop? Like, what? That just sucks to me, I feel. Like, this whole thing is so stupid to me.
I think
hate that
Xbox wants to be done with this generation. They lost, and they know it, and they want to move on to the
They
next
want
one.
to the next one.
I disagree
I
with
think
that
that they were-
completely. There's no such thing as a generation. This is just a platform. It is just an iterative
Well,
platform.
that's what
is
Xbox
forever.
wants to make happen.
No, that's what Sony wants also.
Well, yeah, they both do. They want to move. Well, potentially, they think right now they want to move towards this. It might turn out to be a flop, and they'll go back. But right now, they're thinking, "Oh yeah, we want to change the way generations work. Let's change the way consoles work," and that's what's happening right now. But that's not to say that that's going to be the future. This might not turn out well for either of them, and then they'll be like, "All right, let's go back to 5 to 6 year generations," and that worked well for us.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know yet.
And we know that Xbox Slim doesn't have the 4K gaming, and the PS4 is trying to sell that. But again, at the same time, it's a very weird trade-off that, honestly, in my opinion, business-wise, whatever you want to say, it honestly just doesn't make sense to me.
It's a question of, would you care about your 4K content in? Do you care about content in 4K with gaming, or do you care about content in 4K with movies? If you care about content in 4K with movies, you're going to go with Xbox One S if you need it to be physical. If you care about content in 4K with movies, but you're okay with it being digital, you can go with PS4 Pro, and you can also get games in 4K.
But listen
That's
to
the
what
question.
that is. Like, that's just so dumb that this is a conversation about gaming consoles that you're deciding whether or not to buy it for to be your movie player. Like, that's so stupid that this is even a conversation to me. Like, I hate
I mean,
that.
people care. There's a lot of people that care about their consoles being media players.
I have that, like, digitally through Netflix. Like, if Netflix is gonna stream to me in 4K, then, like, fuck
I
yeah,
agree
that's
with that.
awesome.
Yeah,
and
but
then I
have
get
a
it
problem.
on
Greg,
Some
Netflix.
people
do all the movies that you want to watch, like that argument doesn't make sense to me personally, because not every movie I want to watch is on Netflix. Otherwise, I'd
No.
watch a lot
I'm
more on
not saying
Netflix.
it's just Netflix, but I'm saying, like, digitally, like, people still have that option then on the PS4 to make it digitally and make it 4K. It's not like the jump from fucking your RCA red, white, and yellow jacks into the HDMI cable. Like, it's
Yeah,
just
it
1080
is.
to 4K. It still uses, like, the HDMI cable
still
that way. It's
HDMI.
just
It's a
crisper and
premium
clearer that
HDMI,
way.
yeah.
It looks
Right,
awesome. But it's
it-
not like a huge... I mean, it's a huge difference, but it's not to the difference that I feel like gaming needs to be moving in right now in order to be forcing a fucking another console to be coming
Well,
out.
what's funny is developers might not even want to do 4K. They might be
No.
like, hey, let's take the extra power and put it towards making the graphical fidelity much higher at 1080p.
We're a lot farther off from 4K gaming
than 4K, you know, and that's the
the
thing is like you might not even see them taking advantage of 4K. The thing about PS4 Pro, which is great though, is that it automatically does this checkerboard rendering to bring it up to 4K, no matter what, at no cost to the developer. So no matter what, you can play them at 4K.
So what happens to all of this talk when Nintendo comes out with the NX and it's like native HoloLens VR 8K
Well, we know that's not gonna
resolution?
happen.
You know that's not even close to
Nah.
like it's actually slated to be less powerful than the regular PS4.
That's what they're saying.
Such a mistake.
That they don't care.
I mean, yeah, they're clearly at a different.
They don't know.
Standpoint,
I
they care about a different
think
audience.
they know where their standing is in gaming right now.
Yeah, that's a little scary. It's a little scary that this could be the last generation of a Nintendo hardware platform and then they become only a software developer. That's like a possibility, right? I mean, they
Right.
still hold the handheld gaming space, and like, I honestly still think there's a place in this world for the successor to the new 3DS, which is going to be the NX, because supposedly the NX is also a handheld console. But like, man, I hope that's not the case.
Overall, I mean, what I kind of want to make sure I get across, and I'm sure I've said it multiple times, but like you are pushing a gaming system that's going to do this 4K upscaling, rendering that's not really true 4K gaming, but it is kind of 4K gaming at the same time. That most people don't even understand what the words 4K means in general, but when they hear 4K, they're more likely to hear it from movies because almost no games are made to support 4K yet. Mm-hmm. So even though you can do 4K gaming upscaling, that no game is really supporting for the most part, but you hear movies all the time, you're not going to have a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player in the system that plays 4K to other people. And yes, that might not matter too much in general, but it will matter, and a lot of people will kind of question that and say, why the fuck can't it play 4K Blu-rays if it can play 4K games? What's up?
I have a question from the audience, because I know this. I actually don't. So when you buy your PS4 Pro, do you also need the external compute box for PSVR?
Yes.
If you're getting PSVR, yeah, that has its compute box. So you need that.
That's what I was hoping the PS4 Pro would be. Would be upgraded for. Honestly, that's why I was hoping that you wouldn't need it with the Pro.
So no matter what I own, a PS4, a Slim, or a Pro, I still have to spend. I still get the VR headset and then the external compute.
That comes
box.
with the VR, you know that, right?
Well, it comes with the VR.
Well, the purpose of that is to split the screen so it goes to both your TV and to the VR. That's like the sole purpose of that compute box, as far as I know.
Okay.
It doesn't really do anything more than that.
This whole thing is my living nightmare. With the second they announced that they were, or the second they leaked that they were working on anything, this entire last half-hour conversation is exactly what I was afraid of. Now it's fucking here, and I hate it so much, dude. I hate it so much.
Well, let's wrap it up then. Greg, this holiday, let's take the Xbox One and the Xbox One S, and we'll take the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. Both those together, what's the winner this holiday?
The mini NES, which is what
I'm saying my personal vote is PS4 Pro.
You think when you take the two combined and the other Xbox 2 combined.
Sony's going to continue to top it because everything that they're doing, they're missing some components, but people are going to continue with Sony this generation. I think Xbox was so fucking far behind. I think the Scorpio, they shot themselves in the foot with it, and I really don't think that they have the software to back up what the fuck they're saying. And once the Scorpio goes with its exclusive content and they try to beat that generational gap, now we're going to be so fucked. Xbox is going to be on one level, Sony's going to be on another level, and whatever the fuck cartridge system the NX is on can suck on my balls at that point, because what are you doing? I just find it so fucked and it's so staggering. I don't know where we lost the gap of everybody being on the same level and being able to play all the same fucking games, but it's so dumb. Like, I used to think it was so awesome for it to drive competitive sales and whatnot, but just everyone buy a PlayStation. They have the better fucking games, and you're gonna love your life.
You look so upset. Can I cheer you up with a jelly bean?
No, fuck up.
Dean, what do you think?
I think
who's gonna have the better holiday?
I think PlayStation. I'm not as one-sided as Craig. To full disclosure, I own both. I like my Xbox. I love my PlayStation. So I prefer PlayStation. But I'm excited to own an Xbox this holiday. Honestly, there's a lot of really good games coming. And that said, though, I think PlayStation overall just has the stronger developers behind them. They have the stronger games. They have the most goodwill behind them from this whole generation so far. That's become more of a household name this time around, and I think that's going to probably bode well for them in the end.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I think it's going to be a lot closer than both Greg and Dean were saying. I think it's actually going to be pretty neck and neck. Now, I could be very wrong, but I think that, people are going to get excited by hearing, the PS4 has a new console, the PS4 Pro. It's everything that the PS4 is, but better. But I think a lot of gamers have already grabbed a PS4 and aren't going to see the benefits too much of getting the PS4 Pro, but they might have not gotten an Xbox before, and the Xbox Slim having a lot of these things that they want out of it, being a little bit better than a regular Xbox, plus the bundles that they have, and seeing from this past few months, back in those bundles that we saw with the Xbox One Slim with the extra controller and a gift card and an extra game and everything like that, I feel like it's going to sell a lot more than people are expecting because of the price point too. So I think it's going to be pretty close.
But who do you think is going to win?
You think it's going to be neck and necky?
Honestly, I keep going back and forth because I think it's going to be within
Someone's gonna
100,
win,
200
though.
units though.
It's not
Yeah.
gonna be a
Oh,
tie.
you're right.
You choose is what I'm saying. Make a choice. Be a man. Let's go. Say a name.
destiny.
I think it's going to. I think it's going to go to Sony just because they also have a Slim and it's going to be a lower price point. So I think that's the only reason that's going to bump them up.
It is, something to consider though that maybe they plateau. Eventually, they have to, right? PS4 is selling 2 to 1 almost with Xbox One. Maybe it just gets to a point where there's not as many people that need a PS4 as many people that need an Xbox One because they already have a PS4.
And don't forget, we have VR too. I forgot all
Yeah,
about
you also have VR. That is why I think probably PS4 is going to come out on.
I think it's gonna be the theme of this holiday. You also have VR.
It's the only console with VR this holiday.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is when you look at the slate of consoles that Sony is offering, they're appealing to multiple demographics. You got your PS4 Slim, which could have a very attractive bundle. Xbox One could as well. We have to wait and see what the Black Friday bundles are going to be. But if Sony does an Uncharted 4 bundle with a Platinum headset, or if they do an Uncharted 4 bundle with Call of Duty as well, this holiday for $299, or maybe even $249, and then they also have the Pro with Call of Duty at $349, and then they also have PlayStation VR. They've got a lot of different things that are going to bring in
Covering
people.
the most ground.
They're covering a lot of ground. And that's the thing is it's going to be marketed that way. I think you're going to see the most exposure for PlayStation and Xbox. Their big touting point this holiday is that we have the Xbox One S and that it has Ultra HD Blu-ray, which is going to attract some people for sure. It's by far the cheapest Ultra UHD, whatever you call it, Blu-ray player on the market. So that's going to attract some people. But I just think because PlayStation is covering so much ground, and when you have the people that go into the store and they see that they can get a 1 terabyte system for $50 more, that's much more powerful when it comes to the games. I think that you're going to see gamers choosing PlayStation this holiday. But maybe media people are going to be able to offset that. I don't know. But I think PlayStation will come out on top. I think it'll be closer than last year. But I do think that it's not going to be that close. I think PlayStation will still take it by a fair margin.
I will go at this from a different angle. So what's our Xbox One exclusives? We got Gears,
Forza
3,
Horizon 3,
Forza.
and there's one more, isn't there?
Is it?
Big ones? No.
Gears, Forza,
Dead Rising 4.
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising 4. Those are their exclusives.
Those are the
okay?
big ones, yeah.
So Forza is a very select crowd that's not really generic to everyone. So it's really, to me, I'm going to say it's only those 3. I'm going to drop Forza. Forza doesn't matter. If you look at PlayStation, you have Final Fantasy 15.
It's not exclusive, but it might as well be.
Might as well be, right? The
Right.
way it's marketed. Technically,
Yeah.
you can play it on Xbox One, right? What else does PlayStation have?
Last
coming out?
Guardian.
Last
kind of
Guardians
niche.
is exclusive, but that's very niche.
Last
That's more
Guardian.
niche than
I think
Forza,
Sony
though.
is going to try and push Call of Duty really hard this holiday.
That's the thing. I think Xbox actually has more exclusive games.
Oh yeah, it
And
does.
Gears of War, for one, is a huge
But
console.
Horizon would have been the big holiday exclusive for Sony, but they pushed it back to February.
But the thing you have to realize too is that next year, as far as announced titles go, I don't know what Xbox has in the pipeline, but
Yeah, I agree,
just
yeah.
the fucking lineup that Sony has.
But
If
we
you're
know
a
that.
fan-
But I'll tell you right now, the average gamer, unless they're going to GameStop, if they go to Best Buy, if they go to Target, if they go to Walmart to get the console, they're not going to tell them that.
Yes, they will. For sure, they will.
No,
if they're gonna be like, you're a fan of Spider-Man, you're not
I
gonna
promise
be able to play that on the
you,
Xbox.
Everything I own, you will not. They will not tell them that. Especially when you go to big boxes like Walmart and Target and stuff like that. where there's a lot
Walmart
of
and
these
Target I'll
companies.
give you, but Best Buy and GameStop, I've had conversations.
Well,
I say unless you go to GameStop.
If people ask, which one do you think is better for my kid or whatever, and they're like, what does your kid like?
Yeah.
And they're like,
That-
superheroes. Oh, well, there's a crazy big Spider-Man game.
That's my
I don't
point.
see
How
that
many?
being
Yeah, but
possible.
Walmart and
even-
Target kids don't know that
within
either.
the
Even ignoring
pipeline-
all of that, we can't ignore that Uncharted 4 came out in May, and it's still a recent exclusive that is the highest rated game of the generation on Metacritic, and a lot of people are going to enjoy. They bundle that with the system. It doesn't matter that came out in May.
Yeah.
It's still a game that nobody has played if they're getting a PS4 for the first time, and
The
it's an
pipeline for
excellent game.
PS4 within the next year is Resident Evil 7 exclusive, Spider-Man exclusive, Detroit exclusive, Days Gone exclusive, God of War exclusive. It's just so mind-blowing to me. It's
They're
Persona
just
not
5, yeah.
guaranteed to come out next year.
No, they're
not guaranteed, but I bet you a lot of those games are. Horizon
few of them
Zero,
will for sure.
Horizon
Yeah.
is
Wait,
coming out for
isn't
sure next
Persona
year
5
in February.
Persona
Yeah,
Justice
you're
here?
right.
Persona 5 is next year in
In
America, I'm pretty
Japan.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Japan.
this year Japan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Possibly
next year.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
There's
Again,
no translation.
I don't know if that matters too much, though. I think people, especially parents, are only going to be concerned about what games they're going to be able to have their kid play for holiday. They want to know what's going to be under the Christmas tree. And I think for exclusives, Microsoft nails it.
Yeah, but then if
Especially
you're
with Gears
thinking
of War.
parents buying for their kids, they're number one buying for older kids who are going to be into like, okay, maybe Gears, but there's going to be the kids that are looking into what's coming up, aka Spider-Man, and then you have the parents who are buying for the kids that are younger age who aren't going to be buying Gears for their 12
Yeah,
or
for
13.
this season, yeah, Xbox has a better lineup for the holiday.
Mhm.
But when has that mattered so far?
It hasn't.
Because so far Sony has had no big first party exclusive
Yeah.
the last 2 holidays, and they still got sold them.
Yeah. It was
Sony's
more so
been
price
trying
point
to
and-
play a different game than Microsoft from
Yeah.
that standpoint. If you look at each year, Xbox saves all their exclusive for the holiday, and Sony's been spacing them out throughout the year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a better way.
I also don't think that
technically,
that's
but-
really. But you gotta remember, again, we're 3 years into the life cycle, and we're seeing a different customer base that they're trying to attract. Hence why they have the Xbox Slim and the PlayStation 4 Slim.
Mhm.
You're seeing a different clientele that is only buying it because now it's cheaper, and those are not the people that are nearly as informed as the gamers that I bought previously.
Yeah, but they might not know what's coming next year.
Right.
But you have to look at the entire catalog of exclusives so far, because that's what matters. And it doesn't matter that Uncharted 4 came out in May. These are people that don't have a console yet, so they're going to look at the full
I also
catalog.
think
It might-
you'd be pretty surprised, dude. The amount of people who contacted me, like aunts and stuff, are like, "Cheer that Spider-Man PlayStation game." You'd be
Yeah, well,
And
that
he was
makes
like,
sense
"No,
for
I
your
haven't.
fit.
Tell
That
me
makes
about it."
sense. Right. That makes sense for your family. I'm talking about in general. Like I remember seeing this even just a few years ago. You know, working at GameStop and everything like that. You know, when I was that.
Parents just walk in, look down with the
I mean,
buy.
it doesn't
Right, my
make
kid has an
sense.
Xbox, so
It really
they have the new
doesn't, though.
Xbox. It's $300. Let me get that.
Like that it
happens
doesn't make
so
any sense
often.
for just my family. They're just people. Like I don't talk to my aunts. They don't know. Like
Yeah.
They don't know me.
they're just people. You
They're
know what I mean?
ants, and I'm not Ant-Man.
It's like you could. It's no. There's no reason for them to know that just because they're my family. They saw the game on their own somewhere.
Yeah. I wanted to answer a couple questions in the chat. So to Ghost Games, I don't want to. I don't mean to like downplay Forza. Like Forza matters. It's a big
Oh, yeah.
release. I just think the niche that is for driving games.
Oh,
I
it's
guess
like,
on Sony.
it's pretty fucking
I mean,
niche,
I mean,
dude.
Drive Club is obviously a mess, and then I guess
And that's the other thing to
GT's
forget.
not out.
GT
yet.
Sport was supposed to be another holiday
GT
game for
Sport got
Sony, and they
missed.
pushed
So,
it back to next year.
You know,
Yeah.
that is a good thing. That like if you really want a driving game and you want it, you have to go to the expo.
People don't wait for a new console to buy like Forza. They've already
Yeah.
had it. People actually wait
you're in
for
Europe
Gears.
sometimes.
People wait for like Uncharted to buy a PS4. You know, stuff like that, or
Yeah.
buy a PlayStation console. People wait for Gears and Halo and everything like that to buy consoles. So those are consoles. Yeah, in Europe, but even knows that demographic is a lot smaller.
And then someone
because of
asked-
the list of titles we have already on the
Someone
console.
asked what Detroit was. So that's David Cage.
Yep,
which
Quantic
is the,
Dreams, new game.
Heavy Rain guy, and the Between
Love
Beyond
that
Two
game.
Souls.
Beyond Two Souls guy.
It looks pretty good though.
It looks played.
Google it.
I wonder if it's going to do anything
Everybody
new in
else
Cyberpunk.
in the entire world. YouTube. They have everything you need.
Yeah, it's if
Google
you just Heavy Rain.
You're
and-
fine. You don't need us.
Yeah,
Just Google it.
You don't need us.
that's fair.
Dane, sorry, Dan.
Oh
you
yeah,
didn't
who am I winning?
give your final choice.
One or the other.
If you had to choose.
I think I just feel like PlayStation has the momentum.
Yeah.
Gears, you know, like Gears could turn the tide if Gears gets fucking stellar reviews.
And has a great
Right.
commercial, I'm sure, as it will.
You know,
It's gonna have a
'cause
lot of great
people love
commercials.
I'm
Gears.
dying for that.
Yeah.
But you gotta ship a lot of units, and then you got like
They're not
get
going
a
to
lot
catch
of-
Sony. I'm not saying that. We're just asking what's going to win the
Oh
holiday.
yeah. Who's gonna sell more in that month?
Yeah, they're
or
not gonna
the-
catch
or the
Sony
month
this
afterward,
generation,
right? Right, but it's like maybe Gears could be a big push, but I don't know. Otherwise, I would say
I think
stay-
because they have two new consoles, it's mostly. Gonna
I'd
go
say
to Sony.
Final Fantasy 15 on PlayStation is gonna sell a lot of fucking units.
Yeah, it might.
Right.
I think The Last Guardian, as much niche as it is, it has this audience that, in combination with everything else it's releasing, maybe that's the thing they were waiting for, you know?
So can I say something about Last Guardian? It's a great segue into Shenmue, actually. So Shenmue 3 is coming eventually. It's a big nostalgia play also, right?
Yeah.
And someone made a great mention of they're doing a playthrough of Shenmue on a site recently, and Shenmue's a time and a place. It was a game that came out in 2000. It's kind of whatever, and it's like I actually just want a CG cinematic to tell me the story that is Shenmue 3. Like I would just look if you just made a movie that was The Last Guardian, I'd be happy because I would know what it
Right.
was, and I'd be done. I don't have to
Right.
play that game, right?
I feel like a lot of
Like-
people are gonna be disappointed with that game. Too.
I hope The Last Guardian comes out
I hope it fucking gets 20 out of 10s, and I hope I can tell everybody to suck on my balls. That's what
You were really going with the balls a lot
big
tonight.
ball.
Wow, balls.
talk
That was
tonight.
very New Yorkie.
I mean, I hope so
I
too,
just-
Greg. I mean, I don't think it's going to be. It's
don't
not going
think
to
it's
be
gonna be
Shadow of the
Snow.
Colossus. It's not going to be Ika. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll get like an 8 out of 10.
Me
Also,
too,
Ghost
I
Recon
Brian
Wildlands
talked
is coming
about
to
this.
next year.
Yeah.
We're just
Anyway.
re-talking about the same shit over and over again.
Yeah,
at this
we
point.
need.
Yeah, we
we
gotta
gotta
wrap
wrap this up.
I got to do Old Man Andrew for one.
Oh my god.
I'll do that while we wrap up the show. I'll do it right now, actually. Guys,
Oh my god.
I became Bill Clinton suddenly.
Again, we're back to Bill.
Thank you so much for watching the show today.
Jesus Christ.
We appreciate you so much. I don't know why I'm doing Old Man Andrew right now. Who am I doing it for?
Dragon Con.
No,
No,
it was
that's
a
not right.
T something.
Twitter or Twiddle or something.
They've typed in
Whittles.
Twiddle, thank you so much for your $5 tip. Really appreciate it. We appreciate all you tonight. Thank you for your follows. Mackleberry was the most recent follow.
Why is
Sounds
it now
like Jimmy
Western?
Stewart.
Yeah.
Mackleberry.
I don't know what's happening right
Trippin'
now.
207 was who it was.
They're just going all over
His
the
accents
place.
are terrible. They just
Chewing
constantly
tobacco?
blend.
What's happening?
I don't know. Where was I going with this?
Our
Guys, if you like the show at any point tonight, just hit that heart button at
It sounds like Rick
twitch.tv.
Ross.
We'll shout you out and you'll get notifications.
How are you old?
There's
You're
a
old.
bad
Andrew.
Nick Cage.
We
What's
go
happening?
Follow us on YouTube
Carl!
for archives of every episode.
Now you're selling Bill Cosby.
What is happening?
Yeah, old Putin pops.
Good
We
lord.
got the Lights Up show on there. We got wanted a PlayStation. And we got,
Oh my god.
and we also got Power Up tomorrow coming to you guys. I don't know where I'm going with this. Also, don't forget if you want to get the prize we'll spin, just tip us $5. Something along those lines. I'm trying to cover as many bases as possible.
Yeah, I think you got a
I
little
think
bit of
nailed
a
it,
Heath
too.
Ledger in there. I don't know. Like,
We appreciate you guys. I'm done with it. Thank you so much for
I'm done with
watching. Buddy Doe, Stallone Gummin, DePonge, Tobes, you guys are all amazing. We'll see you throughout the week with gaming talk shows and game streams. Thank you to our producer, Muto Crystallis. He makes this show possible.
Awesome guy.
Way to do
Awesome
it.
guy. Our $125 patron. Guys, become patrons. We're close to adding 3 Men and a Baby to the channel, meaning we'll start doing board games and stuff like that, card games, streaming live on Twitch if we can get there. $115 per month if you guys can make us get there.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you throughout the week. Take care, and as always, don't forget to
Level up.
level up.
My balls.
What?
did you say lick
Really?
Greg's balls?
I forgot that I had a topic of the week.
We had a topic of the week video.
Bye, guys.